Go. 2-1. If you're a guitar player and you don't speak squeedle, you're not a guitar player. You're fucking phony.
My question is, why do you have such a strong opinion that women aren't good musicians?
What?
Fucking called out right off the bat. I remember hearing him say that right before
we're
we
live.
started.
We're live.
Hello, left field. What I meant to say was,
I love you.
I can play you my daughter's cover of Set Fire to the Rain by Adele, and it will astound you, as a matter of fact. She's 11 and better than me. Facts.
Yeah, I got you good, huh?
Yeah. That was fun. I was thinking of what I was going to say to start this on the most awkward note.
It was good.
Could.
I mean,
That was a good
And that just came out of left field. Like all my good ones, it's always
you can't,
last second, not written, not planned.
You can't plan for chaos, man.
It felt right.
So, Zach Boy, thank you, man. I'm glad to have you back. Bud.
What's up, dude? I'm glad
Second
to be
time on
back.
the show,
Yeah,
but we're in episode 39 now.
you're fucking rolling.
Yeah, and we've
Rolling.
technically done over 40 because I've got a few of the football ones, and we did a Halloween special, so we're like,
Yeah.
Did you dress up?
oh yeah.
Oh,
I wore a
nice.
ghillie suit.
Nice.
The two fat fucks that sat on that side of the table, Ian and Hoops, they didn't wear anything.
That's Gilly from Game of Thrones.
No, ghillie suit like like some Call of Duty Swamp Thing shit.
So-
And then
Not an
Wheeler
almost attractive
Wheeler
wildling
sort of
girl?
wore like a Joker suit, but didn't put on any makeup. They all half-assed it. I was the only one in a real costume.
So that's why you didn't make it live? You're like,
No,
fuck.
we were live.
Oh,
We were
okay.
live.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
tuned in and was like, "There's your view, bud."
it was a shit show, but it was awesome.
It was fun.
It was great.
Fun.
It was
Nice.
a fucking blast.
Nice.
I'm definitely doing another one next
I got
year.
bumped from it.
Yeah. Yep.
What-
Because I accidentally
what'd you
overbooked
do?
it.
I had so much fucking homework to do that weekend anyway. It was stupid.
I overbooked it.
God, you and your responsibilities. I swear to
Not
God.
doing very good.
I thought I knew you.
No, it was just I overbooked it. Like I reached out to like 6 or 8 people because
Not
I didn't
6
know
to 8, 6 or 8, not 7 people.
whatever.
It might have
6,
been
7, 8, whatever. And basically I was waiting. 2 people had like penciled themselves in, and I forgot to put both names down, and then they both
Oh.
confirmed after I had him say he was willing to do it. And I was like, well, technically they confirmed first, and I was like, fuck.
I mean, if there's anybody
then
you kick off the
literally-
show, it's definitely Dalton.
Well, and then literally they were like, but it might fall apart last minute, and I was like, well, fuck, dude.
Jesus Christ.
But whatever.
But it happened. It
Yeah.
happened, and here we are.
we were
Here
gonna
is-
do another one
Here
on.
is we.
Oh yeah,
The other night,
we have forgotten to say, welcome back to the show, Dalton.
Hi.
Hey, how you
Nice
doing,
to-
bud?
Dalton's actually been here twice already.
I know. That's
I've been here
welcome
twice
back.
already. Yeah,
well,
it's
You were
good to be
first,
here. Happy to
and
be
now
here,
you're
proud to
last.
serve.
so by
Yeah.
technicality, well, don't
That's the end of our show, guys. See you. Good night.
Bookending it.
alumni over here is what.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good
Yeah.
night, guys. Love you. Thank you.
This
Woo!
is my first time on with someone also
Just kidding.
other than Jared.
All
I
right.
actually played the end.
Do it.
outro.
You gotta-
Yes, I
you
really
gotta
did. I
play the
really played the
I like
outro.
it.
Spoiler alert. That was like I was watching the movie Vice, that movie with Christian Bale.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah, love that guy.
Have you seen it?
No,
Do you care about spoilers?
Do you like
Also
politics?
I do like politics actually,
So-
but
Politics?
I don't politics.
So this happens.
Politics?
Spoiler alert.
Okay,
So halfway through the movie, like Dick Cheney's daughter comes out as gay, and like
is she cute?
Well, right.
Okay.
So what happens is there, like, this text pops up on the screen, and it's like, after his daughter came out as homosexual, Dick Cheney changed his stance on gay and lesbian marriage and blah 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 blah, and turned over a new leaf and retired to Vermont to paint pictures of puppies. And they roll fucking credits halfway through the movie.
Okay.
For real. Like,
Wow.
they roll
Well,
actual
yeah,
credits.
they roll like actual credits. Like they start playing music. I fell out. I was watching it by myself. I fell out of the fucking chair, just like, oh my god, yes, finally, it's fucking
I
happened.
thought you were gonna say then that's when he retired to go shoot people on a hunting trip.
Oh, they covered that part.
Did
yeah,
they do?
too.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
in the movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'll check
It's a
it
really
out.
good movie.
But now I'm not gonna be surprised. So thanks a lot.
But yeah, so
Dickhead.
fuck
If we're
you.
recommending political movies because of the season, not because is weird political, but because these movies are great. Another one is it's like the Long Haul or something like that, or the Long Road, something like that. It's LBJ, but it's played by Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
And it's on HBO.
Okay.
Fucking amazing, dude. And it's actually extremely accurate too, because I'm actually super obsessed with that dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, he
he's
did
kind
have
of
an
a- he
enormous
was-
penis.
He was also a tenacious president, and he also refused to shit with the door closed because it was inefficient.
Wait.
And they had work to do.
That's not a thing.
He
I mean, if we're
refused-
talking about factual, like, political movies.
I don't know if that last part's true. I just made that part.
But I
am I-
appreciate the display of dominance for sure. Like, fuck you, we're gonna let these people vote. I'm shitting with the door open.
Watch me.
And then a flush.
No, seriously, watch me.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best, like, factual political movies of our lifetime would absolutely be Black Sheep.
Dude, when was the last time you watched Bulworth?
No, I said Black Sheep.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm
I don't
changing.
think I've seen that movie.
Are you?
I'm
I
agreeing
don't,
with you and
I don't,
changing
dude.
the
I don't
subject.
even know if you're joking. Like, I don't even think I've seen that movie.
Oh, it's
Really?
the follow up to Tommy Boy. I'm being
Yeah.
a
Oh, is it
fucking
really?
asshole, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the next one that Farley and David Spade were like,
Oh,
yeah,
I
we should do
remember
a
that.
follow
Yeah.
up to
Yeah, I
Tommy Boy,
remember
and then
that.
it would just
I
it
remember
missed the
that.
mark. And it
Like,
was
I couldn't tell the
piece of
difference
shit.
between Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison for the longest time. And then I got the shingles, and I watched those two tapes back to back over and over again.
Don't feel bad. Bert Kreischer actually said one of my favorite movies during an interview while he's hanging out with Adam Sandler on his podcast. He goes, Adam, I just got to tell you, dude, I love that part in Happy Madison when you're like,
Oh,
and he
no.
just rolls through the whole thing and doesn't even skip a beat. And he's like, I love your movie so much. You know that part in Happy Madison?
Oh, Jesus. Somebody
So
that
What do
forgot
you
to
mean?
do their
Feel bad, dude.
homework.
But especially like
He
there's
just slipped.
like
It's the
this,
same thing. It's
this
those two
far
movies are like the same character.
yeah.
It's like Happy.
Shut up!
Happy.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Billy Madison happens first, and then
He grows up
and then
to
he
be
gets
Happy
kicked
Gilmore.
out, and then he changes his name to Happy Gilmore, and then becomes a golfer.
Right.
That's
and then
my
he
secret
wakes up
conspiracy.
on the beach, and that's the start of Inception, right?
He's not in Inception. No, that's the start of
What?
51st Dates.
What? Yeah, that's where I thought he was going to.
There it is. There we go.
That's where I thought he was going to.
Right.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll work on
And
this.
that's when you invade Venezuela.
We'll work on the 7 degrees of bacon later.
Do you remember when they tried to invade Venezuela? That was also this year. There was a Venezuelan invasion. It was like 6 dudes on a boat with air
Oh
rifles.
yeah, our guys.
Yeah, well, kind of. They were American.
They
but
were cisgendered white American men.
Oh, Ricky Martin. I do remember that.
It was Ricardo Martin. Gracias.
Yeah, I remember him getting on a boat with an air rifle.
For real though, Zach, you came on a few months ago. What have you been up to since, man? How is this thing going, by the way? We didn't plug this for 2.5 hours until last time. You are the guy who made me my favorite coasters. They're not my only coasters. We have many sets of coasters in this house, but these are the ones I had you specially make these for my podcast. Cool Story Creative. We didn't plug that early enough on the last podcast, so I wanted
It's
to make sure we got
pronounced
to it.
Cool story. Creative.
Cool story.
Creative. What are you up to? Is that thing still rolling? Are you doing well with that?
Well, so I got that started during furlough when my place of employment decided that there wasn't enough work for everybody to stay employed during the COVID stuff, which has happened to quite a few people.
A lot of people, yeah.
And I was doing awesome with it, and things were rolling, and then I got called back into work and had my 4th daughter. And so it
That's
kinda,
all?
Yeah, it ended up taking a back seat, unfortunately. But I have made a few pieces for people that have come for just personal gifts and stuff like that. But at the same time, I ended up not. So this was done on a CNC machine, and I bought a big ass laser cutter table. So I've been trying to teach myself how to do design programs. God damn, dude.
There's a fucking curve there. isn't
Adobe
there?
can go fucking jump off a cliff.
That shit
dude.
is so fucking dense.
Oh my god! So it's like, so where I'm at with it right now is like, I have all these great ideas, but no way to implement them because I cannot. I get to a point where it's like, I have. You set the bar, right? You've got all these great ideas, and you just want to jump in right at the
because you know the capabilities are there.
yeah,
too.
yeah, and you
Right.
go, yeah, I have this idea, but you're down here.
Yeah.
Which is probably where you should start.
Right.
And then I go to try to jump in up here and realize, I can't do this, and then I get frustrated.
But you
and fucking
started
walk
with
off.
these boxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one was actually done with the laser table, and that one that's etched on the inside of the glass for that MPLSTP stuff. And same with the skyline in the back of it and everything like that. I cut that with the laser table, and then obviously built all of the rest of it with the box around it and everything like that. But so I'm still doing stuff like this, and I've got customers that have asked me for new stuff, but I really want to get intense with that laser cutter because I think it could do some really fucking cool things. But
because I mean, how many layers? You can do a ton of layers with that too.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Get
I mean, I could just
3D.
keep it going backwards, and that laser cutter will actually cut paper too. That's the craziest part about that shit. But yeah, so
oh, nice.
Yeah, so
like that. Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, that's just a random. I've been doing a lot of coasters, and this is something that it houses everything inside of it, and you take the coasters out of it, and I mean, it's a lot of fun. But again, the hard part is that the learning curve for these design programs. It's like a musician going in and going, you know what I want to do? I want to record my own shit, and then they go buy a Pro Tools setup, thinking that it's just going to be super easy to jump in
it's
and
not
fucking
as simple
knock
as
it
plug
out.
and play, but
Yeah,
It takes a long
there's
time to
there's
get
a
used to
curve
those
there.
programs, man. And then what you're saying is if you switch to a new program, it's like going, okay, I got 4 years in Pro Tools, I'm pretty good, but now I just got a Mac and now I'm on Logic.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
I know how to
Switching
do it.
Yep.
Right.
But just being
But
a
the
different
workflow-
program, it's
right.
like this set me
workflow
back
and-
6 months.
Right, and so
Yeah.
like the CNC, which will cut out all of this wood stuff that's layered in here and has all the background stuff, I figured that out relatively quick after a huge learning curve of trying to teach myself CNC programming and G-code and all this other stupid shit. And I got really good with it, and then I got the laser cutter, and then it just completely bent me over the table and was
Yeah.
like, you think you know?
Dude.
Oh, it pisses me off.
So a year ago, I failed calculus. So I think I can kind of relate.
Yeah, so
I failed calculus and computer programming at the U. Like,
These
super
are sick.
fucking hard.
Yeah, they're sick.
Dude, those are fucking nasty.
yeah, so it's I'm still doing the coasters and random stuff for wedding gifts and people that a big thing right now is that family members can't get to a cabin or something like that, and it's something that they've had in their family for generations. And a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, my grandpa has been going to the cabin for 40 years, and this is the first year he can't go to the cabin."
Dude.
And so he gave me a picture of this is what they see from their front picture window. Can you just replicate it so that he feels like it's still something that he can pay mind to? So that's the kind of stuff that I do.
Here's a thought, and you can shoot it down as quickly as you want.
Okay, I'm gonna work on my speed here. Go.
All right. Can you make me a cribbage board?
Yeah, that's actually I've had that request multiple times.
You do
here you
live in
go.
Minnesota after
I
all.
know.
Here
Well,
you go.
Sociable actually
Yeah.
This
hit
is
me up
fucking cool.
because my brother-in-law works at Sociable, and he's like, "Hey, can you do cribbage boards?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. It's just a matter of actually designing them and cutting them out. Like I have the capabilities of doing it, but yeah, that one was done on my CNC machine, and it's just one solid piece. There's no glass. There's no nothing in it.
Yeah.
And then random coasters and stuff like that. So I'm trying to stay busy with it, but man, you want
And
to
the point is almost everything you're doing is custom. That's what I'm
Yep.
trying
Yeah.
to show with all
absolutely.
of this is like you're not just like making runs. Like you get a request and then you make that and then a
Right.
few different versions of it that you can also sell.
It's that boutique
So
shit.
like
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
so somebody requested, like I requested those coasters, so you took that design and you ran with it a couple more times
Yep.
and you made other coasters just like them.
Yep.
But with somebody else's design, and then you'll switch up those so you can still have shit to run. But
Yeah,
the real principle of what you're doing is like borderline
Creating.
custom shit.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
all creating, because I think the hardest part for me, like, would I love to make this a business? Yeah, absolutely. It would be the thing that would I would love to just say fuck it and quit my job and just do this on just this basis. But my wife keeps telling me, hey, start up an Etsy store, and I'm like, yeah, cool, but I don't know a
gotta
goddamn
get you,
thing about it.
First, we got to get your real website.
But here's-
do some legit
here's my
credit card
problem.
processing.
Here's my problem. My problem is that I fucking hate people.
So you
Okay.
need a partner. You need
It-
to
well,
yeah,
and
you need it.
That's problem number one. Problem number two is that it's hard for me. Once I create something, I go, wow, I took a lot of time to create that. It's like writing a song. You don't want to
Yeah.
write the same song over and over and over again.
Wrong.
You want to
I
create
do.
something.
I do.
That's because you're squeedly deedly, dude. I mean, you can fucking do whatever you want, make it sound different. But it's that mass production of something, to where it's like, I don't want to create the same thing over and over again, and then throw it on a website, and then I get 15 orders of it. Yeah, is it making me money? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
But I think as a local creator, there's a specific niche market for that. Especially with like a local brewery doing like a limited run of like 100 cribbage boards for their brewery.
And I've thought about going to coffee shops too, because I think there's plenty of coffee shops, Spy House, random coffee shops in town that I don't know if you guys have been in Spy House in Northeast Minneapolis, but everything is this natural wood feel to it.
That organic grainy.
Yep, and walking in and kind of doing stuff like this, and but it's weird because it's not just stuff like this. Like I've always had this weird desire to create random chaos. It's just a constant need to create something new and something different. Whether it's music, whether it's a guitar. Hey, let's fucking put electric pickups in this acoustic guitar.
Right. I'm just like, I have the image, like you say, I like a little bit of chaos, and I've got the image in my head of the upside down acoustic guitar between your splayed legs, like 18 feet in the air, just like, what?
Try to fit this square block in this circle hole, And so that's kind of what a cool story, it came about as far as, it was all the furlough shit, and I needed something to do, man, because I couldn't just sit at home. And
for real.
And the tough part is that I think a lot of musicians fell into the same role too, where they were like, maybe they got furloughed, or maybe they just didn't have anything to do, or maybe they were just, that's what they did, was they were paid musicians, and now they're at home, and it was like, I'm going to write a bunch of music, and I'm going to take advantage of this. And then the second that you're actually at home, and I got
that time,
I've got a case of beer at home
and 76 capos.
And you just kind of go, I don't. It's forcing yourself to get into this creative niche, and then you kind of fall out of it because you just go, I don't want to do it if I have to.
Right.
But
it's always, for me too, it's always been a pitfall. Like, even when I set aside time to try and do something, when that time comes, I'm like, but I don't feel it.
Yeah,
dude,
I forced myself to sit.
I just want a hot pocket.
Yeah, I forced myself to sit in the studio on more than one occasion, and even with this, I forced myself to try to learn these programs, and then I find myself just losing interest because it's not where I am mentally.
Right.
And so I'll sit there and just try to tool out this song, and man, I got all the way through this verse, chorus, and then I can listen back to it and I go, wow, this is absolute shit.
Right.
And it's so difficult. And I think that's where a lot of people are with this pandemic right now, is that, like, we were all so excited. And actually, you guys might have, everybody was like, oh man, all the streaming sites are going to have this huge surplus of people listening to it. And they actually saw this huge decline.
Right.
Because when do you listen to music? Or when do you do a stream? Yeah.
Going somewhere
and
to
everybody's
do
at home.
something.
What am I going to do? Am I going to pull my phone out and be like, you know what I want to listen to? I want to listen to that.
I want to listen to that Behind the Bastard podcast about this class of
or
fucking West Point.
I haven't listened to that Manchester Orchestra record in like a year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and restream it.
Dropped, and I had no idea that was a thing.
Right.
Awesome.
So I think that's on a really weird tangent on that, but I think that's that's where I'm at with trying to create right now with this stuff, is that I think my biggest, if I could afford to have a designer, right, and have somebody that knows either Illustrator or Inkscape or some shit like that, that can work with SVG files, and I go, okay, let's sit down. I have this idea. And this is going to sound really fucking crazy, but let's sketch this out. And this is where my idea is. And they go, okay, I think I know what you're doing. Let me sit down. And they create a couple of files. And I go, cool, let's sit down and cut this out on this, on either the CNC or the laser. And then we cut it out. And then.
So you're looking for a partner.
Well, I think I'm looking for a design partner. You know, I think that's the biggest thing.
Dude, there's somebody out there unemployed right now begging for work.
Well, and that's it. It's like, I've got a lot
maybe one of them's watching this podcast right now.
Well, and
probably not, but maybe.
Well, I've got a lot of great friends and family members that are great with design stuff. But the hardest part is that for me,
Good ones have jobs though.
well, that
And
is true.
families.
But at
It's
the
true.
same
It's
time,
true.
And bands.
Well,
and
and-
side chicks.
yep. And at the same time,
And regular STD appointments.
wait,
In other words,
You have-
lives.
you have to schedule those.
Sometimes a dentist appointment that
You
is
have to s-
also
What's the
an
difference?
STD
I
appointment.
was gonna say, what's the difference?
the flavor.
But the biggest thing for me
the
is that
flavor of the ointment.
like somebody that is going to put their time into it. The hardest
Yeah.
part is that like see the return on it.
Right.
And right now, there's really not a hell of a lot of return because a lot of the stuff that I've been doing for people, I do it at a relatively cheap cost because I want to get my name out there. I want to kind of move. I want to show people what I'm capable of. But right now, what I'm capable of is very minimal on the grand scale of things that if somebody knew what the fuck they were doing with this design aspect of shit, I could go, okay, stay with me. This idea is fucked up. But check this out.
Right.
It starts
'cause you
with
said
a
on-
bloody zombie hand that's got
Shit.
him 200.
And you said
Shut
on the
up.
last and you said on the last podcast, like your real knack is the programming of the CNC side of things. So you need somebody to get you what you need first.
Yeah,
right? That's what the in between.
If I had the actual design files, and somebody like there's one on there for my buddy's brewery in Sioux Falls, Remedy Brewery, and he sent me an SVG file on Adobe Illustrator. And I don't know a goddamn thing about Adobe Illustrator, but I was able to take that file and deconstruct it enough that I could take them and separate what I needed and bring it into, but I had that file there. I didn't have to create it. It's the
Right.
creating aspect of it to where I have this vision in my head and I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do, but I have no fucking clue where to start on these programs because
Right.
they make it. And maybe it's by design, like, hey, go to school. I don't know, whatever. But I don't. I get to a point where I go, okay, I think I have a good idea with this, and even just like. I went this last couple of weeks. I was like, I'm gonna just make this light box like we were just looking at, and I had this fucking awesome fairy on it, and then I was gonna put my daughter's name across it, and then it was gonna be this super layered thing, no glass, no nothing. It was just gonna be multiple layers, and it was kind of gonna be a nightlight for her bedroom because I was
Right.
like, okay, I want these layers, I want this idea. And I had all these fucking design files, and I tried to get the name on there, and then I went to cut it out, and all of a sudden it just started the fucking wood on fire in my laser cutter, and I just stood there and watched it. Like, I didn't open the lid and try to put the fire out. I just
Right,
watched the
right.
fucking thing burn because I was like, this is where I'm at.
right.
And then I got
Yep.
so pissed off, I was
Yep.
like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm
Yep.
done. So
Yeah.
now I got this fucking $3,000 piece of paperweight down in my basement that I go,
Your house is on fire.
yeah, all I could do was slow jerk it. Standing there looking at this
Stale
fucking
fish
laser.
behind,
Yeah, like,
under the leg.
oh, I'll show you, bitch. Yeah.
Stale fish.
Oh.
Check it out. Stale fish.
So that's where I'm at. So if there's any designers that want to talk about
Ladies.
the startup,
And gentlemen.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I think
Jerking
the
off
hardest
stale
part is
fish.
that like obviously I don't have any kind of fucking budget at all right
Right.
now. So finding a designer that like loves the idea of kind of a startup, and then I've talked to a couple people and being like, yo, I'll pay for the material, I will do the building of this shit, and then I will give you a percentage of
Right.
anything that we sell. Yeah, a lot of the times the hardest part, and this is the absolute hardest part, is that you put a lot of time into making these things, building the boxes, putting everything together, and then somebody says, oh, that's dope, how much? And you go, 125, and they go, fuck you. And then you go,
Right.
dude, I just spent 8 hours on this shit.
Yeah.
$125 isn't a fucking
Right.
drop
no,
in the
no,
bucket.
No, absolutely fucking
Right.
not, man.
So-
Yeah.
so-
and you
No,
need a
yeah.
sales guy that builds that value for you too.
Right.
Like
Well,
somebody
and-
who's, and that's what I'm saying is you need somebody taking those requests. Okay.
Shit
so
wasn't
like
built in China,
so like
motherfucker.
one of the light boxes you did, right? Like you get an order for that, right? And somebody like me takes it in, they go, okay, so I see your artwork, I see your concept here. And what I do is from the beginning start building this thing up to where they think it's gonna cost $1,000.
Right.
So then, and I'm doing that, I'm like, all right, well, here's the deal, it's going to take a few hours because we're going to have to work up the design. Then we have to turn around and we're going to have to make sure that this is very custom. We don't have anything like this, so it's a complete
Building it from the
ground
ground
build
up.
from the
Yep,
ground
yep.
up for a custom run on the CNC machine. And then it's probably Oh man, there's quite a bit of quality wood here so there's materials, and then of course I have all my labor and overhead. So yeah, let me work this up. Probably
some numbers. Yeah.
Probably gonna be a 4 to an 8 hour project. Let me talk to the engineer and,
Right.
the designer.
We got rates for that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
let me get you up a quote. Let me
Yeah.
get you up, but it's not going to be cheap. You only want one, right? Obviously, these are way cheaper. Okay, blah 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 blah. I'm going through my spiel, and then when I call him back, and I'm like, okay, now but we happen to have some extra material laying around, so I think I can get you some still high quality. Cut the cost. You know what? We're actually, instead of like normally this thing would be like $249, we can get you out the door for like $120.
Yeah.
Right.
And they go, "Oh, really?"
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and
then okay, it's let me know. And then literally we take at least 50%, whatever our actual cost is.
Right.
We take that up front before we even start it.
that's been my hardest part. Actually, that's one of
Remember
two.
I paid you in full up front?
Yep, you did.
And you were like,
And-
we can handle that later. That's a sales mistake.
well, here's
I was like, no, I need to pay you now because
Right.
I'm not 100% sure.
that I'll have it when they're ready.
Yeah, because it's like I know
Right.
it's only,
I remember you saying
I know
that.
it's only $40, but that's way harder
That's
for
a-
me to remember.
Yeah.
$40
Then
is a lot of money
200.
these days.
It really is.
But if I
Yeah.
know I got 200 coming up in the next month or two, I remember that it's
Well,
a big
right.
number.
So-
but $40,
That is number one for
that
me.
shit'll
is
never
that
I'll never remember $40.
Knowing
You gotta
your
remind
Quality of
me.
sales. Yeah.
Number one, knowing your worth, right? That's a
Right.
tough thing to do. Number two, you wanna get your name out there. So like at that time, I'm getting this fucking extra whatever it was, $600 a month from the government, and I was like, okay, if I get my name out there, this is just extra income for me. I'm trying to build something at that point. Number two, the other difficult thing for me. And I should have learned this while I was working at Copycats Media, is that they are fucking brilliant when they take in film producers or musicians or anything like that. There's always a proof that's sent out, right? So what the problem that I've experienced a few times with Cool Story Creative is that when people tell you that when they say, "Hey, can you do this?" and you go, "Okay, well, what do you have in mind?" and they go, "You're the creative, you're the
Right.
artist. You do you. I really want to see what you've got going on." And you go, "Okay, no problem."
Right.
And then you create it, and they go, yeah,
They've given you nothing, and they're
But-
all out of.
But they
they're
have
all
this
out of
idea in their
ideas.
head, right?
Right.
And
But
instead
they
of
don't
sitting,
know how to explain it.
but
at
I'm
all
not
either.
a designer by any stretch of the imagination. What I
Right.
do is I work from scratch and I put it together, and as it starts to come together, I go, yeah, that looks fucking cool. And then at the end of it, I go, yeah, I'm really fucking happy with that. I'm proud of that. And I've had a lot of people that have given me nothing but creative freedom, and it fucking it turns out really cool, and I'm really happy with it. But then I've also had people that go, hey, can you do blah blah blah? Yeah, what do you want? You do you. And then
Yeah.
I get to a point, and I always send progress reports because I'm super excited and super proud of it. And then I'll get those progress reports sent out and be like, yeah, dude, check this out. It's fucking going dope. And they go, yeah, could you do, I kind of like different fonts, maybe. And I go,
Right.
what?
I'm not doing goddamn papyrus. Thank
I
you.
mean, here's the thing, though. This is the shittiest part, though. This is the shittiest part. Is like you're playing designer here,
Right.
and like at the end of the day,
Right.
unless it compromises your artistic integrity, your job is to make what they fucking want.
And that's just it. But I need to be better about sitting down with that client
Right.
and saying, okay,
Getting on the
let's
same
get an idea.
page.
You know
Tell
what-
me who
Yeah.
these
You know
what you
people are
should
that
do?
you're gifting this
You know what we need to
to.
do? Here's what we need to do. You need to come over one night, like not for a podcast, and me, you, and my wife will sit down and
Clothing
just have
optional.
some drinks.
Clothing optional.
No, you have to wear clothes around.
Fuck.
They'll be naked.
I'm not trying to lose my wife in a night. You guys know.
Well, you think-
Everyone's got clothes on,
It'll take at least 2.
I think you.
and you're also never allowed to play guitar in front of my wife, or she's gonna be like, "We need to re-talk about this."
That's true because when I play guitar, it's a lot of this.
it's a lot of panty dropping.
It's very much like Ron Burgundy's face
but
when-
here-
during the jazz flute solo.
No joke though. No joke though. My wife
is an incredible jazz flautist.
She no, seriously. She used to be, well, she still is, but she used to be she is an amazing painter. And she used to get commissioned, 5, 10, 15, 30 grand to, like, she would get commissioned to do artwork.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the way that part of that business is done is there is no we don't want to pay you now.
Right.
And it's like, no, you
This is the
commissioned me
painting.
for my vision.
Yeah. Yep.
You told me vaguely what you wanted, and you're paying me for my artistic interpretation.
Well, then that's where
of
that
what you
50%
gave
up
me.
front No refund.
But
Yeah.
That's where that comes in
we
brilliantly.
should sit down with
Yeah.
Kate because she
Because
knows how
fuck
to
you, pay
command
me. I'm
those
doing work
big
here.
dollars.
Yeah.
For real.
And then there's a couple photographers I might have you talk to. That old classic adage I hear quite a bit where it's like, oh, I couldn't get work when I was trying to charge $50 an hour, but I upped my price to $500 an hour and I suddenly started getting gigs. I upped it to $5,000 an hour and now I can't. I'm
It's the difference between a band that plays for exposure and a band that's like, no.
It's knowing your worth.
Yeah.
Right. You said that. You're right.
Yep, you
and
tell
I'm saying
somebody
I know a couple people I can connect you with.
50.
But I know a couple people I can connect you with, specifically for starters, my wife, that can show you a very simple process to go through.
Yeah.
And it'll seem uncomfortable because you're like, fuck, am I really going to tell them this? But
Yeah.
you are.
Well, to be honest with you,
when you do it the exact proper way, like a sales script,
Yep.
and you go for the close, they're like, okay, yeah, no problem.
Well,
Let's
and
move
I'm
forward.
good at being an asshole. Don't get me wrong.
I was in a band with you.
Yeah, you quit because of the fact.
That's the first time I've ever wanted a button to go.
Here we go. Get the soundboard. What about the soundboard?
I think the first and foremost thing that I do outside of talking with the business is I just got to find somebody that's willing to start from the ground up as a designer.
Yeah.
You fucking know what you're doing. We can sit down and I'll go, no, I don't like that. No, let's move with that. Because I see it and I go, yeah, that's it right there. Let's fucking move with that. And then if I cut it out on a CNC or the laser cutter and I go, shit, can we make a quick edit? They go, okay, that's fine. It's an easy edit. We fucking move with it.
You need a fucking U of M graphic design student. Is
Somebody.
What you need. You
Or
know?
an
someone
old
like, hey,
Institute of Art.
I've got a job that pays $150.
Yeah. And that's just it. It's like, I think the thing about it is that I would be a lot more happy with doing mass production shit.
Well, you're gonna
if I didn't have to do the design stuff. I just went, let me build, and I'm good.
You're gonna have to do almost all of it at first.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's where
you don't have a choice.
And right now that's the toughest growth point is trying to figure out where that, because outside of being a dad, outside of being a husband, outside of working full time, I'm also in a band that is trying to write a new EP, trying to move forward with
talking about Johnny Rick.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I've got about I'm the idiot that fucking takes a million things on at one time, and I go. Man, why don't I have time? Oh, Jesus, where did all my time go?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, so that's where it's prioritizing that, and I think figuring out. I was talking with my wife about it, and I was like, you know what I got to do? So I just got to go through these fucking tutorials on this design program.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do the
because
time sync.
I'm learning the
YouTube.
exact same thing with my podcast. Like I obviously need 6 people.
Yeah.
Right, to do this at the highest level possible.
Yep.
But it's not a fucking option right now. So I have to literally figure out how to not fail my podcast single-handedly at any one of those jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
learn, like a little bit.
You got to
more.
learn 5 jobs so you can make sure that the people who are doing those other 4 jobs know what the fuck they're doing, because you know what the fuck you're doing.
Exactly.
And you have
When
expectations.
once I bring them on,
exactly.
But up to that point, it's like I got to do a little bit more than limp to the destination in 5 different, 6 different job descriptions. But that's what I got to do right now, because here's the thing: much like you. This is going to work.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going.
Yep.
And much like I tell a lot of young musicians, they're like, so what does it really take? How come you didn't make it? And I was like, because my fucking bands kept getting broken up. Either one dude would quit, or he'd have a baby, or he'd want him kicked out, or he'd want me kicked out, or I'd want him kicked out. And we can never just keep going.
Put 5 dudes in a room with differing priorities in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Even if everyone's 1,000% committed to that band, they've also got a girlfriend or bills.
That's why
because I was living on fucking bags of fucking frosted mini wheats at a time. I can get a week's worth of food out of this $5.
Yeah.
That's why you can never
any of
take
you
time
guys
off.
pay my credit card bill? Kind of dude, I was fucking terrible to be in a band with.
Okay,
you guys not wrong.
Now you guys
awful. It's I've got $50 right now. I should get a tattoo. Dude, don't fucking do that.
Now, Pat, back me up on this or tell me I'm
fucking
crazy.
Right. Yeah,
Back me up on this or tell me I'm crazy. This
You're
is
crazy.
why bands especially can't take time off, because you're already struggling, you're already
Yeah.
starving, you're already doing all these things. You take a month off, you take 3 months off, whether it's for Corona or because your guitar player's sister died. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right? Doesn't matter the
your
reason.
drummer's CV joints
But
went out.
they go
you know?
home, but here's what happened: is somebody goes home, and they're home for 2 weeks, 2 months, however long.
Yeah.
And they start having like 3 good meals a day.
They become complacent.
They get comfortable. They get comfortable and they get tempted.
They're not pushing a pot pie back
then-
under the heating
and then
element
all
of
of a sudden-
of a pizzazz because
Yeah.
it doesn't stop turning.
and then
You
the
just-
call comes back, and then they
Been
get the
there.
phone call, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, we're getting ready to go back out on tour. And they get back, and like a week in, you can see it in their eyes. They're like, I want to go back home where it's warm. It's freezing down here. Like, you can just see everything. Like, I'm already
McDonald's
hungry.
is
Like,
gonna
I
help
will.
me
I,
with my tuition.
like my father-in-law offered me a really good job, like $42,000 a year. It's like, dude, that's not a really good job.
Here's what I'll
that's a
say.
decent
I
job.
mean,
Here's what I'll
That's
say.
not a really good job. That was a
it's-
really good
hard-
job 15, 20 years ago.
But at the
Now
same
that's
time,
like
I understand
a
someone.
decent job.
I understand someone jumping into something stable. I absolutely understand.
get it,
that.
man,
You
but
know,
now-
I thought I did it. I didn't do that.
Well, and here's what I'm getting at, you guys. Here's what I'm getting at, though. None of us are in anything stable.
Ever.
Now that we see how fragile this version of this economy is with COVID. Like, I
World,
had the
yeah.
same thing. I had skilled labor. I had a job that was very, very hard to fill.
Mhm.
People like me were very hard to find. People that were able to do and willing to do my job. And I
Yeah.
got paid pretty well for it. I didn't lose my job. My boss didn't mismanage her company. The government shut down the fucking economy.
right.
So everyone's backup plan is gone. Now, you might have gotten called back, but a lot of us haven't.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now here's the crazy part is our parents used to tell us, hey man, you need to have a backup plan if the music thing doesn't work out. No one ever told us you also need a backup plan if the whole job thing doesn't work
Right.
out.
Right.
So now a lot of us only have the podcast or the Cool Story
Yeah.
Creative or the guitar lessons, right?
Right.
Like, you guys are lucky enough to have some supplemental income,
Well,
but there's a lot of Americans out there that aren't.
I'm by no means making a living teaching guitar lessons.
No,
I'm
but
teaching
you have something.
right. But the only thing I really have is the GI Bill working for me.
But some guys don't
Yeah.
have
yeah,
anything.
so
and
just,
all
just
they
to,
have
like,
is
be
the
like,
guitar
look,
lessons.
I like, whoa, I am super lucky here because I'm getting a housing allowance.
Fuck
for
that.
that.
No, it ain't luck,
Well,
dude.
let me
It
back
is-
up.
No, it's not.
Let me back up
Timing
on.
is everything.
No, it's not.
That's why
you
I'm a
paid the
good-
dues. You paid
yeah,
the
but
dues. There's no
timing-
luck.
timing.
No, there's no luck. There's no luck. It's preparation for opportunity. You went
Okay,
in.
Oprah.
You sacrificed your
That-
constitutional rights for 9 fucking years.
Full blown Oprahism.
Well, let me
Fuck
let me
that.
go.
Fuck that.
Let me
Just
go
live your
back on
truth,
what you
man.
said.
And it's
though.
not Oprah. It's not Oprah. It's Oprah.
Let me go back on what you said though, because I will say I've been in both positions.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what I mean by both positions is that I've been the guy.
Missionary and dog.
And I'm not lecturing.
There's
you
only
guys.
those two.
I'm not lecturing you.
No.
For sure.
I'm gonna touch on what you said because I think there's something valid to be said about both sides, and I can say that I've been on both sides because I am the kind of guy that I'm wired differently than most musicians, right? I've always wanted it. I've
True.
I've had a lot of push.
Hard agree.
Well, I've had
Hard
a,
agree.
I-
and like literally the best way.
Yeah, and thank you. I'm the guy that I push every band member that I've ever been in a band with, and I look at it as being a good push because I want success, and I have an expectation out of everybody, including myself, right? And whether or not that's been beneficial or if that's been detrimental, there's been a couple of times that it's been both. And the older that I get, I realize that now. However, with that mentality, I have always been the one that if I'm in a band, I will push, I will do everything that I can to succeed. And then I became a dad. And I was like, well, fuck it. I don't want this out of myself for being a touring musician anymore. And then a band came along and said, hey, do you want to do this? And
Yeah.
I ended up in tour.
Yeah.
And, I got to do a lot of shit and that a lot of musicians don't get to do. I got to go on a national tour and fucking play sold out casinos and sold out shows all over the West Coast. And it was fucking awesome. And we brought in a shit ton of money for the band.
Dude, those casino shows are deceptively huge.
Dude, they're
They
great.
are.
They're great.
But
A lot of people mock casino shows because you always see bands that used to be big,
yeah,
and
but
now they're doing casinos.
I've been playing
But a
guitar
lot of
long
people-
enough to know that, like, if you're getting paid to play, you're fucking winning the game.
well, that's just it. So,
You know?
Dude,
so
and
I
there's
do
a
this.
lot of these casinos that have like 5,000 to 8,000 person venues.
Right.
and
Like,
that's
it's
what
the
it was.
big-
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it was. And the thing
Exactly.
is that you're playing in front of a fucking sold out crowd. And if you can play the crowd right, it was great. We
Right.
were out for a month and a half, and we came back and we made all of this money. We're selling all of this merch. Everything is fucking coming up Millhouse, right? And then we come back.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And then we come back from this tour, and I got $1,200 from this entire tour. But
Right.
the band we had enough overhead, we had enough shit that we had to take care of. Every member had to get paid from the tour, and we were out for a month and a half. I've got a mortgage, I've got car payments, I've got kids, I've got responsibilities, right? So then when I came home, everybody had this expectation, like we all of a sudden we were owed something, so to speak, because
Right.
well we
But
went out on this national
it's
tour.
a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, and we
Being on
went
the
out
road
on
is
this
fucking
national
work. Don't
tour,
let
so
anyone tell you
we
any different.
we
You came home
deserve.
and you still weren't shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we deserve something more because we did something other local bands weren't doing, and so then all of a sudden,
But can I be honest for a
Because
second?
but-
Hold on.
Well,
Hold on. Can I
okay.
be honest?
Oh man, I had something.
You
both
did
have
deserve. You did deserve something.
Incorrect.
And let me say why. Because once they come back from that shit's already over. Who gives a
Gone.
fuck?
It
True.
agreed.
You know,
True.
That is
You
history.
know, like
True.
You
it's-
move
like,
forward.
It sounds
You-
cold, but like
but you
No,
what's
I
next?
get what
Move
you're
forward.
saying.
Yeah.
And so
No, I get what you're
when we
saying.
came back from this tour and everybody had this sense of entitlement, right? We're not shit. And I've always played this mentality as, and it's not playing the mentality. I have the mentality as a musician. You always appreciate where you are and you always appreciate where you came from. I don't
Right.
give a fuck what you've been afforded or what you think you deserve. You never deserve anything more than and you don't even deserve where you have been at. Maybe you've worked your ass off to get to that point, and kudos to you. Thank God that you are the type of musician that goes, I'm willing to work for this, because that's important. If
That's a
you
great
think
point.
that you're owed it,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
aren't
no, that's
owed
a
a
great point,
goddamn thing. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with the business, right? So we came
But
back
at the
from this
same
tour.
time, believing there is a little bit of that Michael Jordan is what I call it. So it's when you take that like I deserve more, you know,
Yeah.
like I deserve this, I deserve more. Like this still isn't enough. Like you're never satiated.
Yeah.
And then when your ego gets bruised, you turn that into motivation.
Okay, but I think
But also, he also has that same thing you just mentioned too, where it's like, no, we won the championship last year, and that means nothing now.
But you've got a different mentality about it. Is that it isn't so much like I deserve more; it's I want more. And I think that's the difference for musicians that want to succeed. Is that the musicians that say I deserve more are not going to succeed. Maybe they're going to get to a point that they hit a little bit of success and everything.
wonder
but the
about this.
second
Do you
that they
think-
start saying
Okay,
I
let me ask
deserve
you this.
versus I want, then you can go fuck yourself.
Okay, let's
'Cause you
break
don't
this
deserve
down.
a goddamn
yeah,
thing.
Let's break
'cause
this down,
There's
though.
a big philosophical divide in there.
And
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
agree.
want to
for,
do.
for
Let me
those
br-
motivations.
Hold
Yep.
on. Let me break this down. Let me ask you this then, both of you. Okay, so is this the difference between what people say in public versus what they really think?
To a degree, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
you see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like I
Clarify
know
that
for
a second.
okay, because
Give,
like
give me an
okay,
analogy. On
because there's a way Michael Jordan talked about himself when he was being interviewed like after a game.
that. Mhm.
Which there was a lot of the cliche sports things. You know, we had a great game. You know, we played hard.
Mhm.
We passed the ball around, played as a team. Da, 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 da.
Yep, yeah, I got you.
And
Yeah,
then there
yeah.
was Jordan behind closed doors, which is like, no, listen, I am the greatest player in the league, and if you don't realize it, you're going to. And so there was this. The reason it's not arrogance is because he did back it up. So arrogance is like overestimating your self-worth,
Yeah.
right?
He didn't have
Mhm.
any hubris. He
brought
didn't,
it.
He didn't talk the talk. He walked the walk.
And he had to walk it because he was also talking it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying it's interesting because not only do I agree with you, but I also see what you're saying
Yeah.
in the same personalities of the Tom Bradys and the Michael Jordans.
But then
and
you
the-
also
and
have
the
your
Metallicas
motherfuckers like the singer
and the
Trapped.
Well, but you also have the Lars Ulriches.
yeah.
You see what I mean?
But
They're
you
like,
also
no,
have
no, no, no.
Five-Finger Death Punch.
But here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What did
You know?
Metallica say when they were doing the Black Album? They said, no. We believed that we were the best band in the world and we deserved to be recognized as the best band in the world. But we knew if we were going to get that recognition, we were going to have to bite the bullet. We were going to have to do the interviews. We were going to have to do the award shows. We were going to have to do all the things we didn't want to do in order for us to get what we thought we were owed.
Right.
Because they got fucked the year before by Jethro Tull. You see what I'm getting at here? Like somebody
Flute
gets,
is the worst instrument.
But here's what I'm saying, man. Somebody gets fucked.
Yeah.
And they
with a flute.
And they don't have just that attitude.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, and I'm wondering, so here's what my question is, and this is what I kind of started off with. Like this mantra of like, no, you don't deserve it. Well, then if you don't think you deserve it, isn't that almost like defeatist? Like, well, then if you don't think you deserve it, you'll never achieve it. So are we sure that's the right word?
No, because
And one final thing.
Yeah.
And then, because I really want you to like take the mic and run on this idea.
Yeah.
Because the industry is built on equity and paying your dues. So it's like, no, we do deserve something more because we've just put in 6 months on the road and didn't give up like everyone else. And we're doing this.
I disagree. And the only reason that I say that is because there's bands that I still listen to that never played a fucking show and they got signed. And let's take.
They may be. You might be able to argue they don't deserve that, right?
Right, and that's where
they haven't paid any dues.
This is what I'm saying is that the people that pay their dues. Well, fuck, dude. I think the Deftones were a band for 10 years before they signed to Maverick Records, right?
Sure.
Did they deserve it? Yeah, that's a lot of fucking dues to pay. Did they want it? Yeah. So I think there's a difference between the musician that says that we deserve this and the musician that says that we want this. Because I think the musicians that say that we deserve this are, let's look at it from a narcissistic point of view. Okay, let's look at it. We were just talking that we weren't going to get into politics, and we won't. But let's look at it with where everybody in this country is so divided because they said, well, Donald Trump was so fucking divisive. He was so narcissistic. It was all about me, me, me. Did he deserve to be where he was at? Or did he want it? And he went out and he fucking preached the preach, and he got a number of Americans to believe him, and we moved forward and we got to where we were at with Donald Trump. Or did he deserve it? So the difference between deserve and want when it comes to a musician, and this is for me, right? This is how I look at certain musicians, because when I was on the road, I met a lot of acts and people that were in national bands. Can I answer that
question real quick?
Hold it on the back burner for just a second. I met a lot of people that were on or in bands, national acts, and I met a lot of these motherfuckers that thought that they deserved to be there. But they didn't. I think, to touch on your point, when it comes down to timing, there's a lot of motherfuckers that are out there that absolutely fell into the right time, right place. They did not deserve it. Did they want it? Yeah, because of a narcissistic point of view. So the fact of the matter is that the musicians, to me, in this industry right now, what I see and the bands that I gravitate to, and I go, you know what, Jesus Christ, are bands like Protest the Hero, where they go out and they have the greatest fucking crowdsourcing campaign ever.
True story.
They want it.
True story.
They want it, and they deserve it, but they don't act like they do. They're humble about it. They love the art that they're doing. They don't think that they're the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread, right?
Right. The guitar players are making, they're writing out their own transcriptions to sell to guitar geeks.
Right.
You know?
But then we flash back in time, and we have these motherfuckers like Guns N' Roses. Don't get me wrong, I love Guns N' Roses. I love the band. But they try to come back now and they feel like they deserve something, right? After all of these shows and these riots that happen because they refuse to play and now we're the greatest band ever. And then these motherfuckers come back and they think that they still deserve to be in this place where they are playing these sold-out shows and we can still show up 2 hours late, or Puddle of Mud, for Christ's sake. These motherfuckers show up. Yeah, these motherfuckers still show up to a bar like Star Bar when that's open, or what was it? Pavlitsky's on 65.
Man. Yeah.
Off 65. These motherfuckers showed up 2 hours late. They played 5 songs, most of which were backed by vocal track, and Wes Scantlin is so fucked up that he's falling into the drum set, but he deserves to be where he's at because he had a couple of #1 singles. So what I'm saying is the definition to me for a musician of I want this versus I deserve this are very, very two very different things, and I don't think that if being a good musician, Dalton is one of the best guitar players I've ever heard.
But you don't deserve shit. You piece of shit.
But if he said that he deserves something, that takes him down a notch in my book because I go, you don't deserve shit. Work for it.
Maybe we just think about this differently because you brought up the Trump thing, and I would say, yeah, he deserved to win and he deserved to lose. Like you deserve what you earn. You see what I'm saying? You reap what you sow.
I think you're thinking of that new Radicals song, "You Only Get What You Give."
I might just be thinking of this whole thing differently. Like,
no, I think we're kind of all on the same.
Because
remember there's a karmic balance.
But
here
remember the
that's
last
happening.
podcast we had where we talked about like one of the keys to jamming, and we talked about this too, is learning how each other uses these words.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're just using the word deserve differently.
When a guitar says, "I want the drums to go pop pop chicka, pop."
Yeah,
you gotta fucking know what I'm talking
right.
about.
So like when I hear deserve, like the way I look at it is not from a selfish, douchey, arrogant way. It's like, well, if you earned it, then you deserve it.
Right.
Like,
Well, okay, but that's
so
a word that you're
like
throwing.
You're talking about it.
You're
like
saying
more
earn,
like an
though.
entitlement.
Yeah. You're saying
Right.
earn. If you earn, if you
So
earned
the
it,
question
then
isn't whether you
absolutely
deserve,
deserve
it. It's why do you deserve it?
It's
Are
how
you
you-
entitled
it's
to it,
how
or
you
did you
earned
earn it?
Exactly.
Right.
So the problem isn't whether you deserve it or not. The
It's if
question
you
is,
earn it.
do you feel entitled, or do you feel like you fucking put in the work and earned
Exactly.
it?
Right.
And
And you know
that's
why all of us feel like we
earned
haven't.
it. You're going to maintain that level.
or you're going to work harder for it.
Well,
Right.
and here's the thing: is like, I think all of us have been in a room where we probably did earn it and did deserve it, but didn't feel like it, right? And feel
Right.
like we got it like by some sort of entitlement, and we all suffered, whether momentarily or permanently, from imposter syndrome. And I think that's where that comes from. Is like, no,
Great
dude,
song.
you're
Oh,
here, you're here
Oh,
because
yeah.
you earned it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, I have no right to even be in this room. You hear it from comics a lot. You
Yep.
hear it from musicians a
Yep.
lot. You don't hear it from athletes as much because they have a physical aspect. Like, no, dude, you're here.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
you're
like,
here.
get that shit out of your
Yeah,
head.
you're
Yeah,
going
but
to
there's
fucking
a-
lay someone out. You'll get laid out. That's
There's a
just the name
certain
of the
thing
business.
about being humble about it too, though.
Right.
You know, because
No, and I'm not arguing with you.
No,
I just, I'm
and-
really,
and-
I'm
and
more,
to speak to that-
I'm more thinking about this out loud. I'm
Yeah.
not arguing with you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
no.
about what you're saying out loud because as you're explaining this, I'm like, yeah, I agree with everything he's saying 100%. So why do I think about this differently than when he says these things? And I'm going, oh, I bet it's because we're
Right.
applying this word differently. I'm thinking of it like what you earn is what you deserve, both good and bad.
And then
Because
that-
you
I'll agree with that
you
application.
spawned
Yeah.
me off, and where you spawned this idea is you brought up the Trump thing. You
Yeah.
know, did he deserve this? Did he deserve that? Like, no, he didn't deserve. And I'm like, no, he deserved all of it. He deserved
Right.
he deserved to win. Because he's a selfish fucking prick, and that's what selfish pricks do. You know, nice guys finish last, all those cliches.
Yeah.
But then he also deserved to crash and fucking burn because he was an asshole, and he treated everyone like shit, even his own people, and just did nothing but
Yeah.
created enemies for 4 years. So
Yeah,
you're fucking
and just
right. He
cried wolf
deserved
for
it. He
4
deserved
years.
all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not arguing with you. I think it's just one of those things as I'm thinking this through, like almost a thought experiment. I can't even say I disagree with you. I'm just
Mhm.
like, I'm looking at it through this lens.
I wish I could
Like,
remember the name of the fucking. There's
you
a,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. And
because-
I
because
agree
you
with
touched
you.
it-
I think it's a definition of application.
Yeah.
Did you
Right,
earn it,
sure.
or are you
Or
entitled
do you
to
think
it?
you're an entitled little prick?
Right.
Yep.
Right. And I forget which fucking quarterback.
And that's where
it
that
was.
arrogance thing comes in.
Johnny Football?
Probably no, definitely not Johnny Football. I think it was like it was either Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning or something like that. But he was one of those players that every time he got fucking hit or tackled,
It was Andrew Luck.
yeah, he
He
was
would,
in a
he
really
would say something
like, oh, good
super
hit,
positive.
man.
Yep,
Yeah,
that was
super
Andrew Luck.
positive, and it threw off everyone. They're like,
What the
wait,
fuck
like,
are
what
you
the fuck is
doing?
wrong with you?
That's a lot of quarterbacks. There's a bunch of them. Andrew Luck,
Well,
Peyton
yeah.
Manning, Brett Favre.
Like-
Tom
But Andrew
Brady.
Luck was the one that, like, you listen to some of the audio from it, and you're like,
Like,
what
oh!
the fuck? Ah, that hurt, man. Good tackle. That was
yeah,
good.
like, oh, you got me good.
Yeah.
Like,
Brett Favre did that a lot, too.
yeah.
I see what you're saying, though, yeah, because it sets you off guard because you're expecting these people to be, like, super aggressive.
Like super aggressive. Like, I can't believe you did that to me. But no, like they're right there on the same level. Like, no, you earned that. You gotta
Yeah.
like, I know how good my line
Well,
is.
and that was it for me. Is that when I was in this band, and we went on this tour, and people would come up after the show, and they'd be like, "Hey, wow, that was a great set." I'm the type of person where, like, I don't. It isn't about narcissism to me. It isn't about entitlement. It isn't about feeling deserving or earning or anything like that. I will always say thank you very much. That means a lot to me because I'm being genuine. It does mean a lot to me because coming from a place where you had nothing and understanding that you worked your ass off for it, I don't deserve it. I'm not entitled to it. I haven't maybe even a different idea of saying I earn this, because I never really feel like, do I work my ass off for what I get? Yeah, but do I call that earning? No, that's a different.
Right.
I'm working my ass off for it, and if I get to a place of some place where I feel like I'm succeeding, that's awesome. I'm always grateful for that point in time that I feel like this is an awesome success that not everybody has been afforded. However,
Right.
I always want more. I always want to strive to be better, but I always want to strive to be grateful.
See,
And I
there's
think
a
the
balance.
biggest thing
There's
is
a
saying I am
balance.
Yeah.
grateful
Yeah.
for
And
where
there's
I'm
a,
at.
and there's a balance there, because like all of those things you say, I agree with 100%. But I've also literally taken all of those ideas and gone way too far to where they become self-defeating. So you got to have that balance, and it's got to be a healthy, because is what we're
Right.
really talking
'Cause
about
you
here.
can't, you
is
can't
what we're-
bend over backwards to.
Well, and don't
to-
beat yourself up
Yeah.
unfairly, and because you like that old that old idea that you can literally psychosomatically make yourself sick if you pretend you're sick long
Yep.
enough to skip
Right.
work.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
It's like this, like that book, The Secret, but bad.
Right. Now my point is like is what we're really talking about here is ego, right? And being arrogant and thinking you're entitled to something, which is having an overinflated sense of self, an
Mhm.
overinflated sense of worth.
Yeah.
Right? That's too big of an ego, but you can have too small of an ego. So what you're saying is obviously coming from a balanced perspective, so it's very healthy.
Mhm.
But people, I've seen it in the past where they talk down about themselves so much, they actually start to believe that shit, man.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people, like they don't get the support from their parents or their friends or their peers, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be their own cheerleader and their support system.
Mhm.
Or they turn to Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or Vine or
Yeah,
Sure.
for that
TikTok. You know, we've got
what's that?
so
What's
many
that?
more things that are just
That was weird.
what.
Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Your signal just completely dropped out, and you're fine as far as
Yeah, I'm right on this thing.
I can hear him just fine in my
I know
headphones.
how to
No,
microphone.
your signal just dropped.
I sang backups in several bands that were not successful.
It's not an issue of you.
I'll say everything that you're saying, and I'll just repeat it. Ready, go.
Oh, you're fine.
Burlap.
Burlap. All right, keep going.
All right, keep going.
All right, keep going.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Shit.
Shit!
Worst repeater ever.
Foreskin.
There, I got it back.
That was correct, wasn't it?
Fun story.
Old
Fun
mixer.
story. My hometown in Nebraska doesn't have a Hooters.
This is taking a great turn. Let's
It's got a bar. It's got a sports bar called Balls. Because who needs Hooters
Jesus Christ.
when you've got balls? It's right there on their sign in neon. It's amazing.
Are you being serious?
I am
I was
fucking
supposed
heart
to.
attack
Okay,
cancer.
Kevin-
Joe Biden.
I
Kevin-
missed being in his hometown.
Dalton
at a
is-
Oh
show.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Dalton is the best and worst guest host
Agreed.
at the same time, like
No, so-
simultaneously.
all at once.
So what I'm saying,
He's both in the past and in the present.
what I'm
Dude.
saying, kind of touching, or kind of swinging back around, is what I'm saying is that I've been in both positions of working my ass off and then also coming home and going. When we came home, and that sense of entitlement was with a couple of other band members. Even to the point that we would have practice and a band member would say, actually, it's not me that needs to practice, it's you guys, so I'm not going to be there.
Oh,
And
fuck
then-
that guy.
And then I actually got to a
Whoa.
point that I was like,
Okay, what do you say in that scenario? In that exact, okay, I say that we have a rehearsal. Let's play this out.
this was all through text message.
No,
Yep.
we're gonna pretend it's face to face,
Okay.
just for the sake of argument.
Okay.
Just for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a great comeback.
I
for that.
got one for that too.
Me too.
Like,
Me too. And I wonder if we have the same one, because I think we said this to somebody else, so we might either have
Yeah.
already had the same one or one of us.
like all the more reason for you to be here.
No. That's not mine. Okay, mine
That's
is.
how I felt.
Yeah.
Mine is-
all right. If you got it so figured out, fucking show us how to fucking do it.
No,
you
that's
know?
not mine. That's
What?
not mine. Mine is this. We're not worried about you. We need you to be here.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we understand you can run circles around us and you
Great.
don't need to be here. We need you to be here so we can get better.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
need
yeah,
that
we're
example here.
We're dovetailing nicely there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I learned that because I used to be like, fuck you. You think you better than us?
Yeah.
Like, I would say that shit. People would be like, yeah. And
Well-
I'd be like, you're out of the band.
And for me, this came down to what it ended up being was that while we were on
But
tour,
what do you say to that?
well, while we were on tour, it was a singer of the band, and it got to a point where people would come up and ask, "Hey, can you sign my CD?" And the entire fucking band is standing there, and she would sign the CD and hand it back to the person instead of handing it to the next member. Instead of handing it to the next member. And so we actually had a discussion about it. Like, hey, what the fuck? Like, we're all here and we're doing this together. Like, they don't just want your autograph, you know?
Right.
And so we started to have all these fights, and we ended up with a situation on the road.
I never. Oh, hold on. I have to be honest. I never would have thought of that, and I definitely have always given the merch that they asked me to sign directly back to them because I've never even thought about it.
Well,
like,
maybe
I'm so focused
well-
on this fan. The last thing I'm going to do is sit there and sign their shit. Make
Maybe
eye
that's some
contact
lead
with
singer
them,
syndrome. I
and
don't
then-
know.
Well, yeah. 'cause
and then
I mean,
give
think
their
about
shit
a
to
band
someone
like,
else.
think
You see what I'm saying?
think
Like,
about a
no, I
band
give
like-
it back to them.
Yeah.
Think about a band like Adam Levine
'Cause what if they
and the
don't?
Maroon 5.
That's a different story. That is,
But I'm saying, what
No, I
I'm saying
shouldn't
here
say
is there's this.
Just spin
there's
it
always
all the way
No,
around.
this is actually
singers
okay.
always
It'll
have
fall loosening your way.
always
So-
have this.
I just won't. I'll stop touching it.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Singers
It's gonna
always
become
have
a
that
problem.
spotlight. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and I agree.
So
But even not as a singer.
whether that's
However,
whether that's
here's what I'll say, though,
intentionally
is that-
I don't
motivated
know.
by
This
that singer.
hold
or
on
not,
though. Hold on though.
th-
Are
there's
we?
always a media focus
Why are we
on
making
the
it about the?
voice.
Why are we
The
making
face.
it about the job?
It's always about the face.
But
But
why
it-
are we making it about the position the band member has? Is what I'm trying to explain.
We're
is that-
not. We're not. This
Well,
is
you guys
this,
kept saying
what
the singer thing.
What the world does.
well because
I'm saying that
for
the world
people
does.
that are standing and they don't give a shit about the individual members. They don't really give a shit about the music. The person that they're focused on is front and center, which is why they're called front
Are we
person.
in like a baseball signing scenario where like you're walking down a line and getting everybody's signature, or are we in like
Well, that's
hey,
what-
can
that's
you
what it-
sign
that's
my
what it-
T-shirt thing?
We're talking about like the difference.
No,
between,
not a send my
because
T-shirt
It's
thing.
kind of it's the difference between like
I bought this T-shirt. Sign it.
like think of
Yeah,
a band like
not like-
Hail. Think of a band like Hailstorm. Lizzie Hale is the front woman.
Right.
Who else is in that band?
I didn't even know her name, so
Well,
I,
right, but
I get your
like
point,
my
though.
Okay,
greater point.
Matchbox
is that-
20, Rob
doubt.
Thomas.
Rob Thomas.
No
Do you know
doubt.
anybody else in
Name the
Matchbox
guitar
20?
player,
Name a
you know?
fucking member of
It's just-
Matchbox 20.
Right.
It's
Name
just
another
it's-
fucking member of Maroon 5. You just said Adam Levine. Name another member of Maroon 5.
I
Fair.
can't.
Sure.
Right. So my basic point overall is that what we as musicians are combating in the realm of music writ large is that singers
Did you
get the
lose a
attention,
signal?
and as a backup player, as a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer, whatever have you, you're just not going to have that spotlight. So when you're in a band, which is a group effort by definition,
Mhm.
especially which is especially true among people who have been in bands. Like we see bands like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and we're like, okay, they're a product. You know, they're not like actual band members. They're not friends that decided to do this thing together.
Mhm.
You know, there's a different commitment level there.
Well,
so when
and
that happens, and
I feel like
and
I'm
on your
confused.
level, and on your level, when it starts as a group effort and one star starts to shine in a certain way, whether of her own volition or not, because on one hand, people's attention naturally gravitates towards the singer, right?
Agreed.
But on the other hand, she's only there because of what you are doing to put her in that position.
Yep.
So for her to shirk that,
Thinking no doubt.
yeah,
Right, no,
you know,
and I understand.
like there's always
I understand these dynamics. Is
it-
what I'm saying is I don't understand unless you could like know that that person's doing it on purpose. I can totally put myself in that person's shoes. Like, no, I'm doing this thing with
It's
this
funny.
fan.
Okay, hang on a
and
second.
then-
It's funny that you mentioned
I
that because
signed
there
the
was a
shit.
couple of times that we had this discussion, and later on through the tour, it came around
It
because
kept
like
happening.
well, it got to a point where somebody would say, "Hey, can you sign my CD?" And she'd sign the CD, and then I'd be directly behind her at the merch table, and she'd do one of these. She'd make eye contact with me as she's handing it back.
oh, well then,
to
yeah.
the
See,
band.
that's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
See,
oh,
But
okay.
that
That's
didn't
a
start
totally
happening.
different
So she's
deal.
not spitting on it before she slides
Right.
it in.
So, but what I'm saying
I
is
gotcha.
but that didn't happen, and I understand roles because I don't need to be the rock star up front. I don't give a fuck,
Well,
you
no,
know.
and
But
I'm also
if
thinking-
you say, "Can your band?" that would happen too. Can your band sign my CD? And she'd sign the CD and hand it back while all the rest of the band is standing around her. And then that fan's got to go, oh, okay. And there was a couple of times where they felt so awkward that they didn't even want to ask to have the CD signed. And they said, can the band sign the CD? And she says, sure. And she signs it and hands it back. And then the person's like,
so they're
now I
asking
feel
for the
really
band to
fucking
sign it.
weird.
Yeah,
that's totally different.
Yeah.
So it got to, but so to answer how I would answer that question, we got back from tour, and well, I don't need to be at practice tonight. You guys are the ones that need the practice, not me. And I went, oh, fucking hell no. Because I came back and started working a $15 an hour job.
Yeah,
and I'm working like 12 to 14 hours a day.
Right.
And I'm busting my dick
And
to afford the next
it's
tour.
always the worst when the vocalist pulls that shit because it's like you already don't have to spend money on your instrument.
Exactly. Well, and while we were on tour,
I mean,
she
like,
wouldn't
your shit don't
help. She
break.
wouldn't help unload. She'd put her sunglasses
this
on and
Cold
walk
Kingdom?
around. Anyway, so so this shit happened.
I mean, dude, it's not going to take a deep
No, I
internet
know.
sleuth to figure out how many bands you've been in with a chick.
I was hoping you were
You
gonna let
fucked
it
up
be
a long
an
time
internet
ago when
sleuth.
you said she.
I was gonna let
You should have just
omission
kept
be
saying
commission.
Right. Well, and to be fair, let me clarify. Her and I are actually better friends now than we were when we were in the band.
Sure.
Things don't always work out. Hey,
classic
hey,
government cover
hey,
up.
hey, no.
it's a
Things
true
don't
story.
always work out the way you want them to, but they do work out.
But
all right?
and in the long
let
run,
it,
like
let it be,
the two
you
of us
know?
have sat down over beers. She just recently had a son, and
Good
like
for her. That's
Look
awesome.
who's in
That's
the
awesome.
pocket of big feminism.
priorities change, man, and that's
They
the,
do.
that's
They
the biggest
absolutely
thing.
do.
Like,
I-
They
when
absolutely
those
do.
priorities change,
That's John Wheeler's bit. Shout out to John Wheeler.
when those
That's John's
priorities
bit.
change,
Yeah.
and you realize, like, what Jesus, we went through that whole thing together. You can have a civil, rational, adult conversation and go, hey, this is where we both fucked up. Because there were instances where I was just a piece of shit, and I get that, and I'm the guy that I've been in those situations.
I can't
relate. I've
imagine
never
you
fucked
being
up.
a dick.
Imagine it. Okay? Can you imagine?
I love you dearly, and
I
will,
can't re- I can't
always
relate.
will. But
I can't relate. I can't relate.
We had
I've
some
never
days,
fucked
man.
up.
We did have our
we
days.
had our, and
So-
you know, I just want to say,
I can't wait till
just,
we have our days.
just to put it like
Ooh.
completely on the record,
Yeah.
like
He's gonna quit the band.
I'm fucking quitting the band before Kevin this time.
Oh! All right. Can I go take a piss and then we can talk some Johnny
No.
stories for Dalton?
Yeah, we
Nope.
should. We absolutely should.
Should I?
Nope.
I'm
when
gonna
you
go
get back from your piss, we're talking about Oprah.
I'm gonna go piss in the dryer.
Not in the dryer, dude. No. in
Yeah,
the
we don't
lock-
want that to smell better.
No, there's a.
The sink. Use the knob on the left. The knob on the left. Use the cold water.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it smells like hot pee.
You don't need one. Just let your eyes adjust.
This is so much fun.
It
I'm glad I committed to this 2 weeks ago and forgot about it.
was longer than that.
Well, yeah, but I stand by it. I knew a Saturday or a Friday night would work, and here I am on a Saturday
Did
night.
you guys notice what time I sent you that message this morning?
9/11.
No, man. It was at like 3:00 in the morning.
Oh no shit.
I woke up at 2:30, bro.
Jesus fucking old man Christ. Who are you?
Dude, it was the weirdest thing. Like, so I had been going to bed like between 11 and 1
Yeah.
religiously. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like last night, I was like, it's like 8:00. I'm like, dude.
Oh, I think I'll lay down. Take a
Yeah,
nap.
I'm like,
take
I'm
a
fucking
snooze.
tired. I'm gonna go upstairs and go to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, for real. I'm like, yep.
Yep.
Dude, I fell
Oh.
asleep by like 9:00. I was up at 2:30.
Dude, I'll tell you one
I
time.
just woke up. Like, fuck?
this is great. So I used to do that every once in a while when I was in the Navy. Like I'd get home from work at like, I had to be at work at like 7:00 in the morning. I'd be done and home by like 4 or 5 o'clock. But every once in a while, after going hard and partying with friends on the weekends and shit,
Going hard at the
going
bar.
hard at
the
the bar with my friends in San Antonio. You know.
Evan Beers.
Yeah.
Going hard at the bar. Evan Beers.
I'd get home from
bar.
work at like 4 or
Yeah.
5 o'clock. I'd put on a
Yeah.
movie and I'd fall asleep and I'd wake up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just like, okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
fuck, okay, I'm rested.
Oh,
I'm up
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I'm up now. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll take a shower.
Hey,
I'll
been
jerk
there.
off.
Been there,
I'll,
bud.
I'll get ready for work. I'll go in early and everyone will be like, oh, Dalton's
He's
here.
such a great worker.
Poor
So you added another S. So
S.
you added a fourth S.
I added another S.
Yeah.
It's because I'm a millennial. It's a
It's
linguistic
So it's not just shit, shower, and shave for you. It's shit, shower, straight, shave, and stroke.
Oh yeah, dude. For real. 4 S's. 4 S's. Gotta have
Are
the
there-
4th S.
Can I
The 4S Club.
can I ask a question about jerking
Club.
off real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
You might have been part of this conversation.
It is
at
the
one point.
internet.
jerking
Are you
off.
left-handed?
no.
Okay.
I'm right-handed.
You're
Right-handed.
right-handed. Yeah, I knew
As
that
you can
about
tell
you.
by the
do you,
forearms.
Do you remember where this conversation took place? This has been an ongoing thing with Johnny Rook for many years, is that we want to know if there is a true lefty out there. True lefty, okay? Because this is the tough part, is that left-handed people, there's so many of them that do something right-handed. Okay? Most which way do you lean?
My
Which way
dick?
yeah, which
yeah,
way
to the left because I'm right-handed.
you're right-handed.
Yeah.
Now, do you lean to the left?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right-handed. So you're jerking off, and everybody that I know right-handed.
You spend
lean to
enough
the left.
time on any sort of instrument, it'll.
You're saying I
it'll-
could straighten my dick out if I started jacking off with my left hand.
I want to know if there's
By
He's not
70,
saying.
Is there-
by
He's not
70,
saying.
I
He's
could
saying
correct
it's
it.
scientifically approved.
I want to know, is there a true left-handed individual that jerks off left-handed, everything else is left-handed, do they hang to the right?
Oh.
Blew your fucking minds!
Hey Siri.
All right, anyway. Let's
Do any famous dicks hang to the right?
Oh, Jesus, it actually pulled up.
Fuck yeah, it did.
Oh.
Good
All right.
thing it only opened up his phone.
All right, let's have this Johnny Rook conversation.
Does anybody have the answer to this
Oh,
in
let's-
chat? If anybody's watching this,
Yeah.
Do any
type it up.
dicks,
Pull it up.
contrary to liar liar,
all our viewers dropped out instantly. We went to 0.
from 3?
Well,
How many do we have? 5. We had 5. Sorry.
we're super angry with
I don't
all
know.
of
You
this.
should. Look at,
I've always been able to clear a room.
Yeah,
either
that is
orally
true.
or rectally.
Yeah, Jesus, man, you
Jesus
want to talk? Jefferson, Missouri. You remember that fucking toilet?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think we all threw up when we went. I have video of that
I
somewhere.
puked on my dick as I was taking a piss.
Dude, that. All right, that was the one good show we had out of that entire fucking
And
month-long tour.
it was sandwiched by a harrowing journey there, a harrowing journey to California, Missouri, to
Yeah.
that wood stove heated house in air quotes.
Yeah. Wow, that was.
Yeah.
So have you ever gone back and thought about? I like to. So I'm still 5 years into writing this book and
Yes.
documenting all of these strange, crazy occurrences.
so wait, you're writing a book?
Yeah, I know. On top of everything else I'm doing,
That's
I've got a
fucking dope.
typewriter.
I think
if
I'm
you
like
want.
500 some odd pages into this book.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's so
Nice.
tough
You
because
have
I
a
just
pen?
keep
You have a
adding
typewriter?
stories and more
I do.
stories.
I do.
Dude, he has a typewriter.
I have a
but-
typewriter.
But I can one up that.
Has a pencil.
No. Better.
Ink quill.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. You sons of bitches, you fucking cunts, stepping on my punchline.
Oh, I got
exactly,
you. I got you.
That's
bud.
exactly
Oh
where I
my
was
God.
going.
So,
Terrible.
do you know about
That's
this?
exactly what I was gonna say. You
do I
son
know?
of a
Do I know
bitch.
the origin story of?
No,
Well,
not after you ruined my
no,
joke.
no.
I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
Well, I was going to talk about the tour from hell.
Go,
Do you
go.
know
The tour
about
from
the
hell.
full long month?
Go for it.
So
Tell
actually,
whatever
the tour
stories
from
you
hell
want,
is the
man.
tour from
I'm
hell.
all ears, brother.
I want to know. I know about my recollection of this tour from hell, but I would like to. So to recap, this was a tour from hell, and then eventually, a few months down the road, we ended up going to South by Southwest. When we came back from South by Southwest was when Dalton Kevin quit the band. That was essentially what was supposed to be the end of Johnny Rook at that point, right?
But they refused. Thank God.
Well, eventually, I think 4 different times we finally. We're back.
In any case,
Anyway, so
the legend.
the thing is that Dalton ended up quitting the band, whether it was before or after Kevin. We could have differing scenarios of
It was
how
the
that
same
happened.
night.
It was the same night, the same day actually. We all met
I was
in Kevin's living room.
So, okay, I'm going to mediate this because the way you've told it to me is that the bass player, I believe his name
yeah,
is Kevin, said, I'm quitting the band.
Well, hang on. Let's hold
on.
Don't Tarantino this.
No.
I want to get from the beginning of the tour from hell.
Okay.
Because
we should Tarantino
here's what I'm going to say.
We should clear the ending up.
Well, the ending is that Dalton eventually said, "I'm done with the band."
You know what we should do is George R.R. Martin on it. You tell your
and
version.
Just shit all over season 8.
I tell your version of the ending, then I tell your version of the ending.
Well, okay.
and then you tell the story and let the viewers decide.
Here's ultimately where I'm going to say
cliffhanger for number 2.
Here's what I'll say for where I was at is that for the longest time, I harbored a lot of animosity towards both Kevin and Dalton. The older I've gotten, I go, fuck it. What's worth holding on to this? Because Dalton and I, before Johnny Rook, were good friends. A good part of during the way through Johnny Rook, we were good friends.
Yeah.
You know, we had different ideas about the business aspect. Yeah. And then when Dalton was done with the band, like I had that business-minded sense of this is what I want from the band, and ultimately somebody quitting the band went kind of shit on my whole fucking idea of where I wanted to be. So I harbor these intense animosities, and I don't
classic Dalton.
Yeah,
shitting on someone's ideas,
shitting in someone else's bed.
What I'm saying is that we got to a point that I don't remember. I think you came to a Pathos Ethos show.
Yeah,
and we were just like,
did
what the fuck is it? I'm not mad anymore. We're cool, and everything was fine. And then we've kind of ran into each other a couple of other times.
Yeah,
he sent me some tracks, and everything's fine. Like there's, we're still good friends outside of everything.
We're here in the same room.
We've never had the discussion of how your outlook of what happened on that fucking. Actually, we could probably even go farther back to when we were on the road to do the infamous Granger, the 3.5 months.
Tell me about the night you were born. So let's start there.
So I'm glad you brought this up because
the condom broke.
If I said it hadn't crossed my mind today before coming here, I'd be a liar.
Uh-oh.
Because like when I look back on who I was and who you were, and what we were trying to do at the time, I think we were both trying to earn it. Going back to that discussion from previously. And since then, you've become a father 4 times over.
Allegedly.
You've become a father 4 times over. My daughter's 11 years old.
Crazy.
And
God, you're old.
Like the number of things I've learned about myself over the last 13 years.
Isn't that wild?
Over the last 13 years since I left, and that's just since I left Johnny Rook because of where we were at the time. We had just come back from a harrowing winter tour that was just fucking terrible.
Catastrophic.
Just fucking catastrophic.
Yeah.
Like we nearly died several times. Then friends of ours died, and that compounded things. And especially now looking back at how bad that tour was for me, I can't imagine how bad it was for you.
Okay.
Because I didn't lose anyone on that tour, and even after the harrowing experience of that Jefferson City show with the lug nuts falling off the rig and us having to drive like another 40 miles on. By the time we got to a shop, we were on a lug nut.
One. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we were on a lug nut. Then we were like, fix it, please.
The fact that we thought we could survive off of 2 and we took off driving.
Yeah. Like, I value so much more today that experience because because it was formative in so many ways for both of us, in so many different ways.
Yeah. Yep.
And for me to harbor any sort of ill will today for what happened
13 years
ago, first of all, but also like with the 2020 hindsight of like, dude,
yeah,
like how ridiculous it couldn't have. Like, don't ever think any situation is so bad that it can't get any worse.
Yeah, right.
Like because it always can, and it always does. And I'm sorry that I left the band in the way that I did, but I was really fucking pussy drunk, and I really wanted to get married and have kids because it sounded like a lot of fun. And it was for a little bit, and I got a great kid out of the deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that my daughter wasn't made on accident. You know, we got married. We were like, let's have a fucking kid. We're going to have a great fucking kid. Look at how fucking cute we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did. And our kid is fucking amazing. And to think that you've done that 4 more times than me, like, I can't, like part of me is like, fuck, dude, I'm so sorry. But, like, I know how awesome being a dad is.
Yeah.
And so, like, I fucking... you're just the man.
Well, here's here's what I'll say. This is gonna kind of give anybody watching, Jared, it'll give you a little bit of an idea. We came back, from the greatest 3.5 months of being jobless and fucking road warriors ever.
Yeah,
I think we ran.
I was so fucking skinny. Oh my god!
Don't worry, we can get you there again. We just got to go back on tour.
Go on tour for 3.5 months. But the thing about it was that
I don't even think we need 3.5.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. But the one problem that we ran into was the van's transmission started fucking up on us in Nashville.
Yeah.
So are none of you guys car guys in the band at this point?
I am.
I
was at that. No, I was at that point too.
Yeah, you were the car guy.
Yeah. I just kind of like to tinker around with anything.
Well, you had been working in a detailing shop forever, and so you were
too,
around
but
cars.
Mechanic-wise,
you pick up all sorts of shit just being around.
So
cars.
did you have any idea the tranny was going before you left on the trip?
No, the transmission was fine. It was, I think, so we were on tour for roughly 3.5 months, and the end of it was supposed to be that we ended up in Nashville to work with this producer, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we got into Nashville and we were on one of the main drags.
That's right.
And all of a sudden,
clunk,
wham! The fucking thing drops on us, and like every time that it would shift, it was just hitting and just fucking
right. Especially
brutal.
trying to downshift going, because Nashville's not super hilly, but it's hilly enough where you have to downshift.
Yep.
Going uphill, and it would just like,
and it would just drop.
Oh.
And we were like, fuck. Somehow we made it home. I don't know how the fuck we made it home with that thing. We were all too poor to give a shit. But that was the only.
You made it all the way back to Minneapolis.
Yeah, with the -3 toaster too.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
The trailer. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
oh my god.
but
I'm still pissed about the duvet I lost in Sioux City or Sioux Falls.
It would have had to have been Sioux Falls.
Yeah. Oh, I had brought a blanket, and it was the best. I had gotten that blanket for Christmas from my parents. And I left it at the house we crashed at.
That would have been my brother's house. He might still have it.
Oh my god!
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It was plaid. It was brown.
James might have pissed on it.
James has pissed on it.
Yeah, a couple of things. But we came off of this huge high. 3.5 months, and the one thing that we had was car trouble. But we came back, and for a local band,
did you guys make money?
We came back $100 up from when we left.
Yep.
It's not enough, but I get it.
No,
it's not enough, but it's better than zero.
What? Or in the hole.
Yeah.
So we came back feeling
Is this
like
your first
fucking
real
champions.
tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as Johnny Rook.
As Johnny Rook, especially with me in the band, absolutely.
never went on tour.
I'm just trying to like make sure I understand all the circumstances.
Yeah.
So the idea was,
especially because there are other people listening too. If they're like, "Oh, fucking idiots," and it's like, no, we're putting this in context. The first tour. So the fact that you didn't lose $5,000 is actually kind of astonishing.
And actually, here's the thing too: is that when we left, this whole tour was 100%, well, damn near 100% booked off of MySpace.
Yeah.
When
we're talking 2007.
I quit my job.
MySpace.
I quit my job a month before or more before we went on tour, and I went to the coffee shop down the street with my laptop, and I sat there all fucking day long. I ordered a cup of coffee,
a cup of coffee,
and I
get the Wi-Fi password.
And I sat there for 8 fucking hours or more, and I would go on people's MySpace pages, other bands that were doing shit, venues, and I would just reach out
wormhole
and be like, "Yo, this is what we're doing," and then they would connect me with somebody else.
Like this band,
and then this band would say, "Yep, they've got the top 8 was this," and I just fucking networked and I connected with all these different places, and there were places that we were playing 2 shows in one day.
Yeah.
And we'd go and be like, "Fuck, we got to be over here," and we quick pack up and jet set over across town, and we'd play another fucking hour-long set and kill ourselves. And But we were living the dream, man, and we were all super good friends at
Dude,
that point.
yeah.
And we're just having a blast and everything, and
Just giving
actually
each other shit for trying to pick up ugly hookers
Well,
and
yeah.
trashy Kansas bars. There's no way it's not
whole other
coming.
story. Coin pouch is
Well,
another story.
You wanna?
So we and at this time my girlfriend had just broken up with me before we went on tour, so I was newly single.
Right.
So this was a fucking trip for me, man. And this is 3.5 months of being completely and unabashedly free. Right. And this is 3.5 months, and we had all saved up enough money to go do this, and then we had to pay this producer. The end result was that we were going to go out to Nashville, and we were going to record with this producer. This producer was going to shop us to record labels. We were going to fucking make it because we're doing everything that we're supposed to do.
Yep.
And at the end of the 3.5
You
months,
set you up on a showcase.
No.
yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah.
He was supposed to.
But okay,
He was
okay,
supposed to.
So that okay.
Then
so it's
COVID
part
happened, and
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So we came back, and everything was fucking dope. We're all on this super huge high.
Yeah.
I think we came back in July or some shit
Something
like
like
that.
that.
We're
It was
let's-
warm.
let's
yeah.
fucking-
And then what happened? You play a local show to no one.
Wow, yeah,
No,
probably.
because you guys were drawn here.
Not well, but we
So
were doing
I'm just,
what we were
I'm
doing.
sorry, I didn't mean this is bad interviewing. I feel like there's like a crash coming. Like you come off this
yeah.
high, you come home.
No, there is.
Oh yeah.
And the crash was the tour.
Yeah. The winter
we,
tour.
We came home and we all
Oh.
fucking stayed at the bass's house for a good long while. We came back from this tour and shit. I think I have an ID where I was so fucking bloated it wasn't even funny because we just drank. We became this party band. Everybody knew us as this party band.
Because
and-
it was our first time out on the road.
Right.
Everyone, everywhere we went was like, "You guys are fucking great. Let me buy you a shot."
Well,
Of
and
course.
let's be honest,
Absolutely.
we're really fucking good at partying.
And we were a really fucking good band.
Well, and
We fucking threw down every night.
and-
It was blood, sweat, and tears.
and
on
I
the
think we
stage.
surprised people, and
We
that was
did.
the thing. And then we came back and we scheduled a couple of shows and we were all like, man, this fucking sucks. We did so awesome on that tour. Let's book another one.
Yeah.
And we were all like, cool, when should we do it? Oh, you know when the best time to do it would be? December.
Woo!
And we fucking
In
booked.
the upper Midwest.
Right. So we booked a full month.
That's not the greatest planning.
Yeah,
No,
well,
no.
we were all on this high, and we thought like we were untouchable because we just did this 3.5 month long tour, and we fucking every show was a blast, and we had a lot of fun. We came back, and it was all
we'd been fucking all day, and our dicks didn't stink.
that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And we booked this month long tour, and we went out. And here's the very first night of
I don't
that
know why
fucking
I
tour.
always think you're more civil than I am. You say some of the grossest shit, man. For real, they're like, you're one of my best friends, and like, I'm always like, Dalton's like a really great guy. He's like really well mannered, but like when
really
it's
well
you,
spoken. He's a
But then
smart
you just
guy.
don't want to take him home to mom.
but for real though, and he is,
And then every once in a while-
and he is all of those things. But he's also by far the most graphic friend I have.
Oh, what a fucking motherfucker.
But
I was in the Navy for 9 years.
You,
That's-
you say some
Lots
of
of dick suck.
You say some of the grossest shit, like, yeah, we've been fucking all day and our dicks don't stink. I'm like, man.
But that's an analogy I will use at work.
I get it. I get it.
Right,
I
that one
get
goes
it.
straight to the fucking shop,
Dude,
dude.
I am going to be management by the end of next week. But do you remember the first show that we played on that tour?
Yeah, we were trying to get to Boston, Massachusetts.
Wrong.
No, what was it?
We played the Vault in Buffalo, Minnesota.
Wrong.
Oh, that's right. The vault with
With Dead Hands Rising.
Dead Hands Rising and
After
the burial.
No.
No,
They
we
did not play. It was
I know there was a show out in Buffalo.
we didn't play with
after
Dead-
the burial.
Or we did not play with
Some
After
of those
the Burial.
early after the burial shows. Good lord.
Yeah.
Good lord.
It was
So
with
good.
Dead Hands Rising and then
This
White
isn't
Knuckle
the same
Trip.
tour
They
as.
weren't
Oh,
called
This
that
isn't
after
the
that.
same tour where you guys got trapped in Wisconsin
Yes,
or wherever
yes.
with Body
Yeah, that-
Beneath.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Body Beneath.
And Body Beneath played that show too.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we were supposed to do this
Hold on, I'm
4
gonna
day
hold my dick. I'm listening.
4-day mini tour of this, right? And the very first night we go play this show in Buffalo, Minnesota. And the show is fucking packed. There's tons of people there. We throw down. We're super excited. And everybody's like, hey, you should leave tonight because it's going to start snowing and it's going to get fucked. And we're like, fuck it. We're Minnesotans. We can all do that. We can drive in the snow. Like, go fuck yourself. We'll be fine. And the band that we were playing with the next couple of nights in Milwaukee were like, no, fuck, we're dipping. We're out. And so they left town that night to go home back to Milwaukee. And the show ends, and I'm looking for the show promoter, and I'm like, hey, can't be found anywhere. And I finally find him, and he's locking up the doors. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to settle up, man. And he's like, what do you mean settle up? I was like, we just played the show. I booked this show. Like, I got all the bands on the bill. And he's like, you didn't tell me you wanted to get paid. I was like, dude, this is our tour kickoff show. Yeah, I want to get paid. Like, this
That's
is
your mistake, bud.
This is this actually, I could fucking go rounds with this kid about his awful booking. You probably know him. Bobby. Do you know the name Bobby?
Oh, shit. From Leo Presents?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him on the podcast, man.
Yeah, get him on. I would love to have a conversation with him.
Oh, man. Come on. We can't be starting shit with Bobby.
I don't like Bobby.
Everybody likes Bobby.
Yeah, well, I
maybe it was early in his career and he fucked up.
No, I think this is a reason. Anyway, we won't get into that because he's going to be a guest, and I don't want to be rude to you because I think that's important not to burn those bridges. Anyway, so he was like, hey.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So he's like, yeah, you didn't tell me you wanted to get paid. And I was like, well, you know, what? He paid all of the money to With Dead Hands Rising. And typically with Bobby, and here's what I'll say about Bobby, is that I get why he does the pay-to-play shows. He's always done the pay-to-play shows at at Skyview and stuff like that. Like, I get it. I understand why he's doing these things. I've never been a huge fan of the pay-to-play. You sell a bunch of fucking tickets, and you still are not going to make any money. It's exposure.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I hated about Bobby. Yeah, and this was not a pay-to-play. When nobody fucking sold pre-tickets or anything like that, but he gave all of the money to With Dead Hands Rising. Where the touring band who set the show up, oh no, they're not, well, you didn't tell me you wanted to get paid. Oh, motherfucker, of course I wanted to get paid. So the thing is that With Dead Hands Rising was super cool about it, and they were like, we'll wire you some money.
Yeah.
Like, we're not, we're just going home, and the fact that we took this money, like, if you guys are on tour, we totally get it, because they were a touring band too.
Yeah.
Super dope about it. They were awesome.
Yeah.
They gave us some money for it, and then we left the next morning in a fucking blizzard. Awful blizzard.
Trying to get to Sheboygan to play with.
Well, it was Body Beneath, and God damn it, why am I having a problem?
I can see the shirt that has the lion on it.
Well, that's Johnny Rook.
Well, the other lion. Because we were like, that's a really cool shirt. We should lions.
Well, no, you're not. You're talking Ivory Line. We weren't supposed to play with them.
No. What the fuck was the name of that band?
It was the band that played with us at the Vault. And then my buddy Matt Stein, if he ever listens to this, he's going to be pissed about it.
It's driving me nuts. Because I had the blue
what
shirt
are the
with
chances
the big
he's watching
yellow
right
logo.
Now? Put it in the chat. Matt Stein,
Put it
tell
in the
me.
chat. Put it in the chat.
So the thing
All
is,
three of you.
So the thing is that we went out and we got caught in this blizzard, and we made it to Mauston, Wisconsin. How far is Mauston, Wisconsin from Minneapolis?
Before we made it to Mauston, it had already been like a standstill of traffic. And what
I was going to say is, how far is Mauston? How far is Mauston from Minneapolis, though?
Why the fuck am I supposed to care now?
This is what I'm asking, though.
Right.
This will put into context how
I have
long.
No idea.
I think it's maybe 90 miles. We were on the road for 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. We had snowball fights on the interstate because it was just like
I got out and fucking ice skated, and then they finally shut everything down.
We drew a giant dick on the back of a Body Beneath's trailer.
That is true. Oh, well, I think they drew it on ours.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It was a good time to be
14
we
to 2.
ended up at, was it a Holiday Inn Express? Is that why we're experts in everything now?
I don't know. I wasn't there, man. I wasn't there, man.
I don't know. But it was. But anyway, so that was what it came down to, is that we were on the super high, and then we went to this month-long tour that every fucking day, except for Jefferson, that show was fun.
Only by miracle that we made it there in the first place.
But that show ended up being fun.
That was a really fun show.
And we were
the
like,
crowd
it's our turning point. Yeah, everything's going to turn
around.
around
to the corner.
And then everything shit the bed.
Yeah.
The next morning. Everything. And we came home, and it was like, when we came home from this month-long tour that was supposed to be our fucking crowning achievement after being gone for 3.5 months and living the high life, we came back from this month-long tour, and nobody said a word to each other.
We didn't.
We fucking dropped everything off, and all of us disappeared.
Yeah, I didn't get a text for like at least 3 or 4 weeks
Yeah,
from
we didn't-
anyone.
we
were
didn't practice, we didn't
we
talk.
all knew that it was going to take a minute
Yeah.
to decompress.
Do not fuck. And I think when we dropped all of our gear off, because we had to, the end all be all was we played in Sioux Falls, and we were supposed to have 2 or 3 more shows after that.
No, we did Sioux Falls, and then
We didn't do anything because
no,
the
we
trailer.
did. We did it. We did a show in St. Cloud.
We didn't.
No, we did the show in St. Cloud with Drift Effect, and we came back from that because we were talking about going to. You wanted us to move to Seattle.
Well, no, but I think the thing is that so you guys came
I'd have
from
quit
Nebraska.
that band too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
You came. I'll still move to Seattle. I don't
Fucking
give a
bring
shit.
up
thi- I
moving
don't-
to
I don't-
Seattle. I'm like, all right,
I don't
I'm
think
out.
you're-
Fucking do
You
it.
know.
You guys pulled up to
Why
Sioux
not?
Falls.
I moved
Yeah.
to New York before I
That's
moved
right,
to
because we
Seattle.
met up in Sioux Falls because it was the last
the
leg of the
axle
tour.
punched through the rim.
That's right, and we
Remember
had to, and we had to
And
get
we
a
got
new
a U-Haul.
We got a U-Haul, and we got like 45 miles to the gallon after
It
that.
was awful. But you also remember on that tour we could
45 to the gallon. That's
well,
a lot.
it's because we were having problems with our van as well.
45
Yeah.
to the gallon.
It
is
would
a
take
lot.
it would take
right,
at
because
least
we
30
had
minutes.
-3's old trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it would take us at least 30 minutes to get up to 45 miles an hour.
Dude, it was terrible because the axle on that trailer was so terrible.
Well, it wasn't just the
I'm
trailer.
saying 45 miles to the gallon is good gas.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I've told
45
you a
to
million
he's
times.
kidding.
I never fucking exaggerate. So
Yeah, but remember,
I think you exaggerated the wrong way is what I'm getting at.
yeah, he
right,
did.
right. I did.
It took.
I think you meant 8 miles to
No,
the gallon.
because when we
I think it was less than that.
no, because when the trailer busted,
miles to the
because when the
gallon.
trailer
Yeah.
busted and we got the U-Haul, the gas mileage was better.
that is incorrect.
No,
Because the U-Haul was heavier, and remember that our van it would take us 30 minutes to get up to 45 miles an hour because there was something
Okay.
wrong with the
yeah,
van.
I'm just misremembering that then.
Because
yeah.
when we were driving,
fair, yeah.
we stopped and we thought that maybe the trailer was loaded wrong and it was resting weird on the axle.
Yeah.
So we had to rearrange all of the
That's
shit
right,
in the
we
trailer.
did. We did rearrange it.
But it
That
was-
tiny
and then we
fucking
sat-
toaster. Oh
And
my
then in
God.
Milwaukee, we sat at that fucking mechanic shop thinking that they would get a bunch of shit fixed, and we sat there for 12 hours or some shit like that, and they still didn't get it fixed for $5,000 or some shit.
Yeah.
And Kevin's mom and dad paid for it, and we're like,
Yeah.
well, you guys can pay us back and all this shit. And we were like, well, fuck, we have to be in, like, we were ending up in Nashville at some point.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it was
because we
hairy.
went from Minneapolis, we were supposed to have a couple of shows out in the
I think
Milwaukee area.
Well, yeah,
And then
yeah.
down to St. Louis, and then we were supposed to go to Nashville to finish vocals.
Well,
for
no,
the
we
record.
did because we did Sheboygan and then St. Louis and then we did Kansas City and we stayed
And then we came back because a DWI that had to be back when we drove through that wicked fucking ice storm, only to come back to Kansas City to
Yeah.
play a show.
right, and then we stayed in Kansas City for a couple of weeks to prep for pre-production for the album.
That
For
was
the
during the
EP.
3.5 month.
Oh, that's
tour.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
See, this is the problem. This is
So,
the problem. That
but-
year was a fucking mess.
So when you guys came back from, I don't think we played St. Cloud. I think we canceled it. We were supposed to play St. Cloud, but we were all like, fuck it. This is over. And I
Yeah.
think we canceled the last 2 shows that we were supposed to play.
yeah,
and
because
we-
I do like I remember there was like a Fargo show in there too somewhere.
We canceled shows
What-
after the Sioux Falls, and we
what
were
was
like,
the name of
because-
that? Before I forget, because this has been bugging me for fucking years. What was the name of that band we played with up in Fargo? That was kind of a Tool sound alike, but they had the projector going of like all.
Pinwheel?
No, they
No, that was a Minnesota band.
yeah, but like no, they had like
And I think that
like the
was way
BBC
after
nature
this.
documentary like time lapse shit going on a screen while they were playing like their dark melodic.
That was in Fargo?
Metal.
I don't know.
Locally?
What was it? What did you just say?
That was in Fargo, and I don't.
Yeah.
Were
Oh,
they
what you're
local
saying?
band?
yeah, they were.
Stasia?
No,
that was
definitely not.
Minnesota too.
Yeah, definitely not.
This is
So
a-
they weren't a local band.
North Dakota.
Oh, they were local.
Local
Fargo.
in
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Well, I mean, they might
I
have been.
no
They were
fucking
like
idea.
they were kind of like a one-off. Oh God, it's gonna fucking bug me. It's gonna bug me for
Oh,
fucking.
I have no idea.
Sorry,
You're not-
didn't
you're not-
didn't
Are
mean
you
to
sure it
do
was Fargo? You're not thinking Seeking Surreal down in Kansas City, are you?
Doesn't matter.
No, because I remember seeing
Does it actually
surreal,
matter?
And
Like, seriously, for the sake of the story, does that detail matter?
no, but
he's just-
but
it's
shout out to
driving him
bands
nuts.
seeking
Yep.
surreal.
I mean,
what was
dude,
what was that
I'm
other
not trying to
fucking
be a
KC
dick, but if
band?
you can't remember their
Left Hand
name
of
of their
God?
band,
Fuck yeah. Oh my God, those fucking dudes.
See how quick you remember that name?
Yeah.
Well, that's
You know what
because
saying?
I'm buddies
So
with
I'm,
them.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be
Yeah.
dicks, but I'm just saying.
No,
like
just
if
one
we
dick.
can't remember your band name, maybe you didn't pick the best fucking band name.
Kill Bosby.
That is a genius band.
It was really good.
Anyway, to
Christmas
answer your
album
question,
coming soon.
Kill Bosby.
It's the 1 month long
I'm serious
tour.
about this. I'm willing to do it. I will come out of the fucking. I will literally pick the jersey back up and start singing again. If we start
There's a
crooner,
jersey?
if we
Dude,
start,
we should make jerseys.
I still think we should go full on like
Hard.
tuxedos.
Mullets. Oh. Yes. Yeah.
You can modify your tuxedo
don't
however
give
you
it
want.
away. Don't give it away.
Don't give it away. Don't get it away.
Somebody's gonna get
People
get
be
it
take
Fuck
care.
them. They
They're
still
gonna
got to
take our idea
execute.
and they're
Nah,
gonna
man,
run
they
with
still
it.
got to execute. And they still, even if they did the exact same gimmick, it still won't be as good as what we do. Nah, man, fuck that. I say we do this. We wear tuxedos because they still don't really know what we're talking about. All I said is crooner and tuxedos. They really have no fucking idea what we're talking about. But I say we do that, and then each person modifies their tuxedo. So we're still
My
in,
tie will be purple.
I'll
so
cut
we're
the crotch
still
out.
Ooh.
no, the color's got to be the same.
We have to have exposed scrotums.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
cutting my
like-
crotch out.
I'm thinking short shorts.
Down.
Like
Super down.
I'm gonna
Like
go in
pulled
short
down?
shorts.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
like
that,
I'm gonna-
like that
I'm gonna
kid
get
that never
tuxedo. I'm
understood.
gonna get
Like
really-
that kid that never got it. That you didn't have to pull your pants down to your ankles.
No,
To
you
use a
fucking
urinal.
idiots. No, you fucks. No,
I know. I'm sorry. I hate.
I'm gonna get
You remi-
legitimate.
you remind me-
fucking moron.
you-
39 years, Dalton.
You remind me of Scott Stevens from 6th grade.
This is how you remind me of how I really am.
Oh my god, that's it.
The
That's the
spelling,
end of the, podcast.
spelling word was mouse, and the teacher
Smell
had
mouse.
said
Smell mouse.
mouse. Mickey
Ha!
Mouse
Gotcha again.
is not a real person, but a character on television. And Scott Stevens started crying, and it was
he
about. You have no idea. He was the fastest kid in 6th grade.
Oh, like sexually?
Well, kind of, because his older brother ended up being a porn star. I wish I was making any of this up, because Nebraska is fucking wild.
This
'Cause that-
podcast is taking a wicked left turn. Wicked.
That's
left
because
turn.
they're right-handed.
Yes.
And I Tarantino.
Oh, I love
yes,
it.
I always bring it
Love
back.
Oh,
Always bring it back
That's
to the
called
start.
a callback.
It's like, it's a standard technique and persuasive.
Anyway, so let's
argumentation.
clarify something. I'm going to tell you my story of how I remember you quitting the band.
Okay,
Okay, and then
Call
you can
me-
tell me yours.
Oot. Call me Oot.
Okay. Well, no, it's not calling you out. This is just
Well,
how
hold
I
on.
remember
I
the
was
story.
supposed
Yeah.
to tell.
Oh,
his
yeah, why don't
version
you tell?
first?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, let's get this
Okay.
through a game of telephone.
So I was told by you that
Oh, no.
Dude.
No, don't do that. Just say what you know
gotta
about
quit
it.
stealing my smokes.
No,
You
those
have
are
one
his.
more.
I saw him
No,
bring
they're
them.
not his.
No, I saw him bring them.
No, you didn't, because they're
I got
mine.
you.
He knows I bring
Fucking
I
piece
got
of
you.
shit.
it.
So you
I'll
had
Venmo you
told me,
$10.
Well, not much has changed.
The more they change, the more they stay the
Duder
same.
quit the band,
Yeah.
and then like literally as soon as he got done speaking, you were like, guys, I'm out too. And it was because you were broke, you were hungry, you were freezing your ass off, and I think you already knew you had a kid on the way. I think you did, according to my shitty memory.
I did, at that time, I didn't.
And
we,
so-
we weren't pregnant at that time.
You weren't. Okay, but that's what I remember. And then you basically said
Middling
it was
detail,
essentially the opposite timing of that. So you quit the band, and then immediately your bass player quit the band. Discuss.
No, that's what I said. I said the opposite of that.
Yeah.
First
Ke-
it was Kevin, then it was
Yeah,
Dalton.
we had, as far as I remember it,
That's what he said too.
the night that Kevin quit the band was the night that I was going to quit the band, but I had my mouth open like I was going to say something.
And he beat you to it.
And he beat me to
Okay.
it by a breath.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck, well, that makes me wanting to do this way fucking worse because now the band's just like not
Yeah.
But also
Why-
easier because you're not the
No,
you're not
only
the
guy
first.
to quit,
Like, yeah, I
and
too.
you're the second guy to quit.
Actually,
I
that's
too
when the
am
Me
awful
Too movement
You're not
started.
the first
I
or
am
the
awful,
only.
awful Spartacus.
That's when the
Yeah.
Me Too movement started.
Right. No, and I did. I felt really bad
All right,
because
that's
I've always
too
like
far.
you got to understand. Like for me, Johnny Rook was a band beyond. Like I grew up in I grew up in Nebraska, in middle of nowhere, Nebraska. And when I was 12 or 13
versus the middle of
12 or
somewhere
13
in Nebraska.
years old, I found a website called theprp.com.
Mhm.
And they did
Oh yeah, good old
just
perp.
the perp.
I used to go there all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
perp.com.
It's still up. It's still alive and kicking.
Yep.
Yeah, they just changed it to peep.com.
No,
it's a totally different website now.
No, that's a totally different website, but it's still definitely the PRP.
Blue waffles.
No, it's
Long
definite-
story
nope,
longer.
I'm definitely
Long story
right.
longer. Me as a fucking pubescent guitar player who was following this rock news site did a review of a Johnny Rook album, and I listened to it in my home.
Did the stage of your puberty?
Directly correlate to the curliness of my.
No, is it
Pubes?
crucial to this story, or did you just
Well,
want
it
us
is,
to
because
imagine you
it is.
jacking off and
He's
playing
just saying
guitar?
that he was young.
I was young.
I just
young.
want
I
to
was
know.
young and
You could have just said young, but you said pubescent, which infers you wanted us to imagine you playing a lot of guitar
and getting
jacking
a hard
off,
on to Johnny Rook
and
music.
jacking off
That's what,
and
like-
searching the internet.
That's a real thing. That was a
I'm
real
just fucking
thing. So
buddy.
it was like
I'm just
for me
fucking
to graduate high school,
Starting to
move up to Minneapolis, like take the big shot and like join a band and like pull the flyers off the wall. Like, no, this band is looking for me. I'm not going to let anyone else see that this band is looking for me. To jump into a scene and then like have a like looking back now, it's absolutely juvenile because realizing how pubescent the internet was as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Infancy.
yeah.
I'm really starting to suddenly
Yeah.
dislike the word pubescent.
Well, I mean,
Let it grow on you.
then Jeffrey Epstein's not your kind of guy. I'm sorry.
That was a really good pun, dude. That was a really good pun, Zach.
But Biden might be.
He'll just sniff the back of your head.
I'm still not over Zach's pun to even follow up with these other tags, dude. That fucking pun was killer.
The Epstein one?
No, your pun.
Which one?
It'll grow on you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
my.
didn't even realize
I
you
didn't.
said it, dude.
I didn't.
That's
I mean,
why-
yeah, I did. I
that's
did.
why-
Let's go back. I deserve that pun.
That's why for me none of these
Yes.
other punchlines landed.
Yes.
There wasn't a long enough time for me
Fair
to finish
enough.
digesting
Fair
that
enough.
one.
So for me at the time, it was just really cool to jump into a band after having just jumped into a band. Because like when I moved up here,
Yeah, it must be nice to never have to start one. You
yeah,
fucking piece
like,
of shit,
dude, I thrive as a follower. I do.
boy.
I do, and it was especially
I'm just
rang
fucking
true in
with
the
you,
military,
buddy. I'm not
because it
trying to
was
get
like,
you to put yourself
tell
down.
me where we're
buddy.
going. I'll help you get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's I like to think that's kind of how that was my motivation and my mindset when I was in Johnny Rook. Whether that actually came to fruition or not is not up to me,
Mhm.
because you know I'm saying this now with this lens. At the
Yeah.
time, I didn't have that. I didn't have the wisdom.
You were too close
know
to the
what I mean?
pubis.
Right. I was too close to the mons pubis. I wasn't actually fucking.
Well, and for me,
But, you know, like
when you joined the band, obviously we were friends before. He was in -3. I saw what he was able to do in -3, his skills, and I was like, hey, you know what? I fucking need that. I need a second guitarist that's capable of that. But my mindset, and you're right, you know,
I was shocked. Let me jump in real quick.
oh, here we go.
I was shocked when I saw you show up on stage with an electric guitar rig. I was like, oh, it's about to go down. Like, for real. Because I had already
Clean tone,
known
the
you.
entire set.
I had already known you for so long.
Right.
And
we-
I had,
you know,
and
we
I had
were
been
like
a fan of your
19 at the
band for a
time.
while.
yeah.
And I actually remember hitting you up. I think I told you this on the
we
first
talked
podcast.
about this. Yep.
But I don't know if we said it on the podcast or before or after or whatever, but I actually hit you up via MySpace. And I was like, you ever want to add another guitar player? I'm your
Dalton's
guy.
your guy.
No, I was like, I'm your guy. And you're like, oh, I think we got the position filled, man, but I appreciate it. And then you never did. Like, there's never another guitar player. Like 2 years later, -3 breaks up and you end up in that band.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, now you're looking for another guitar player.
Well, here's
But
actually,
at the same
it's-
time, I was like, dude, that makes a lot of sense. I
Well-
was so excited to see you. And then you had an electric guitar rig. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, and for me,
This is about to go down.
the thing about it for me is that
Yeah.
I was in this mindset of I'm going to do whatever it takes to add this element that will make people, because we're playing with metal bands.
Well, and
Right,
let's
right.
just so people
Right.
don't have to go back and watch the first podcast,
Yeah.
let's do a quick job of recapping. So you're playing with mostly metal bands. You just said that,
Mhm.
but you guys, and for the listeners,
It's an
weren't
acoustic
metal
band.
You were like, but metal guys loved your band, and we all wanted to see your band, so it was okay
It's
that you
true.
were playing out of venue and out of
Well,
out
and I
of-
think the
out
big
of
thing
bill.
is that what it was that this acoustic project started, and then it's just in my nature to fucking throw down, and I had to throw down. But at the time, I could not play electric guitar to save my life. I sucked at it, but we threw down like we were a hardcore band, a metal band, and a lot of these bands they understood what it
Yeah,
was.
because
You have any videos
the
for it?
ethos was very much
The
hardcore.
first time- Yep.
Very
the first
much
time
out
you
of
were-
like a refused, like in your face.
The first-
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, violent shows,
Yep.
bloody noses.
first time
like
you
the
were on
whole
the-
9 yards. But with an acoustic guitar, people were like, "I don't understand it. Like this is some
But the
fucking
first time
Marty
you were on the
McFly. Your kids are gonna
podcast-
love it, kind of shit."
Yeah,
The first time you were on the podcast, we couldn't share anything. Do you have any videos out there so we can just show people real quick?
of Johnny Rook.
Yeah,
I
like
mean-
like a decent quality one.
Well,
or-
we've got the
No.
newest music video that we've got is
But do you have
Disneyland
like a
Pencil
live,
Erasers.
like a decent live
I
one?
don't. I mean, there's a bunch of random
There's some
fucking
there's
videos.
some bootleg stuff.
Yeah,
out
there's some
there
like
from,
there's some shit
for
from
some-
the
for
Red
some wild
Sea.
shows.
Nothing like with good audio.
No,
no, definitely
no. This is
not.
way before the time
but I mean,
of
like
people
even
that could take
even
good
that
videos.
being the case, like it wouldn't hurt to illustrate like what was
Right.
going on
Pictures
stage.
worth 1,000 words. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm getting
Well,
at.
and the thing about it was that I will
Is
openly
this
say
your newest music video?
no. Disneyland Pencil Erasers is the newest music video.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But the thing is that with and not a lot of metal guys will admit it, but they love acoustic shit because there's a certain honesty to it that, along with metal, there's a certain honesty to metal.
Yeah.
But there's a certain honesty to acoustic music, and you can fucking love both. And
Yeah.
that was what it came down to, was that the hardcore or metal musicians saw the genuine approach that Johnny Rook was taking, and we inevitably just got contacted by heavier bands that were like, we want you to play shows with us.
Yeah.
When did you quit?
It would have been 2007. So it's going to be hard to find anything from that era.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think there's one at our tour kickoff show at what was
That
it called?
brewery.
The Toy Box.
Yeah, the toy box right
Yeah.
on Hiawatha.
Yep, I
Yeah.
think you're in
I had
that video.
long hair.
Yeah, I think you're
Oh
in
my
that video.
god.
All right,
hair.
so you were
For that
saying
matter.
to go back so we don't get too far off track. You were
Mhm.
saying from my perspective at the time he comes into the band, you were playing with a lot of metal bands.
Yep. But at the same time, the metal bands really appreciated what we were doing. They loved it. They had a huge unspoken. We all had an unspoken respect. I mean, Body Beneath, for Christ's sake. They wanted to fucking
Yeah.
go on tour with us.
Yeah.
This fucking acoustic band that acts like they're this hardcore band, they wanted to go on tour with us, and that's saying a lot
Yeah.
out of a band.
Yeah.
But at the
It
same
was like getting the Goo Goo Dolls to open up for fucking Alice in Chains. You know, like
or Goo Goo Dolls opening up for fucking Kill Switch Engage or some shit like that.
even better, even
know,
better.
and that was
analogy.
the kind of shit that-
like it was that outside.
That's actually crazier, but I get why you're using
you know,
that as
because I
an
mean the
example.
vibe.
But that's what happened. That's what happened a lot. You know, so the thing about it was
Look how
that
gorgeous you used to be. What happened?
he grew the full beard and
Time.
lost the mustache.
time, bro. I
Just
still have
kidding.
that Sonora, by the way.
It's crazy how much you look like your brother now and how
That's
much you
because of the
didn't
facial
look
hair?
like your brother back then.
If I shave
Yeah.
my facial
No, it's
hair,
actually
it
the
goes-
nose and the cheeks.
Oh, really?
Like back then you
Oh,
didn't look like
I got
him.
fatter. That's actually what happened.
That's
Yeah,
what I've been
you
trying.
filled
That's
out
what I've been
nicely.
alluding to this whole
Yeah.
time.
All right, well, I'll work
That
on that.
AARP
They
card.
can't hear this. Obviously, I have it muted, but
Okay.
I'm also just kind of skimming through to see
Yeah,
if I
no,
can
that's
find
totally
something
fine. And
decent.
this one actually represents a
cool.
lot more of what our live show is about.
Yeah, I really like
This
that
is
about
cool,
this video. This
but
video
Dalton's
is
not
fucking
in
cool.
this.
No.
So-
But
I'm
so
not
when
gonna-
Dalton
I'm
joined
not-
the band,
I'm not going to be in
the big
much of
aspect
anything.
of
I
when
hope I
Dalton
don't
joined
crash
the
this
band,
stream right now.
the idea behind getting an electric guitarist was that we were playing all these shows with these metal bands, and the metal bands got it, but the fans didn't.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
the fans aren't musicians, and they don't appreciate the musicianship and
Like,
everything
yeah,
that went
the
behind it.
wild
But
time
you know
kind
what?
of things
But
that you
here's
do.
what did happen: is all the fucking chicks who went to metal shows to tag along with their boyfriends
And
fell
their
in love with
monster
your
tattoos.
band.
Yeah,
They did.
Actually, we had a lot of chicks that hated us. A lot.
But
You
you
would've
also
thought
had a
that
lot
that
of
would've been
chicks that
something.
loved you guys
We
because
did.
when you would headline, dude, You had more smoking hot chicks than anybody. at
Not
your shows.
-3. -3. We were actually that was a big reason why we
That
asked
was a
Dalton to
rivalry.
join the band. We were like,
You were-
he's
'cause
got to bring those hot
also-
chicks.
You got to bring those.
Also, what happened to
that
you?
Scotty slew to the shoe, bro.
We used to be able to trade pants.
I used to be able to trade
you to
pants
go
with my
home and think
ex-wife.
about that
I mean,
tonight.
that was like fucking 60 pounds ago.
My wife
who
still
cares?
yells at me that if I can fit in her pants, then we're gonna get divorced.
Well, I don't know how that
I'm
makes sense
trying
when
to
you
fit in
keep
her pants.
cranking out kids.
I'm trying to fit in her pants.
Well, whatever you're doing it right.
It's a joke,
because
Sarah.
Without getting in the pants,
is
you're
this?
still cranking out the
Is this who made
chitlins.
your music video?
Who's that? No, that's Russian descent. Is that what that is? It's a Russian channel.
account?
Yep, space on
Okay,
travel.
well,
they
thanks for talking about Russia. We just got demonetized.
Yep. Actually, you want to know what my favorite thing about watching these videos from other sources is looking
Not
at
at
the
all.
thumbs
Pass.
down video or the thumbs down aspect.
Only
of
11
these videos.
thumbs down.
I love seeing thumbs down on our videos. I
So
love
do you
that
know how
shit.
this is supposed to work?
What, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
think
you
that
want-
thumbs down means that they like it.
You want 4 thumbs up for every 100 views. That's your target.
Oh.
So do that math. I think you're ahead of the curve a little bit.
Well, and I actually appreciate because I that gives me a lot of
so that you should
motivation.
be at, you should be at 100 for 4,000 views, right?
Uh,
but you're
yeah.
at 184, so you're almost clipping 100. You're
yeah, that's
clipping
pretty good.
Well,
you're
I-
literally clipping almost 184% of what you. So ignore that. And I know what you're trying to say. I know
I
you're
love
trying
it.
To, I know you're.
I
being
love
positive.
seeing more thumbs down than not because that makes me go, yeah, I like
People
it that
are
you
actually
dislike it.
reacting to it.
Yeah, I like that you
they're-
dislike that because not everybody is gonna like what we do,
Fair.
Yeah.
and I like seeing.
I'm
the
just
thumbs
trying
down.
to put it in the positive perspective.
Yeah,
Like
And it's funny because when I joined the band, I was working a job building rock climbing walls. And I was
yeah,
trying.
Fuck, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
and
I'll
I was
slap
and I
a
was-
like
and I-
on it.
And I was working with,
but who's this?
and I was working
Space on travel there. That I think Russian.
like a Russian reposter.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
They just music. They
Yeah.
try to share new music, and they've got.
so are they paying you for this?
No.
I was explaining the sound of Johnny Rook to one of these dudes I was working with, right? And he said, "Does your drummer have a double kick pedal?" And I was like, "Well,
I love you,
yeah."
man, but we gotta talk. We gotta talk about your business practices,
And
bro.
I'm not gonna get paid shit off of 34.49 views, bro.
No.
it's true.
No, but guess what
But
though?
he said
that's
he is
fine,
getting
but it's-
paid.
he said
that's fine, but it's all about the views of the video. If he was getting paid off of this video, then good on him.
yeah.
No, but
Congratulations.
You're this is not what you need to look at. He just uploaded this. Okay, is what you need to look at is this and what this is
He
going to
uploaded
become
this
over
in
time.
May.
Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I'm saying
over.
that
It doesn't, dude. You're losing money. You shouldn't be letting.
I'm not
people,
losing shit on this
You shouldn't
fucking.
be letting
I'm
him do
getting
that.
people that go to my Apple,
International
iTunes,
copyright-
or
copyright
Spotify,
law
and
is
they
different than
fucking
American copyright
download
law,
the
though,
shit
too.
from my. This is
At
just
least he did this. Hey,
promotion.
I'll give him this.
Long story short,
I'll-
Jay has a double kick pedal. Where
He did this.
Johnny Rook is a metal band.
He did this, but
That,
here's-
that was the
point
That
of
was his
being a-
rationale, and I was
okay.
like, no,
No,
we're really
Adam-
not though.
no, at a
I played him
minimum.
wrong thing, and he was like, yeah, not quite. No.
God. See, this is why bands don't succeed because you guys aren't even listening. At a minimum, you
Oh, that's
need to
why.
reach out
Because we're
this
not
guy.
listening.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly fucking why.
Here
At
he
a
goes.
minimum,
All right.
this needs to go to the top of the page. You should at least have first fucking credit, and
Well,
first
he-
billing on your own fucking music. This dude is making money exploiting another up and coming artist. I'm just saying, man.
Dude,
Is
you
that-
got
is that
ad
the-
blocker.
is that
He
the
didn't
way-
make
is that
any
the way-
money off of you blocking his ads anyway.
Well, is that the way on a? Is that how a record label? Do they say the band name first before the record label
who gives a fuck about
Of
a record
course.
label?
on a YouTube channel?
Look at the bottom of your CD. It's at the bottom corner. The record label's like
I'm
the
not on
least
a record
promoted
label.
thing.
I've never gotten that.
No,
far.
I mean like any CD that you look at.
Me either, bro.
thanks a lot. Rub it in, bud.
I've never been signed either. It's probably why
What
we
I'm
fucking
saying
haven't quit yet.
Is that there's a lot of stuff for the internet right now that there's a huge learning curve. I get that, but at the same time, you fucking take the assistance that you can get, and the amount of people that this has pushed to download our music is worth. I get paid more off of the push that this drives people
Right.
to our
That's actually
streaming
definitely not true.
The spread of
100% false. You will make more money
than you
off
haven't
streaming from YouTube than streaming from iTunes or any of the streaming platforms. 100%.
$34.49 is not a fucking drop in the bucket of what we currently have received from people that have watched that video and gone to our socials and actually downloaded music from
Right.
iTunes or Spotify. What he's seen for payment from that, he's not seen a goddamn thing in terms of what we have seen from the downloads of that song.
Yeah.
So I will happily give him rights to put that on his channel.
Give him $6.
Not buying it.
Give him $6 in streaming revenue for the
Not buying it.
$35.
You can actually-
for the $35 in direct download revenue.
Right.
Not buying
you
it.
can actually Google what he's getting paid per view on his YouTube channel, and it's not shit. It's not a goddamn thing. Yeah, he has 229,000 subscribers, but clearly not all 229,000 subscribers listened to that song and gave a shit about it enough to do anything, because we've got 3,449 views on that. It's half of what we have half of that on the Johnny Rook video itself.
Yeah.
So-
because this dude's just reposting like nobody bans. Like, who the fuck is Youngblood? Who the fuck is
And the
Right.
fact that he's
But
willing to do that is
you guys
huge.
don't. You literally don't listen. Look at these numbers down here, because this is what happens over time. 6.3 million
over
views.
4 years?
5.4 million views. It doesn't fucking matter. That's supposed to be your money. You should be getting a cut of that.
How many? Okay, but what I'm saying
He's
is
got
that
250,000 subscribers.
from a business perspective, how many of those people from the 6.3 million views have gone to that band's website or that band's socials and have downloaded the shit, are continuing to stream it, and everything from that point that that band releases, they're not finding that and downloading it or doing it from space on travel. Yeah, over 4 years, 6.3 million views. That's a fucking great number, and that's fantastic. But the fact of the matter is that over 4 years, what has that band seen as a result of it?
Probably nothing.
I disagree.
That's the sad thing.
No,
I disagree.
That's the saddest part of it all.
Disagree
because if you're
because-
actually relying on your streaming revenue,
You're not
that's
relying on
not-
shit. You're just utilizing certain avenues.
right.
But
so,
you're not utilizing this avenue
Right.
at all.
But you are.
You're not.
for merch
How are you
sales,
not?
You're
for
letting
direct
somebody else
download
utilize
sales.
this avenue with your content that you put all that intellectual property into,
If-
and he's utilizing it.
If
and
that
he's
were the
making
case,
money
he
off
would
it,
not
you.
put all of that information on his YouTube page to drive you to drive the listener to the socials, to the streaming
I'm not buying it.
platforms.
I respectfully disagree.
Okay, and I will respectfully ask you this question: how much music have you put out recently that you're making money off of?
Boys,
I
I,
don't-
think. Ooh,
I don't see
I'm
how
really,
that's
I'm
relevant.
really willing and able to say that someone just put their dick on the table.
I'm not sure how that's relevant.
It's
what?
It's very
Is
relevant.
money relevant?
So you're going to tell me that
Money's relevant.
managers and business-minded people that help bands make money and understand how the business work don't have a say because they don't put out music?
No. But what I'm asking
So because
you,
I don't have a record out, I don't understand how this works?
that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a certain demographic. You're trying to hit a certain demographic, right? And if you saw, as a businessman with your podcast, you saw an opportunity that is, you're not paying a fucking cent, right? And it's going to drive listeners into your channel. It's going to push people into the channel of your podcast. You're telling me that you're not going to take the opportunity to say, like, okay, yeah, thank you for the help that I'm doing this on my own. I'm looking for sponsors. I'm looking for shit that is going to push me in this direction, because we all start at the same spot, which is fucking rock bottom. And so you're going to find channels that are like, I really like what you're doing. Get that shit everywhere that
Yeah.
you possibly
We
can.
just
The
we
free
just
press.
had two different conversations at the beginning of this. Of number one, understanding your worth, and two, the idea of pay to play and the scam of for
Right,
exposure.
right,
No,
right,
what
right,
you're
right.
talking about is when you ask me to appear for promo, and you're like, "Look, I can't pay
Hold
you,
up, though. Hold
but
up,
you're
though.
gonna you come over here, or I'm gonna take your shit and I'm gonna push it because I have all these subscribers." Is that cool? Yeah, it's cool. But if you're taking my shit and you're making more money off of taking my clips and somebody else's clips, like this is why these dudes got banned off of Instagram, because they were making millions of dollars off of other people's memes, and the people that created the memes, they didn't get a bigger following because of it. It's absolutely not okay. 100% not okay. You should be getting a cut of this.
Whether
it's
only
okay or not is irrelevant. 3,400 views now. But 4 years from now, it's going to be millions of views, which means that fucking video, dude, is going to garner tens and tens of thousands of dollars.
Here's the thing,
that you're never going to see a fucking dime off of.
No, but here's the thing, though, dude, because unless you're fucking Psy or fucking Lady Gaga, you're not going to see more than maybe $900 off of 1 million streams.
Dude, I don't understand why the two people who don't have a YouTube channel are telling me how you get paid on YouTube. Like, dude,
you can't get paid.
What you're saying is that since I don't have a YouTube channel, I can't tell you how it's getting paid.
No, I'm telling you, you're losing a lot of money.
How much money have you spent on advertising, Jared? How much money have you spent on advertising?
The difference is I'm also a musician, and I understand how you get paid on YouTube.
How much money have you spent on advertising? Because he hasn't spent a dime, but 3,000 listens later,
you guys
I've made money off.
You guys are getting it.
He knows that's people that know.
Then why not play every show for free? Then why not give every scale?
We're talking about being.
Then why not give all the streams away for free? Because this is the bigger of the scale. You guys
already are.
Make more. No, you make more money off the YouTube content than you will off fucking Spotify or any of the iTunes downloads.
I don't doubt that 100%, for a second. But until you're diversified into all of them, it doesn't make a difference.
Let me fucking finish. Especially when you're putting out premium video content like that video. That is a high quality video. I don't care if your buddy or your brother is a fucking Hollywood producer and he did it as a favor for $0. It looks like you spent 30 grand.
Okay.
It is a great video.
I'm going to stop
no reason
I'm going to
let someone from Russia
make
any money off your music
I'm going to stop
without you getting paid.
I'm going to stop
you. Now do the American government.
I'm going to stop you.
I love you.
There is a difference.
But I'm telling you.
There is a difference.
No,
this is why.
I'm going to talk now. My turn. There is a difference. There is a difference. And the difference is that I have half of the views that this guy has got right now. I could either go online and I could pay for fucking advertising. I could pay for this to move. And now I'm spending money to make money. This is the fucking politician way. We need to fucking raise the deficit so that we can lower the deficit. This is just what we got to do. It's
free
trust me.
Press.
Exactly. The fact of the matter is that
it's not free press.
It is free
it's
press.
Stolen content.
It is not. When I give them my permission
to
do
Lars.
it,
did you give them your permission?
Lars.
Yeah.
Did you give him your permission?
I did.
Okay, then it's a different story. I'm saying
ex
at
post
a minimum, if I were your manager, I'd be saying we at least need to be at the top of that then, so we can get as many views as possible. Because if we're going to sacrifice the immediate money of allowing him to throw our content out there like that, then we at least need to be getting as much as we can out of it.
What leverage?
Well, exactly. Let me
100% copyright leverage. All of the leverage.
He's in Russia. You don't have any standing.
He's on fucking YouTube.
But
you literally flag the video as your own content. When you upload it, you can fucking check a box that says, no, this isn't common use. You don't have a right to use this.
It's educational.
So is what you're telling me is you just didn't know that was an option.
No.
Okay, but fair enough. But what I'm saying is that
Unless he reached out and said, "Hey, I want to share your shit," then it's a completely different story.
But then what you're doing is you're decreasing visibility.
Let me answer his question, because the question you presented me was exactly that. Hey, you come do this, I'm going to push your shit, you get more exposure. That's a deal we made. Yeah, okay. That's play for exposure. That's even, hey, you know what? Fine, I get it. I got to go sell 100 tickets, and I'm not going to make shit, but I'm going to
be in front of a crowd that I wouldn't have been in front of in the first place.
That's a deal we made.
Yeah.
Is what I'm talking about is you put out a video and some other guy grabs that video and millions of other artists across the globe puts it on his own.
You're right.
But that's what it looks like.
I gave him express.
You could have just said that
approval.
At the beginning, then, and we could have avoided this whole thing.
You just said, "Who is this guy?" And I said, "Oh, he's
who
from
is
Russia."
This motherfucker robbing you right now?
I'm going to guess he's from Russia.
He's in your back pocket.
He's a dude.
He take your money.
No, for me, if this guy,
it's a fucking shit show.
If I've got 3,449 views off of a fucking YouTube channel, I'm not losing money because I saw the amount of fucking traffic. If I wouldn't have given him express permission to put that up on his page, I would have saw far less of the traffic that it didn't get in front of that 3,449
Do you have
people.
that same video on your own
Yes.
YouTube page?
Yep.
Okay.
If I wouldn't have seen that 3,500 people visit that song and come and checked out the rest of the catalog.
And I got to admit, there's a ton of artists that I've discovered through wormholing like that.
Somebody else's page.
Through somebody else's page.
I get it.
Someone like fucking Crywolf or Astronomy.
Oh, that's not where I wanna
Now,
go.
if
I like.
How come it, how
Like
come
your anger's
how
not
come he didn't
misplaced.
take your-
We should
No,
all be getting paid.
that's
for,
what I was gonna say,
We
is
should
that
all be
if
getting paid.
I'm not
for
even
our creative.
angry. I
If
was
this motherfucker
perplexed.
took-
Hold on. I was perplexed
See,
because this conversation started off with like, know your worth, no pay to
Right,
play.
right.
And then all of a sudden you're like, no, let him have it for free.
well,
I got more streams, and I'm like, you got less money, but
I understand
Also
that.
Yeah.
didn't, you
There
also
is-
didn't frame it as you made a deal.
look,
You framed it as like.
if we weren't
It's
jerking
just
each
on
other
his
off
channel.
under the table right
But why
now, we'd
isn't
be
your
fist
YouTube
fighting.
channel tagged? Why isn't your YouTube channel tagged?
Speaking of fist fight,
That was
when
my
the last
problem.
time you played Leg Up?
So what is
You
your
mean Broken
YouTube
Legs?
channel? What is your YouTube channel?
I don't know, honestly.
AO Zachnology.
Underscore
can't
Johnny
be
Rook
that.
underscore. I don't know.
No, it's got you.
If
don't-
you type in Johnny Rook, it'll probably pull up Disneyland, Pencil Erasers, and
but where's your
right there.
channel? This one?
Yep. See, 1.4.
Oh, underscore Johnny Rook underscore. You weren't kidding.
Somebody else took Johnny Rook.
I suppose because it's
Yeah.
a bird.
And they did Bush covers.
You guys are hilarious.
That is true.
Okay, so now we're on your page. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at all
1,400
that
views,
look at all that
47
money I've made off of those 1,400 views.
But see,
guys.
47
No,
subscribers.
but see, here's the point. That's why is because you only have 47
right.
subs.
That's
that's
why he's
because
okay
they don't
with
give a
someone
shit
with
about socials.
230
But-
some odd thousand being like, "Hey, here's a song."
This is what I'm trying to
That's a
explain.
bigger audience.
But this,
you know,
listen to me though. This is what I'm trying to explain. If you had more than 1,000 subs, you'd have more than 1,400 views. The fact that you have 1,400 views at only 47 subs is actually pretty impressive. But it literally can't make you money until you have 1,000 subs. You've got to get monetized on that channel. So my point is it's cool and fine if you can turn that guy's exposure into subs, because if you get to 1,000 subs, you're going to make more money per YouTube watch than you will per iTunes or Spotify
Sure.
stream combined.
No,
And
and
it's not even close, bro.
I know. I've seen that too. And I gotta say, I'm really fucking pissed off that we have 0 thumbs down. That tells me that this fucking channel is
Fine.
doing something wrong. Give
Fine.
it a thumbs. Yeah,
we did it.
You did it.
Ah, cherry poppin' daddy.
I mean, I didn't want to.
Did you just give me COVID?
I didn't know. I sanitize.
You can only be so lucky.
I sanitize the shit out of everything in this room all the time. It's
Anyway,
ridiculous.
so here we're gonna get back to the story of you quitting
right, because that's where we were going.
because I made
We're gonna
so
get
much
one
money off
thing
of
done
Dalton
tonight.
quitting.
That is.
Oh
I've
my
got
God.
a whole YouTube channel dedicated
Oh my
to that
God.
shit.
Tell me,
All right,
tell
so
me you
okay,
made money.
here's
I
what
want you to tell this story, and then we are still only at about 2 hours, just
Really?
over 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh shit!
So-
You guys talk way too much.
It's only 8:30.
I've
but,
been sitting here.
But I want to play a couple of these songs,
Okay.
and I want to talk about these with you two since you're the songwriters
Right.
here. And I
Bono?
know you wrote these songs before you
Oh.
joined the band.
Incorrect.
But-
we wrote How Long Together.
Yeah, we did write it. Its working title was Squeedle.
That is
Okay.
true. Yep.
Fair.
Squeedle.
Which
So-
is literally how we started the podcast. Squeedle deedle dee.
If you don't speak Squeedle,
But
you don't
so you
speak
tell
guitar.
me you finish this,
Yep.
and then I want to get into some
And then,
songwriting shit.
yep,
and,
no, we
because I
can
have
go
some
to
other
questions
questions that we never got to in
So
the last podcast.
the
either.
idea of so we showed up after this fucking awful
Nightmare show.
awful fucking actually it was South by Southwest, and the idea of South by Southwest was that this was like the last ditch effort. All of us were like, if we don't make it,
Yeah,
fuck
we
it,
had
we're
all
done.
of our eggs
Is
in
this
that
the last
basket.
beer? You don't have a beer?
Yeah, those are the last 2 beers.
I have, dude. I wouldn't have. I got a natty light in the fucking.
I got
Garage.
y'all don't.
I got
yeah.
one beer in the garage. I wasn't gonna open it because it's one beer. But if we need,
Oh,
no,
well,
it makes
let's
sense.
talk about him while he's
Okay.
gone.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Wait for him to leave. I fucking hate that guy.
But man, his ass.
Standing
Oh
right-
shit.
Oh my. Oh no.
So, what happened? You remember South by Southwest
Yeah.
was supposed to be this whole fucking end all be all.
Yeah.
The
and, so,
all be it.
and it ended up being an adventure that
kind of all in itself, but at the same time,
Yeah,
Kevin and
yeah.
I were at
you and Kevin were
all-time odds.
All-time odds.
I mean,
Loggerheads is understatement.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like, and the hard part about it was between you and Jay. And James was always kind of that neutral.
Yeah,
you know, he didn't give a shit,
He was
and
super
like
neutral,
he was
super aloof.
just
He
a
was
bro.
like I gotta show up and sing and shit.
And he's just, you know, James has always been chill, and he's always been a bro. It doesn't matter. Like, he's not going to side with anybody, and that's, you know, I've always loved that about James. But when we, South by Southwest was like, hey, we just fucking spent all of this money with this producer.
Right.
And he's supposed to fucking showcase us, and we're going to go down to South by Southwest, and we're going to get signed just like Dropping Daylight did to Octone Records.
Right. We all had it within our
ideas
reach.
of grandeur.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is what was going down. And we went and we fucking
Frank.
spent this week and a half long fucking quote unquote tour, because I hate using that for a local band on a week long fucking run.
Yeah,
because
it was a week
not a
long.
tour.
It was a
A
week long run to
that's a
Austin.
weekend warrior.
Yeah, that's exactly
Like, we
it.
went down there for a week and we came back.
Yep.
And it
That's
was a
what
great
I did.
time.
I did a lot of those 1 and 2 week runs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we came
They're
back
not
from this
real
fucking
tours, but they kind of are. A
but
little bit.
you still have to take the time off, and you still
And
got to
if you
do
do
it.
them enough back to back to back,
Yeah,
where you'll
yeah,
take
you're
a week or
feeling
two
it.
at home,
That's your job at that point.
It eventually
yeah.
becomes a tour, right?
So we came back from this thing, and it was the biggest fucking shit show. After coming back from a month-long tour of just absolute annihilation, we thought, oh, we'll go down to South by Southwest. Fuck it. This will all be for naught. We're going to get signed. This is exactly...
Someone will see us.
Yeah, this is exactly the direction.
Someone from music business is going
Right,
to knock
because
on our door.
we paid the fucking money to
Someone
this producer.
from music business is going to knock on door,
or
and
they're
tell
going to
us
see
if
us
we
and go
made
like,
it.
I get it.
I get it. You guys are it.
And we went down and we played this fucking showcase show, quote unquote showcase show.
We played at the Dizzy Rooster at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yep, and nobody was there.
Nobody
it was
was
our
there.
fucking
No,
producer.
Not true.
Our fucking
Dead Sarah was there.
They were not.
They were there immediately afterwards.
Well,
I just remember seeing Dead Sarah immediately after and being blown away.
And they didn't play in the Dizzy Rooster. We went to go see them. But anyway, I digress.
They fucking killed.
They did, and
they
I
were
still
awesome.
love that band.
Yeah.
But we actually, we got off stage. There was one person, and the producer that we worked with was like, "Hey, give me a fucking list of labels that you guys want to be signed to," and none of them were major labels. You know, they're all labels like Equal Vision Records and fucking Fuel by
Solid
Ramen,
State.
Solid State.
Yeah.
Like, you know, shit that we grew up with all these bands, and we loved all these underground bands, and that's where we fit. But this motherfucker thought that Octone and Warner Brother Records and Atlantic and all this other bullshit, which we were never going to
be that
to
kind of
this
band.
day, we will never get a fucking major label recording contract.
They wouldn't get it. They just would.
They never will. They never will, and that's okay.
It's not their market share. It's just not what
and
they
it's
do.
not
and
where
that's
we're
fair.
at. It's not where we've ever been. We don't give a shit.
Right.
We don't need to be. And this motherfucker shows up, and there was one record executive that showed up, whispered in our producer's ear, walked out the door.
Yeah.
And I remember getting off the stage, and there was one dude in the Dizzy Rooster, and I went up, and he's like, "Hey man, good show." And I was like, "Oh, cool. What label are you with?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm the drummer of 3 Pill Morning."
Right.
And we played with 3 Pill
local
Morning.
band.
Yeah, we
a
played
local
with
band
3
from
Pill Morning
Minneapolis that we had played with like a
a
week.
million
In
fucking
fact,
like a
times.
week
Wasn't
before.
that the band that Ian
And it was just
in?
like,
Yeah,
fuck,
yep.
damn it. Yeah,
And he-
Ian
and I
from
looked
3
at
Pill
him and I
Morning is
went,
now in Johnny Rook.
I'm so sorry, dude. You're not wearing a hat.
Because he was always wearing it.
Always. But I felt like the biggest fucking chode rocket ever because
Dude, been there, done that
I'm
too.
thinking this motherfucker's here to
Yeah.
see our band, and because of this
You're more than
producer.
welcome to wear a hat in my band with that hairline.
Dude, for real. I'm
But I thought this.
You can either wear a hat or shave your head.
Malkoviching
So
right now.
Bake it and grow the thickest beard of all
Dude,
time,
I'm
and you'll look
going.
tough.
I'm going for the Devin Townsend skullet. Just like
Don't do that.
skull and mullet.
Don't do that. Just shave your head with a bick, grow the
Dude,
nastiest beard,
hear
and
me
you'll
out.
look
Hear me out.
tough.
Hear
Don't
me
listen-
out. The
don't
more
listen
hair
to
I
him.
lose, the
Don't-
more head I get.
Don't listen to him. Oh, I like that.
Right?
That's good.
You own it. You know.
So we got back from this fucking atrocity of
Yes.
South by Southwest.
I'm not mad. I'm just
showcase.
disappointed.
You know, Dad over here.
Aw.
We get back.
I got dadded.
And we actually, so this is a week and a half long tour.
You got dadded. You literally said a dad joke.
No, I'm thinking of when
Like-
Max showed up late to band practice that one day, and I was like, "Oh, we just show up whenever the fuck we want, huh?" And he was like, "Whatever, Dad," and I was like, Need a dad?
Oh!
Sorry.
Fair enough. No, it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's
I'm
all
very
right.
strict
It's
about
all
being
right.
punctual these days.
Well, these days.
These days.
So we got back from this
Yeah.
tour, right? Or
Yes.
this
It's a shit
showcase.
show.
Well, and at that
No case.
we fucking get to South by Southwest. Do you remember we were supposed to have the showcase? We couldn't even play on our own gear. We had to park
Yeah.
a mile away from
We had
the
to park a
fucking
mile
venue.
away.
We brought we walked all of our gear to it, and they were like, "No, we've got it."
Yeah.
And we couldn't even fucking play with our own gear. And then we played to nobody after fucking giving our producer all of these names of these labels that we wanted you to get there. They're all at South by Southwest because this is at that time. That's what South by Southwest is.
He's connected.
He's connected. Like, yeah, I got these people. I'll fucking talk to
Maybe
them.
he thinks he is. We think he is.
Got nothing.
We got nothing.
We came back
Nada.
fully defeated, and we came back. No shows on the way back.
No shows on the way back. It was a straight drive from Austin
No
to
fucking money
Minneapolis.
made.
And that's like a 20-hour drive.
Nobody fucking said a word. We're all
You're just-
at each other's
Do you-
throats.
do you have any idea how hard it is to jerk off in the back seat of a conversion van
I watched.
when
It was
it's
difficult.
85 degrees outside and no one's showered?
It was
in
difficult to
4
watch.
days.
It was difficult.
And you don't know
I
if you're
remember why
smelling
you didn't
James's
get to finish
armpit.
your version of the story now.
Oh,
So we
Yeah.
got back,
We
and
get
I think
back.
it was like 2, maybe 3 weeks before
And
we
you
all.
skipped the St. Cloud show. You canceled.
No, that was after the winter tour. This
Oh,
tour
this
we
is the summer
drove
tour?
straight back from Austin, Texas. I think we stayed in Kansas City
yeah.
at Jay's brother's place. And
Yeah,
Is
because
this
we
still
had a
leading
place-
to
we
how
had a
you
pl-
quit the band?
the
Okay.
system.
Yeah.
And then we drove back.
So return to Canoeing it
Yep.
officially.
When we drove back and we dropped all of our gear off, nobody said a fucking word to each other.
We
But
unloaded
James,
it at
Is this
Kevin's
after
in
the
South
summer
St. Paul.
this
tour?
This
is
is after South by Southwest.
We did a summer tour.
Summer tour,
We did a winter tour. South
South
by
by
Southwest.
Ah.
And then when we got back, James, Jay, and Kevin were all living in Kevin's house.
Right. in South
we
St.
didn't
Paul.
talk to each other for fucking 3 weeks.
At
And then we
least.
came back to have a conversation about some shit. And then we sat down. And at this point, Kevin and I were just fucking, we hated each
Oil
other.
and water. Oil and
We
water.
just hated
every
each other.
little thing.
Yeah,
You know,
and,
like,
and-
I can't believe you're fucking breathing right now.
Yeah,
kind
and-
of shit.
yeah, ultimately,
know?
like so bad to the point we played a show in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and he pissed me off so bad that I punched the fender of the van and fucking left this huge
Yeah.
dent in this brand new van that we had just bought. I was, and then I fucking took off walking for like 3 miles
Yeah.
to get to my brother's house. So we were just at odds. We hated each other, and we got back, and finally we were like, "Hey, we need to have a talk. Let's have a talk as a band." And we got in, and Kevin showed up, or he came in, and he's like, "You know what?" And he just went off and fucking, "I hate you, and you and I don't get along, and you're kind of a piece of shit." And I quit the band. And then I think he made mention about it being like, you know, this has absolutely nothing to do. It is you. It is
Yeah,
you.
he did call. I remember him calling him like
Who did this?
Kevin,
Kevin.
the bassist of the
Yeah.
band. He's like, it's
Fucking bassist.
He's like, you're
What's
an
with
asshole.
bassist's
I
name
do not get
Kevin?
along with you. It is you. You are the
Shout out
reason
to
that
my
I'm
best
quitting the
friend
band.
right.
Yeah. Upstairs.
Also a roommate.
Yeah.
and bass player
Yeah.
in my old band.
And so
Fuck him.
Yeah, that is how that went down.
Immediately-
I wasn't going to say those things. that
immediately
day.
following it,
Best man in my wedding. Still fuck him.
Dalton goes,
Best friend to still this day. Fuck him.
What did I say? I don't even remember.
"Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. I just.
I'm done too." And I went, and at this point, like, you know, you just kicked me in the dick.
Yeah.
Kevin just
Right.
kicked me in
Yeah,
the dick.
no.
Oh, and the hardest thing to hear when you're trying to be the leader of something, you're trying to get everybody to the same. We all want to be at the same end point, but you know how it is with musicians. Everybody needs a fucking leader to get to a certain point.
Right.
And shit. And so I was trying to be that guy, trying not to be the dickhead. But young me, I was really fucking steadfast, hard focused on what I wanted. This is my vision. Just fucking listen to me. If you're not gonna do the work, just fucking get on board with me and just do it.
Yeah.
And if you're not gonna do it, then get the fuck out of my way.
So I got
Right.
the fuck out of your way.
Well, and so Dalton goes, "Hey," Dalton goes, "Hey, yeah, me too." And I went, "What the fuck,
Like,
dude?"
I'm sorry, dude. Like
Did
I
he get
can't-
all close and whisper it in your ear
He
like
did.
that?
Like he got right in my ear. And he's like, Me too.
Macaroni in a pot.
And so he quit the band, and I was like, and I don't think I ever really got a clear definition because all I heard at that point was Kevin said, "It's you."
Yeah.
And then you followed it up with, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? You too?" And I just broke down, dude. And I went through a fucking huge point of self-loathing, like huge, because I was like, "What the fuck did I do? I was only trying to motivate all you motherfuckers."
The question I have is, when you're going through that, like, how many hookers did you have to murder?
Just yours.
All 17 of them? That's where they
Good Lord.
Yeah, just your sister.
Sounds like an afternoon on GTA 5 to me.
Murder solved.
I had 17 whores just disappear from my life.
When I christened the hashtag #MeToo movement at that point, I didn't mean for it to be like it's you.
If we weren't demonetized before, we just got demonetized now.
No,
because you know I'd been dating my smoking hot ex-wife at the time for a few months, and the sex was amazing, and I was going to marry that.
Hot.
She was hot enough for me at the time.
I'm just kidding.
It's all because
it was.
I thought I had peaked at the time.
I mean, she was pretty. She was very, very pretty. She was gorgeous.
I mean, compared to Dalton, she outpunted her coverage.
Outcunted her coverage?
You think? Because I think it's pretty obvious.
I'm kidding.
What the fuck is a coverage?
She outpunted her coverage. Right in her tits.
She outcunted her coverage?
That's what I said. I was confused about what coverage was because I know what it means to cunt something up.
But it is pretty obvious your daughter got her beautiful good looks not from you.
All of her charm from me, obviously. She is as snarky and
Me
sarcastic. She's
Yeah, me too.
Zach would have loved that.
That happened.
It's all fun and games until you're
Now you're bringing it back to inside jokes. We got that.
It's all fun and games until your snarky daughter becomes pubescent.
Good Lord.
Oh, now you're bringing the words back.
Yep. Now you
right.
regret bringing it up. Now you'll never say it again. You'll avoid the word pubescent for the rest of your lives. Lesson learned. You both just got fucking smacked.
We all just got pubed.
That's why I hope I do not have daughters.
Have you ever ended up with pubes in your teeth?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I have.
Especially because half this front tooth is fake.
And
they literally accidentally made the gap between my teeth shorter.
Oh, right. So it's a little tight, a little toy.
A lot of
half
shit
my
gets
dick
stuck
is
in there.
fake.
A lot.
You know,
the right half or the left half?
Yeah, I'm
the
right-handed.
bottom half or the top half? The front half or the back half? Which half?
And just
There
the
are
hood.
3 axes.
Just the hood.
I know this because I failed calculus.
We talked about that. We touched on that.
Dude, do yourself a favor, fail calculus, and appreciate what it takes to be an engineer.
You guys were having a moment.
Humble yourself.
You guys had a moment for the solid middle hour of the podcast, and I appreciated it. I think it was
But now it's about you?
No.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Where are we going with
Don't
this?
be an asshole. God.
You are what you eat.
You're ruining the moment.
Go on.
Don't bring up that I eat ass.
I'm an asshole.
I only do it every other
I'll be best
podcast.
friends
Are you
again?
hungry?
Let's do this.
Are you hungry?
You
Anyway,
guys-
continue the joke.
I bring up eating
Continue,
ass
Joe.
every other podcast, and you're not supposed to bring it up because now I brought it up 2 in a row.
Oh,
so now,
speaking of ass.
now I have to go 2 in a row. But no, you guys had a moment.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually legitimately beautiful. I switched the cam. I sat back. I shut the fuck up. Let you guys have.
You went and held your dick while we talked.
It was a beautiful moment on
each
this
other.
podcast.
Yeah.
It was great. It was
nice.
really great.
It is nice. It's nice to have moments.
Did we actually complete both versions now of how
I think so.
you quit the band?
I think we've pretty
I think
much
we're
covered
pretty
up-
much
covered
right
all
at
the
the-
bases.
well, and I
Can
think
we
that-
all come to the consensus that Kevin, the bass player, is a piece of shit?
No.
Damn.
At that point, yes.
At
that point, yes. But Kevin had a very clear, concise idea of where he wanted to go.
I was just hoping you guys were gonna fucking go for it and say all with me, and then we'd go to
No.
the next
And you know,
level. We'd
I-
say all bass players named Kevin deserve to die in car fires.
Yeah.
But you guys had to go be good people.
Well, that Kevin didn't lock somebody in a game chat
nice
room.
guys, stick it up for people.
He
when
also
they're
didn't
out
wear
here.
shoes on stage, so he's still a Kevin bass player.
Yeah, they're all.
He was a really fucking good bass player. To his credit, he had a fucking bachelor's degree on bass. He knew
Maybe
what the fuck.
still is. I don't know. I haven't talked to the dude.
I
actually saw him at a show.
I reached out to him
wait,
about 6 years ago.
Did
or
you
so.
say he's a
Did you?
good dude and he has a bachelor degree?
on bass. Like he like holds a degree in bass performance. He can fucking play. Like
He's
put in the fucking
He's a
hours.
bass
The way I heard it,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
way because the
Like,
way
and
I heard
it was kind of a sticking
And he
point.
has a bachelor degree.
No,
Well,
I'm just
no,
saying
but-
the way I heard it was like his bachelor degree was somehow like proof he was a good person.
No,
like,
no.
that's the way I heard
Yeah.
it. The way it rolled off your tongue, like, no, he's a really good guy. He's got a bachelor
for
degree.
someone
Like,
like me, who's kind of a theory geek, to like be able to
gotcha.
take someone like Zach's guitar playing and be like, oh, he's in E mixolydian for the first half, but the choruses are in E minor.
You do that shit with my music all the time, and I
So
never
like
had any
we were
fucking
like
idea what
we
you're
were
talking
we
about.
were like me and Kevin could talk like that, and he would make that face that's great.
But
guys.
hang on a second. Let's let's touch on that actually. So this would happen. I know zero music theory.
right.
Pretty much me too.
What I do is if it sounds good to me, I'm happy with it.
I know how to count time really well.
I
but that's about
don't.
it.
And actually, I don't.
Yeah,
I can
it's
count-
your
I
it's
can
your
count
lack
time
of
like
it's
a
your lack
motherfucker,
of
but-
If I can do this, it's 4-4 to me. And
Yeah.
everybody gets super fucking pissed off about it.
because you'll write a chorus that's in like a measure of 5/4
But if I
up
can
against
headbang to
3
it, I go,
measures of
fuck
4/4.
you, it's 4-4.
Okay, fair warning.
the
in our
pulses,
future band
yeah.
we're starting, if that's how it is for you, I'm going to be doing this a lot.
And I get that a lot. However, when Dalton
It's
and
not
Kevin,
4-4.
when Devin
and Colton.
Devin and Colton were in the band, so when these guys were in the band together, the thing was that they're super versed on music theory.
Yeah, right. I
They're
get that.
super knowledgeable.
It's
And so the
frustrating
two
to
of
be
them-
around.
The two of them will. Well, it isn't because Ian's in Johnny Rook now, and Ian's fucking brilliant.
Ian's
He
great.
knows
I've
a
worked
lot.
with Ian.
He knows a lot of music theory, but Ian is very good at putting it into layman's terms for me.
Yeah,
And he'll go, oh, okay,
he can
actually,
speak squeedly.
yeah. And he'll go,
Right.
why don't you actually play this? And I'll go, dude, I got fucking 2 capos down. I don't know where an E minor on this thing is. And he goes, okay,
Just go here.
hang on a second. And he'll say, go here. But when Dalton and Kevin were in the band, they'd be like, hey, why don't you play the 5th augmented fucking 7th of this shit? And they'd look at each other and I go, can you show me? And they'd look at each other and go, and I go, fuck you!
Yeah.
Hey, fuck
Dude.
you! How about this? I will shoot you into outer space
Dude,
with
we
my
were the
semen.
we were the dudes in the kitchen laughing at the fucking gringos.
Yeah. Like,
like for real, like that was the dynamic
I
that
was
it would
so-
take. Like
I would get
if they put
so-
them out of there, nobody because they get a king.
and so we'd sit there during band practice, and
Yeah.
they would pull this bullshit on me, and then they'd tell me to do it, and I'd go, okay, why don't you just fucking show me? And they go, wow, he is a dick. And I'd be like, yeah, huge! I'm gonna fucking kill all of you! And it was so tough because I have a really, really fucking weird way of writing music.
Yeah, man, we
And-
had some laughs, didn't we?
and so then all of a sudden everybody would be at band practice and they'd look at me and be like, Jesus Christ, dude, settle down. And I'd be like, no.
That started before you got here.
You augment the 5th and you settle down on the 7th. And they'd be like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'd be like,
Like,
yeah, diminish that shit, you fucking idiot.
We're all like, people are like, why?
And so then I'd go outside and I'd smoke a cigarette and I'd drink my beer and I'd be like, God, those guys are dicks. And they're all inside going, Jesus Christ, man, what was that?
Yeah, can you believe that guy doesn't like Dream Theater?
Oh, now you're going to
Because-
call me out on
No,
that.
dude, I love that. I love that you fucking hate.
only
I love
theater.
that you hate Dream Theater because you know what? I do.
No.
I hate Dream Theater.
I don't hate them. I just
I
don't
hate
like
Dream
them.
Theater.
I'm board.
Can't stand them.
Six of one, half a dozen of the other. You like you
I-
don't. You
I-
Can't
don't.
stand them.
I like dudes.
Run.
Hand jobs, I mean.
6 of one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the toughest
Right,
part of Johnny
right,
Rook band practice was
'cause
that
there's
right now
a gap there.
well, and right now, like,
whether it's
and, and this isn't an ego thing. This is just full disclosures that a lot of the Johnny Rook stuff, and we actually this will be a good segue into your questions about Nameless Ghost.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
dictating.
Oh,
I'm
will it?
dictating the way that
tell
your
me,
podcast
boys,
goes.
whose show is it?
I'm glad we're finally getting a lot of really yelling on.
We're testing these mics out.
My wife hates us right now.
I love you.
Your wife is a saint.
But it doesn't matter that there's 17 floors to this
It's 8:30. It's 8:30. We're fine.
It was 8:30 a half hour ago.
It is 9.
That's what I said. So the fact of the matter is that I will predominantly write a lot of the guitar stuff, the songs for Johnny Rook, right? So a lot of the ideas will
probably similar to what I do, right?
And that's fine.
Right.
And
source material everyone throws in, and it's like, maybe not. Go this way.
And I've learned to come to the table and bring it to the table and be like, this is it. And then people will throw in their ideas. And back in the day, and actually, maybe it was this way, maybe it wasn't when you were in the band, but it was before. It was really hard for me to compromise when somebody would be like, hey, actually, this is, what if we did this? And I'd be like, no, this is where the song was written, you fucking idiot.
Right.
But I've gotten a lot better at that, but
yeah, you just dropped the fucking idiot part.
Yeah. No, this is the way the song is, you fucking. So, but the thing is,
I have been known to fuck myself.
You fucking great dude, you.
Yeah. Cool story.
Great.
That's
but
very
what if we
creative.
did it not like that?
Creative.
But better.
But the thing is that, like, with Ian in the band.
It's a great idea. Not.
Yeah, not. With Ian.
No.
Ian would be, when I write something and then James throws a vocal on it, James will take it someplace else and Ian will go, actually, if we throw in this chord and we did it, this will match his vocal part really well. And I'll be like, here's the problem. I got fucking 2 capos on. I don't know how the fuck to make that chord.
Yeah,
and he
how
goes,
to do that, how to make that go.
Okay, well,
I'll show you.
What's your tuning right now? And then he'll go, okay, put your fingers here. And then I'll play and I'll be like, oh, dude, that actually sounds really fucking cool.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's nice having a guy with that ear who goes, oh, this chord is the color that you're looking for.
Well, because he's a producer inside of the band.
And he has the theory. You and I are what I would call experimenters.
And I certainly wasn't at that point.
You know what
when
you
I
and
was,
I are?
when
Well,
I was
you were, but you just weren't at the point that you were willing to teach.
I got the perfect analogy.
My
you and I
psychology
are,
at the time was totally
you and I
different.
are alchemists. They're scientists.
To a degree.
Like we're combining random shit, trying to like make lead turn to gold, and they're going.
Well,
they're going. Actually, we could just make diamonds if we just put a lot of pressure.
It's especially true for me now that I don't think of theory as like a way to do things.
The end all be all.
Yeah, I think it far more today as a descriptive measure. Like
you've talked about this before,
and I'm sure I've talked about it with you, but like especially looking back on the way you write guitar parts and everything, I was never, even at the time, trying to understand it on a theoretical level to tell you how to do it. I always wanted to be able to describe it as best as I could.
But as a theory point, it didn't make sense. My shit has never made sense from a theory point of view.
Right, because if you're
it
following
just depends on
theory,
how it's taught to you.
Right, but coming at it from I don't need theory to tell me why you're doing something wrong. I need theory to tell me how I can adapt to what you're doing. And fill in your gaps.
Yep.
That you may not see that I might, or vice versa. Like, oh no, that was cool, that was good, but no.
Check out what can make it better.
Yeah. And
I think
so
that
much of that is just ego check too. Just being willing to like not be like so emotionally invested in those 4 notes in that order. Like,
well, and that's
who
tough
gives a shit
when you write a song with 2 different capos, and then you go, I just wrote this whole song.
So what, you had like 1 capo on the bottom, 3 strings,
like a 2-string on the top. Yeah.
I've got a capo here, and then some of them I would turn backwards, and now I've been using the spider capo, and which it just gives me this crazy fucking ability to have all these different tunings.
Yeah, I remember the spider capo.
Yeah, but the problem is that like when you bring it to somebody, and especially somebody as knowledgeable in music theory as Dalton and Kevin were at that time, the thing is that you do want to. Well, and still, you're right. But at that time, like, you want to make somebody that's that knowledgeable in something, you want to be able to make sense of it.
Right.
And a lot of my guitar shit, even to this day, you just can't fucking make sense of what I'm doing. But it's something that I go, when I play something, I could sit down and write all day long and force a song out, but until it fucking speaks to me, I can't go, I'm going to bring this to the band.
Right.
I could fucking work all day long, and then all of a sudden, I'll just fall into the most simplistic of things, and I'll be like, God, I like that.
Right.
And then I'll keep adding to it, and I'll be like, God, I like that. And then I'll just keep adding to it, and then when Dalton was in the band, it would take me so long to just write a song. Now I've gotten a lot better about it, and, I just keep going, It took me.
Are you cursing me now?
You're welcome.
It took me forever to just write a song. So I was really excited when I would get a song. So it didn't matter what it was or how long it took. Like if I wrote it, we fucking played it.
Right.
And that was
it's yours. And
Yep.
it's your like, and that was one thing I like. Even if I never vocalized it or made it clear at the time, I always understood that Johnny Rook was never my band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was always a player for it, and I felt super.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like because I mean, I jumped into -3 the same way. You know, I was a guitar player. Someone was looking for something to fill a need, and I was like, I'm that guy.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned the same thing when we were talking about our projects, because I still want to get your thing going.
Yeah,
and you were like, yeah, but right now I think it'd be better if I like hitch my wagon to your fucking your drive.
And you know, I sent you a ton of my stuff a while back. And it was I don't even remember what I sent you, but I imagine it was probably pretty diverse.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the map, which was great.
You know, there's heavy stuff, there's light stuff, there's R&B stuff with a ton of auto-tune.
Oh, you're talking about your library issue?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you want to talk about diversity? Jesus fucking Christ, dude! I was convinced immediately. I was like, dude, this dude's definitely like schizophrenic. It's that diverse.
You weren't wrong.
I mean, we're talking like actual hip hop and rap, brutal metal, rock like Nickelback, pop music, R&B.
I just fucking
girly
love
R&B pop.
I love music, man.
Absolutely.
You do. You really do, man.
Music.
You really do.
Let me get to something here. Why don't you ask?
No.
I want you to ask the questions about Nameless Ghost. You have a couple of questions about Nameless Ghost.
I'm just curious
because we come from different perspectives on it for sure.
Well, and one of the selfish reasons,
that EP
just in general,
one of the selfish reasons I started this podcast is to get and talk to and have intimate conversations with other musicians about how we write music, because it's one of the things I'm most fascinated about, because I'm sure you can relate to this, and we talked a little bit on the first podcast about like you can think you're actually insane as a musician until you talk to enough other musicians and you go, holy fuck, I'm super normal.
Right.
Because
I have like
no
normal
one else
hobbies outside of the music.
I just mean like how we think about things and what's going on in our head, like because no one other than musicians has any fucking idea what we're talking about. And for a lot of us, not all of us, you know, and I've gotten to understand this through the podcast. I've had a ton of musicians on the podcast that grew up in highly musical families, highly musical families where they were super encouraged. Whereas I grew up in a family where everyone liked listening to music, but nobody played it.
Yeah, no one.
Right?
Yeah.
And they didn't really understand why I was so into it, and I felt like I could see pretty at a young age. I could tell pretty quickly that they were like patronizing me with their support.
Like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
You keep doing that, bud.
And
Isn't that nice?
What are you going to college for?
And it wasn't.
So Zach's in a band, and Maggie's doing really well with the 4-H. You know,
it took me
kind of
years.
level.
It took me years of being
a superficial level. Too.
Yeah, and it took me years as being a semi-pro before I realized that other musicians that I respected and was like, dude, you guys are the shit. And then we'd have conversations and be like, dude, you're really good, like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it took a long time before I'm like, fuck, like maybe I actually am good. And then, of course, I went too far with it, got too big of an ego, and I'm like, I'm the shit.
You got to have
and then I crashed,
before you have
and then I
two.
overcompensated and went way too far on beating myself up. And it's taken a really long time for me to get compliments from, again, legit musicians. This music we're writing together, the farther it comes along, the more and more people are seeing my original vision, thanks to him, actually, with the specific leads he's doing.
Stop it.
To segue, you see where I'm going with this? To get into why
I'm more humble
curious
over the years.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely.
Why I'm bringing this up with you? Because when he joined this project, and I had another lead guitar player who he didn't sound anything like you. His name's Ian. He was actually on the Halloween special. But it was a very similar thing where it was like, oh, like now that I have and because people ask me, they're like, dude, if you're so frustrated and you're struggling so much, you can play all these instruments, why don't you just do it all? And it's like, because then the whole thing's one-dimensional.
Right.
It's all blues and purples. Okay, I need some oranges, I need some yellows, I need some spice, I need some pizzazz, whatever you want to call it. Right?
Notice he didn't say blacks.
I need that. Right? No, because we start from black.
Yeah, it's true.
We
You're
start
right.
from black.
You're
No, we fade to black.
No, I start with a black canvas.
No, we fade to black.
When I write songs, I start with a black canvas, and I'm actually being literal because I actually have not anesthesia, synesthesia. So I actually literally see colors as I hear the music.
Okay.
So I start with
colors as you see
so
the
when I
music.
write songs, I start with a black canvas,
Mhm.
and then literally it's different colors, and then I'm done, and then I have a painting when I'm done writing a song.
Yep.
So when I had Ian and when I had him come in, I go, oh, this is exactly the right idea. Like, this is why I decided not to do this on my own, because these other guys can bring in, because again, I'm not a theory guy, right? So I know enough about music to understand, like, really, and we've talked about this, like, if you really break down the core of my band, believe it or not, the demo I played you at the beginning of this, swear to God, and every other song I've written are 3 and 4 chord blues progressions.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like it,
Right.
but they are.
Yeah.
And
There's only
only
about-
he understands that, other than like Ian, right? I get other guys in and they're like trying to do something else, and I'm like, no. Let's go this direction, because I have this vision, right? Like, I have this idea. I hear this sound in my head, and my job is I start off, I sit here and I write a riff, and then all of a sudden it's 3 riffs, and then it's basically almost an entire song, pretty much done.
Right.
I
Start with the guitar parts, fill everything else
and just like
in
Chad,
around it. Yeah.
we didn't talk about this too heavily on the podcast with Chad Erickson, but I got him to talk about it, and we talked about it afterwards. I write music the exact same way he did. So as I'm writing these guitar riffs, I already hear the drums. I already hear everything except the vocals, which is probably why I suck at vocals. But but I hear everything already there, and then it's just a matter of figuring out, because I don't know theory, because I don't know how to do what Ian does, where it's like, this chord will give me this sound.
Right.
So for me, like I said, I'm kind of like an alchemist, right? I'm an experimenter. All I'm doing is like adding and taking away and experimenting until I get as close to the original idea as possible, or this experiment I'm on has taken on a new life of its own. But it doesn't matter. Now I'm following the boat down the river, following the current. And then once I'm done with that body of that song, having a guy like him come in, no matter how close he gets to what I hear in my head, it still feels like almost a new song.
Yeah. Well, and that's happened too.
Even if you play exactly what I hear in my head, when I hear somebody else do it, I get goosebumps.
I forget the name of the track that we're working on, but you had laid down a guitar track to just like a straight up cowbell click track, and I filled in everything else around it. And I missed what you perceived to be like the essence of that rhythm part. You're like, no, it's got to have that gallop at that one spot right there, and you're just missing it. And I was like,
oh, right. I didn't hear it that way.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I just didn't hear your focus being on that. I was here.
I remember this now.
Yeah, and this is only like a month or two old, but
yep, I actually remember this now. Yep.
Despite the fact that I spent about 8 hours on that. Meticulously,
son of a bitch!
Meticulously clicking and placing kick drums and snare parts.
Yep. And I'm like, no, this is wrong. It doesn't sound right. But remember how long did it take me though? It took me an hour to figure out.
It took you an hour to figure out what was wrong.
I'm like, where the? Why does this not sound right?
This is the same song. The chords are all moving in the same position.
Yeah, it took me forever, and it was my own song, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to do this fun, stupid little experiment because it's my podcast. I'll do whatever the fuck I want, right? And hopefully somebody else thinks this is also fascinating. Well, but I want to go now. You wrote this and recorded this so long ago. What we're talking about is like kind of now, right? It's like over the last few months. Let's do this on something you guys pressed and recorded like, what, 10, 15
13 years ago? It would have been 13 years ago.
Yeah, 10 to 15 years ago?
Over 13 years ago.
Which
it would have been
with this licensed, did you guys get signed or sign any distribution deals on this?
No, we're on DistroKid. Okay. I've put everything up on
if I get flagged for this, you're going to be the one that ends up with the copyright dispute?
Yeah, okay. You're fine. You won't.
Okay. Because YouTube's pretty cool about shit. Like I get flagged quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
Like I got flagged for Gensmer from Metal Blade. I got flagged with fucking Alex and Dan for the reaping shit.
Yeah.
But all I had to do with those specific ones is I literally typed in, I said, this was the entire dispute. it's literally the guys who wrote the song on my podcast promoting the song.
Yeah.
And then they were like,
oh, okay.
Validated.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
you'll be fine.
So let me just.
So
make
which
sure
which track?
I
are you
only
gonna
have
start
2
with?
off that album.
That's because that's the only 2 I uploaded.
That hurts my feelings.
I want the whole.
You know
album.
why I did that, right?
By the way,
I don't.
By the
Because
way,
every other fucking song is on another record.
Oh,
that's
that
been
makes
uploaded.
perfect
By the
sense.
way-
then. That makes perfect
by
sense.
the way,
that
I
doesn't
don't-
hurt my
I
feelings.
still don't agree because he's not on those other albums, so they're different
Mhm.
versions of those songs.
Right,
Also,
but
do you remember when we connected like 4 or 5 years ago, way before the podcast, and I hit you up, and I was like, bro, I found you on Facebook, and I was like, bro, I need a copy of The Nameless Ghost on CD. I can't find it anywhere. And you were like, I got 1,000 of them. And we started
Still do.
I believe it.
we started
I'll
talking.
take a couple off your hands.
Like we started talking, and like you were so fucking cool, dude. And you're like, yeah, man, let's fucking go grab a beer sometime, and I'll bring you a copy. I'll bring you a copy of each CD we have, because
Mhm.
I was like, dude, I'm a huge fan. Like,
Yeah.
you really influenced my guitar playing. Like I had literally written that other riff, and I had this like idea in my head. And as soon as I got, so perfect example, you know what riff I'm talking about? We talked about it before the podcast.
Mhm.
It's at the outro of the, if the listeners are confused what I'm talking about, the outro of this podcast is from our record we're working on.
yeah.
And that riff was inspired by you,
Mhm.
not just Johnny Rook, but your guitar playing style. I had just written that riff when I had hit you up way back then. That's how old that riff is.
Okay.
This-
Nice.
That was like the 3rd riff written on this album.
Yeah.
Like that's how old this fucking riff is, right?
Yep.
So, that's when we connected, and I just remember I'm like, this motherfucker is so cool. Like, because I'm like, he doesn't really fucking know me. Like, he doesn't have to even pay
you
attention.
weren't. You didn't quit his band at
And
that
I was
point.
like,
But
yeah.
okay, let's let's take that
Do you
back
remember
to
why I hit you up? I was like, because I got the fucking, I paid like whatever it was. You said I could name my price, and I think I said $10 on Bandcamp for your Johnny Rook thing.
Yep.
I was like, but I want a hard copy, and I'll pay you another $10, but I want the hard copy.
right.
Because this was back then when CDs still mattered. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
it was so hard to listen to Bandcamp on your phone. It was impossible.
Oh God. just
Oh,
the
it was
worst.
impossible. It pissed me off
well,
so
again,
much.
that kind of takes me back to the whole point of a band or a musician being humble about somebody coming to them and saying, "Hey, I really fucking love your music," and like that's important to me. I don't give a fuck if I know you or not. Like the fact of the matter is that if somebody comes to me and says, "I appreciate what you do as an art form, and this is what I want," and I've got 1,000 fucking CDs in my house that are essentially going to be used as drink coasters, where I'm going to get really fucking drunk and put them in my microwave.
Right.
And watch what
'Cause that's
happens
what you
to
do.
them in my microwave. I mean, it's happened
Yeah.
on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
You know, this if somebody is going to come to me and say, "I really love what you do," and especially they're local, dude, let's get together. Like, I really appreciate that. And if you appreciate music, we would probably appreciate a lot of the same things. So let's have a beer and fucking talk about music and just do what friends do.
Right.
Because ultimately, that's what you are to me. Is you're not. Actually, I've always said it. The band Johnny Rook doesn't have fans.
Right.
I fucking hate the term Johnny Rook fans. They're all going. If you show up to a show and you support and appreciate what we do, you're Johnny Rook friends.
Right.
We will be the same exact fucking way to every person in that room.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
That's super cool.
And so the fact of the matter is that what you just said, it comes down to going back to the humble aspect. But this, to answer both your questions, the reason that I only uploaded these 2 songs.
That was your question.
Sorry.
I'm just pissed. I don't care why.
I fucking hate this EP.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we talked about this.
And I understand.
It's my favorite
and
EP.
I gotta say before
Hold on,
anyone
but
thinks I
let me
might
throw-
get offended, is
hold on,
I
but let me
understand
throw
that
the
because
recap
those
in
songs
there.
are yours before I was ever on.
But let
Except
me
for
throw,
how long?
Let me
But you put that one out.
But let
I
me
did.
throw the recap in here.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the last podcast because I said, this is my favorite record you guys put out.
Mhm.
And you were like, that's hilarious. And that's insane because everyone in Johnny Rook
We all
hates
hate
that
it.
record.
We all hate it.
And it's not because they were their songs and then you showed up. That's not why, is what you said on the podcast last time. What were you, episode 1, I said?
Yep.
So literally, if anybody's curious, they can go back and listen
Damn
to this.
near
It's on
40
record.
episodes ago.
Um,
Yeah.
You said it's because when we listen to that record, we don't feel like we captured our sound on recording. And I disagree because I saw your band before, during, and
Here's a
after
question.
Dalton, and I feel like live with Dalton, you did capture your band. So I feel, and we talked about this already, so you're not surprised. I'm doing a recap for them, and just so you understand where we are kind of jumping into, where we already were, rather, is that I think you had a distorted perspective of what your band sounded like live with him in the band.
Well,
because you were so
I
used
think-
to the
I
old
think
style
that
and sound,
may
your
be
whole
possible
band.
to a level, but that still
Nope,
doesn't.
I'm right. You're all wrong.
All right, but like at the end of the day, I was still a bit player in something else.
Well, and ultimately,
And
I
I
think-
might be biased because we're so close back then, and we're
That
so
might be
close
it.
now.
That might be it, but I think ultimately what it comes down to is that I think the producer missed the mark, that this was focused a lot around the guitar parts that the acoustic had written, and were the acoustic guitar or guitar in general that I write and the vocals that James writes,
they're distinct,
and they
Yeah.
play a lot off of each other.
right?
And so when we went to this producer, the producer was just like, "Oh, well, the acoustic
shit.
is just a texture."
I think they can hear this. Fuck.
Can hear.
Good for them. It's a good song.
So I think the biggest thing was that that producer at that time thought that the acoustic guitar was a texture,
Right,
and the electric was kind of the first and foremost. And like when we all listen back to it now, we're like, "No, you missed the mark, dipshit."
Yeah, like outside of someone like a fucking Ross Robinson, I think it's a really hard job it would have been a really hard job for any producer at that point in time, especially in the evolution of the band, as me being a new member, trying to find my place in it too.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, like, you guys already had a very distinct sound, and I'm coming in after the fact, like, yes, I'll fill out space, and I know what I like, and I know how I like to play, and I hope it works with you.
And everything you were doing was exactly what we wanted from you.
Yeah,
But we had this producer that was just like, "Oh, so you're the lead," and we have never looked at it like you was the lead and I was the rhythm.
And
it
you
was
know
always
what's
like,
wild
you
is
have
I
the-
can
you have-
barely hear you
right.
in this
Even
record.
in the mix down, I'm not like overbearing or anything.
No, and I don't
but
even
you're
mean
more
it that
upfront
way.
than the acoustic.
the
I don't
electric-
even mean it
my
that way.
electric, My electric parts ended up being more in the forefront, but as a lead player, it wasn't like, here's this guitar player's big dick solo every 10 minutes.
But
or
I
anything
don't
like
even
that.
hear that as a listener, as a fan of the band, not as your friend.
That being said, I would have
I
loved
don't
for him to
hear-
have been like,
I don't
here's this
hear
big dick
him
guitar player.
too much in the
because
front.
I'm a big dick guitar
Yeah.
player. I mean,
I hear your band with another guitar player.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Let's play it, because I think I can point out a couple parts.
Well, why don't
where
you
I'm
play
talking
How
about-
Long?
yeah, play How Long. I haven't heard that.
I
jam
wanted
in
to
a
play
minute.
this one first,
Well,
because this was a song that
it's
you
kind of a
wrote
lengthy
before
song.
he was
Yeah,
in
that
the
one's
band.
a little bit more, long-winded.
Yeah.
I don't.
and
give
It's
a
good,
fuck.
and I'm proud.
And
of that,
and
those
actually
guitar parts.
it's
Those-
Okay,
that's
fine. We'll
one
do
of my
How Long first.
Shoreline is one of my favorite Johnny Rook songs. But How Long? Do you want a story about How Long?
Yeah.
How long do you want it to be?
That's the
God
story.
damn it! I'm such a dad.
But that's been the story of that song.
do you remember
since
how
its
we wrote the
inception.
song?
We were at your place down by
How long did it
Park
take?
Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're doing it.
It started as
So
Squeedle.
I had a couple of parts
damn
on this, and
I'm
I
smoking way too much again. Is
called
everyone-
called Dalton over, and I was like, "Hey, I got these parts. Maybe we should write one of these songs together."
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I got this guitar idea, and Dalton came over, and we started fucking around with this idea, and I was like, yeah, I like this. And then he started fucking tooling around with some shit, and I was like, dude, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
now let's do this. And then so this was the one and only song
Yeah.
that Dalton and I worked on together.
Yeah.
And isn't
And-
this the debut song on the record?
This
Or
is the first track.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
intro
it's-
track
it's
to the
the
record,
opening track,
or
yeah.
the opening track.
And this was the
Intro
one
track.
that, like, I still have
What's wrong
friends
with
in
me?
South Dakota that are like, that's your fucking best song ever.
Aw. I
I-
love hearing that.
Well,
I still
That's
have
nice.
friends.
I will
and I still love
I
this
love
song.
hearing that
I
you have
still-
friends.
See, but this is why I love this record, because this is personally my favorite song.
Shoreline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're actually going to redo that one here.
and
yeah?
Yeah.
and well, okay, well, I'm gonna
Can I-
shit all over
You'll
this.
have to
idea.
you have to let me
Because
come in and lay down just that one little pit.
I was
That
gonna
one
say,
little
because
bit. That
this
one little bit.
version,
Yeah,
Just
because again,
Throw it in the background on the fade out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still,
this
the-
version is my favorite version of this song, because I watched
it's the only
you guys-
version of the song.
Yeah.
but I watched you play it live
okay.
for years.
Yep, yep.
Well, it seemed like years before he joined the band.
Well, this is actually Dalton. Dalton. This is Ian's favorite song.
How
that
long?
We've ever, Shoreline.
Oh yeah.
Shoreline.
It's Ian's favorite
But then
song,
there's
and we
Light in
fucking-
the Attic that was on this record.
Yeah, and the reason
and
that we
was
didn't.
a fan favorite of the whole
that's actually
scene.
what got Johnny Rook.
I remember
really
your
started.
fucking
Yeah.
bass player at
Mex.
the Urban Wildlife one random night. It's like a
Mex.
show. You sold out the Urban.
I showed up to a fucking party and Mex was there, and somebody was like, "Oh, Johnny Rook." He's like, "Oh my God, you're in Johnny Rook," and I was like, "Jesus Christ,
Settle
dude,
the
yeah, man,
fuck
fuck
down.
Well, by
off."
this
He's like,
point,
"I heard you on local," and I was like, "That what? That's
You're
a thing?
so your dick is delicious.
What?"
by this point, you guys were clearly buds, like your bands had
Yeah,
bonded and
at
shit.
that
Because
point,
yeah.
I was kind of newer on the scene, but I was kind of getting to know people. Like I had gotten introduced to you already.
Yep.
I had known Mex because we had played a few
You were
shows
dating
together.
Amanda at that
I was
point.
dating Amanda at
Yep.
that point. Yep. Man, she was a great guide.
She was a great guy.
Yeah, no guide.
Oh,
Like
I was
like if experience if
that's an interesting.
if experiencing the music industry is like a mushroom trip, she was a great guide.
Dude,
Gotcha.
Amanda's still the shit. I
She
still
was
love
a
Amanda.
great
Oh, that
person.
Amanda Nelson.
Oh yeah, It
she
took me
was a
second.
great
Yeah.
person for me to have introduce me to the scene in the industry locally, at least.
Yeah.
I still fucked up, but I would have fucked up a lot faster without her. So props to her. But
Mex.
Max.
Light in the Attic.
you guys
Light.
were so fucking. You were obviously buddies, but you sold out the Urban Wildlife, and you were killing it, right? But you guys had this amazing ability where you would like play a song, people would fucking roar, but then they'd quiet down and get ready for the next song because of the style, right? Like an
Yeah.
acoustic guitar,
There was-
right? You feel me? Yeah. Right? And then like you guys and Joe would always like dim the lights in between songs and shit. And all of a sudden, I remember Joe fucking bringing the spotlight back up on James the singer. And for the listeners that don't know who I'm talking about, but he brought the light back up on James, and all of a sudden, fucking, it's obviously anybody that knows your band knows that you're about to play Light in the Attic, and fucking Joe clearly has the set list. He's getting ready for it, and all of a sudden, Max is right in front of the fucking stage and screams at the top of his fucking lungs in that tiny concrete club.
Yes.
When your crowd is dead silent and breathless like a Pink Floyd concert, waiting for
What are they gonna do?
waiting for the next song, and all of a sudden Max is like, play fucking Light in the Attic, and you guys, it was whisper quiet, and you guys go, I guess we're playing Light in the Attic then, huh? And it was already clearly on the set. I'd seen how this whole thing worked a couple times.
Yeah.
But I just remember one of you, and I don't remember who it was because I can't even
Probably
remember.
James, the
Probably
smart ass.
James.
But one of you
Yeah.
turned around and looked at each other, and you were just like, the look you gave was like, well, there went that part of the choreography. You know, like when
Yeah.
you had set, like, you guys had your craft so polished, and Joe was so in tune with certain bands. You remember Joe?
Yeah, Joe, and
like,
Joe
he
was super
knew-
in tune with Minus
He
Three.
knew
in
how
those
to
days,
just
too.
do
Yeah. It was
certain
a glory.
subtleties
It was a
right,
glory
and
to
this was one
behold.
of those moments. Like your crowd got quiet.
Good old Mex.
It was so like,
Ah, good old Max.
and
Oh,
all of a
it
sudden,
went-
and he's just shit faced with the hottest girl in the room, of
Wait,
course,
Mex?
with that goofy
Dude,
little fucking
every time
with
with
that-
his donkey kick.
dude with that goofy fucking little surfboard haircut. You
Yeah.
remember when they
Oh,
had
yeah.
like the
Yeah.
fake mohawk that was like an inch tall, perfectly
faux hawk.
spiked all the way?
Yeah.
Ah,
You say remember when,
ugh.
but you should be
So the
saying remember why.
So my
Besides
point
that
is,
mohawk,
why.
it
my
was for
point
all
is
the
I
pussy.
I love this whole album is my point. It's
Yeah.
one of those albums, like, especially from a local band, it's one of those albums, and this is why I'm so frustrated about it, is because I had this album in my old iTunes for years.
Right, with all
And
the
then-
extra tracks on it.
And I forgot the password, lost access to it, had to start a new
I
one.
could get you all of that, bro.
Right.
And I
but
will.
you've been on the podcast twice, motherfucker, and still not have
hey,
shit.
got it.
I
You
just
remember
wanna
that? Remember that time I forget shit? But here's the thing.
Look at all these CDs from all the guests that have been on the podcast. But look, no Johnny Rock CDs. But
The
anyways,
show was your gift.
Oh, snap.
No, here's the thing. Is that the reason that those tracks did not end up on streaming
no, I
platforms?
know you've said it. I know.
The reason that these tracks did for
just describing
no,
how
I know,
bummed I am.
I know. I'm saying for all the other people tuning in that might not have caught that first one is the reason that these tracks did not end up on this record is because they were all recorded previously.
Right.
Two of which were recorded.
Actually, I'm missing several.
Two of which were recorded on other records, and then there was one, Breathe, had
It
been
was the
recorded
third
fucking
time.
three
It was
times.
the third time.
And
That being
these
said,
were all tracks.
I really liked my guitar part on Breathe.
Breathe was.
I
look,
liked my guitar part on Breathe.
what
I
was done
understand
on this
completely
record, but
why
you take
not
it,
releasing
you
it
take-
a third time?
Well, you take
makes
it
sense.
from when we listened to all of these other tracks that we had already previously recorded and were happy with, and this producer just kind of took everything and cut it, right? And there was so much shit, like Light in the Attic and Breathe, that he just cut some really fucking dope parts out of these songs to us that we were like, well, people are already in love with this shit, and now we kind of sold out for industry standards, so in hopes of getting fucking signed. So for us as a band, we had to just kind of get rid of it.
Right.
And that's where
Yeah.
when we put this up, we were like, we're
And
not
those-
happy
those-
with it. How can you put something out that you're not happy with
Dude,
or
and-
proud of?
Those aren't easy decisions to make either.
Tough, dude.
Those
and
are not easy decisions.
because
to make.
you remember
Until I get a copy like
Fratty
this
Patty?
of Nameless
we-
Ghost.
we're actually talking about pressing it on vinyl.
dude, hell yeah.
Not Nameless Ghost, actually
But-
Between Love and Loss.
I
really?
want
Yep.
Dude.
when you run the vinyl, just switch them out a fucking Glassmaster and be like, just do one of Nameless Ghost.
Well, if
and
you
I
want me
it,
to,
dude.
I could for $55. I could press you a copy of Nameless Ghost.
Ooh.
Done.
I could do it. You just
Ooh.
let me know.
Ooh.
Done.
Ooh.
Okay.
Done.
I'd like that. I don't even have a record player, but I
Well,
do
it's-
have Scott Baio.
It's a lathe cut.
A
But
lathe
anyway,
cut.
so that's my ultimate excuse for why there's not 3 more tracks on this record. And
I know
ultimately,
it's cool, dude. I'm not busting your balls.
No,
I'm
it's
giving you
fine.
shit,
yeah.
but I'm not busting your balls.
Well, I'm
But the
kind of
artwork,
explaining
dude.
it to
The- the
Dalton.
good-
Maybe
the
that
good-
explains to Dalton why the remainder of those tracks didn't make it onto streaming platforms. But I fucking hate what this producer did with these tracks.
Shout
And
out
it's-
to Glenn Wadey and the Graham Machine for the colored vinyl. By the way.
Absolutely,
Yeah, for
Glenn
real.
Wadey. I
For
used
real.
to work with that motherfucker, and he's a good dude. But I cannot be proud of those tracks because it did not service what
Okay,
I
Right.
well,
want the band.
I love them,
Right.
so we're gonna play them.
Absolutely. And my history.
I love these 2 tracks. I will say these 2 tracks that were not on any other recording, I can be proud of and love.
Squeak, squeak, squeedle.
This track
the
is great,
timing's
dude.
off, so don't hum to it.
This track is
saying.
great.
Yeah.
Your voice is not gonna come in with time on
I
that.
don't care. I'm still right when I say squeak, squeak, squeedle.
Um,
Live in your own truth there, Jared.
the thing is I remember. So this song is funny to me because you and I wrote this guitar stuff together. I
Right, yeah.
had the rhythm part of it and that fucking the
All
thing
right.
that you're doing
I
in the
break,
verses
I want to
and
break
stuff.
this song down.
Yep, the thing that Dalton's doing in those verses is really what added to it and made it go like this is really fucking fun, right? And then this was also at a time that I had just recently I was dating a girl for 8 fucking years, and she broke up with me because either you go on tour with your band and we break up, or you move down to Kansas City and marry me.
Right.
And I went, prove it.
Bye.
I went, prove it.
You're right.
And she fucking broke up with me 2 days before we left for that 3.5 month long tour.
Yeah.
And Dalton and I were working on stuff because I was like, dude, I want you to be a part of this recording. I don't want this recording to be just these
Yeah.
are my songs.
And I remember you saying that too at the time.
Yep,
Being
and-
like, no, dude, you're in this thing. You're part of it. You're in the fold.
I
Yeah.
want you to add parts to it. Actually, like we had Shoreline and the Safety we worked on in Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
At my brother's place, and we were working on the shit, and Dalton and I worked on the shit tirelessly because the two of us, we had to make this mesh between what I do guitar-wise and between what Dalton adds to the table. Like, there was a very, very strategic reason why we asked Dalton to be in the band, and it wasn't just because we wanted an addition.
I can sympathize with that.
He's just fucking good. I mean, he's good, and I knew that he was gonna.
Well, and for
bring
me,
a
a
certain
big thing was the
additive.
diversity and the versatility.
Yeah, and I knew that he
versatility.
versatility.
Yes,
There you go.
versatility.
The
We can combine those two.
Versatility?
Yeah, diversitality.
Yeah,
No, I said
like-
versatility.
it's,
No,
I like it.
diversity and versatility.
I like it.
It's versatility, right?
We're same
Versatility.
page, and for sure.
But I knew that Dalton was going to add a certain aspect to the band that was needed. At that point, it was necessary, and he did. And the problem was that we were both young. And
Yes.
I had a mentality
Yes.
that I had a drive, that I had a certain thing that I wanted, and I wasn't about to let anybody get in my way. I was going to fucking steamroll over it.
Yeah, the uncompromising vision.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Dalton was a great guitarist, but I also saw this nature in Dalton that I could just kind of tell him what to do, and he'd do it.
True.
Well, yeah, but he is
that's a
little
shitty
lazy
thing
from
to
time
say. That's a
No.
shitty thing to
It's-
say. But,
But
at that,
you also do get a little lazy from time to time,
I
so
do.
you need
I,
that push.
I do. You know, and
And
that's
that's
something I've
fine.
learned about myself over the last.
unfortunately, we
15
had other
years.
members in the band that just kind of had a lot of other pushback, and that's fine. But like the older that we get now, we all get to that point that we're like, wow, that was a fucking weird time in our lives.
Yeah.
Like, but
yeah, the problem is when a guy needs the push but doesn't want the push.
right.
Right, or can't handle the push.
Or
That's,
can't
and
handle
that's
it.
how that happens.
That's actually
It's
a
like,
bigger
he
complex.
needs it.
Yeah.
He needs it, but he doesn't know
He
he's
can't-
that
he
guy
can't-
yet.
Yeah, he can't handle the no. Slow the fuck down.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, he doesn't understand, dude.
Okay.
You don't.
hey, Ingve,
This is
Ingve,
just-
this is a fucking reggae band.
This
I'm
is
thinking-
just a band, bro.
or
Yeah.
even like on any platform, this mindset sometimes where this happens is like it's the guy who he doesn't understand. No, dude, you can't self-manage.
Mhm.
Like you literally need
Right.
somebody checking
Yep.
in, like because we know you.
Yep.
We've been in a band with you for 2 years.
Right.
You literally won't get anything done unless somebody is constantly checking in
Right.
and
Yep.
harassing you.
And so,
But
for,
then when he's 35 or 40, and I don't mean to point to you,
and we
Right.
all look
But
back
this
on
guy.
it. We
we all look-
both
yeah.
of us. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of us are fucking
I was,
35, 40
fucking
years old.
22 at the time.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
What the fuck did I
Yeah,
know?
we were-
Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden we go, oh, this is the role I play. And
Yeah.
that's what I noticed is
Yeah.
another theme running through a lot of these conversations is like dudes didn't understand the role that they are best for when we had the youth and the talent and the energy and the drive. And
God,
so our
ain't that
egos
fucking
got in the way.
truth.
Again, big ego, small ego, right? Like it's like, no, dude, I'm best in a group scenario. I'm lucky enough to have known that my whole life and never tried to go solo. Like
Mhm.
even with what I'm doing now, it's like, no, we're
Right.
still naming it a band. Like
Right.
this is like insurance. So I have a project
Yep.
that I
Right.
can continue to
Right.
go out with. I'm not going the Jared Singer project for a fucking reason. You know what I mean?
Right.
But not everybody is, right? You mentioned like some guys come back from a tour feeling entitled. So they're the lead guitar player of the band. And they're just the lead guitar player. They're a secondary songwriter.
Mhm.
They're not the Zach Boyd of the group, who's the main primary riff writer. And they're not James, which is the literal face and voice and identity of the band, right?
Mhm.
They're just the lead guitar player. But this dude, motherfucker, actually thinks he's the band.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like now that ego has gone completely the wrong direction. So,
Right.
yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And fucking, it's weird, though, that there's this common theme. And the rarity, it seems to be the guys who don't have that and don't quit
Yeah.
are the ones that make it.
Right.
Like, that's all it takes. Is just don't be a complete egotistical asshole and think you fucking are entitled to shit, right?
Right.
And then don't fucking quit.
Well,
Because
Right.
times are tough.
I think you have your flip side of
And
that too. Because I think we
eventually-
have plenty of motherfuckers that still make it that are egotistical and that think
True.
that they deserve
True.
something. And
True.
in this day and age, in this industry, that's what the fucking labels
Yeah,
look
to-
for, right?
yeah,
Like they want
to a
a fucking
certain-
drama
to a certain
story.
to a certain degree, that arrogance lends itself to its own feedback
Right.
loop of
True.
Right.
profit motivating.
Yeah, because when you're so talented, you'll eventually end up with a group of yes men
Right.
surrounded.
Well, and with Nameless
So-
Ghost, like the thing about it, like these two songs in general, like Dalton and I worked really hard on these songs. I should try to find it. I have the acoustic version that we
Oh, no
recorded at my
shit.
brother's house.
Oh
Just me
my
and you.
God,
And we
yeah.
put drums to it when we got really drunk.
Yeah. Oh my
Like,
god.
yeah, like a really cheesy fucking drums to it, but it's fucking hilarious. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these two songs, why I put these up was because, like, to me, the other three songs didn't embody what the band was at this
yeah.
point in time. These two songs did.
Okay.
These two songs make sense for what Johnny Rook was at this time.
Right.
All right. Well, let's play them. Let's fuck it, because I want to pause these a couple times throughout here.
Okay.
And fucking break these down.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
like, man, I love this part, how this part went. Like, because again, it's my fucking podcast, and I'll do whatever I goddamn want.
That's what I heard. Somebody told me that.
Have I told you that before?
I think so. It might be
I've
on.
heard it's
I
not
might,
my podcast.
I might
And
see a name.
This
on
is
this
one of those
backdrop.
classic moments, though, where I'm trying to convince myself, not
That
you
is
guys.
yours.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, it's reaffirmation again. I'm my own cheerleader.
Hey,
we talked about this
You're
too,
good
right?
enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like
Well,
you.
for me, no, it's really for me, honestly, like, I'm going to be humble
It's
for a
my
second.
turn to talk.
It's the introspective, like, fight with, like, oh, what do I do? Like, oh, well, do the viewers want this? And it's like, no. Trust myself, my own original fucking formula, which is like, we're going to have fun. We're going to do what I want to do.
Enough about you. Play my
and
song.
then we're going to find people that like it
Yeah.
over
Right, yeah.
time.
Absolutely.
And people will eventually get the vibe.
Oh boy.
That would have been dramatically funnier if you would have waited like
I don't know.
10
I
more
liked
seconds.
it. Enough about
It
you
was
playing my
still
song.
funny, but
Well,
trust
after
me.
all that talk about, me and Dalton worked so hard on this. Like, yes, you're right, Zach. Play my song.
For real though, like I'm really excited about this, and I just kind of want to let people know why I'm so obsessed about doing this. So
Fair enough.
because
Fair
it's
enough.
what I want to do.
Fair
and
enough.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's literally one of the reasons I
It's a
started.
lot of
the
talking for
podcast.
not pressing play.
Shut up. Should be going.
Oh, fucking
That color wheel.
that color wheel of death. Give it a fucking hour.
Can they
here.
see the
It'll-
color wheel, or are they just seeing the video?
Biden got
they
elected,
can't
everyone's
see or
colorblind
hear
now.
anything yet. Here we go.
Racism
now
is
they can hear.
over again.
I'm gonna
Again.
mute you.
Don't look at me.
All right, now hold on. Before we even jump into the verse. Okay, now, are you literally just playing the same riff there, but you're on
Yeah,
electric
we're
and
playing
you're on
unison.
acoustic? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's
I think we were
doing a lot
playing-
of finger tapping.
Not in that part.
Not in that part. We were playing
There's
unison.
nothing
in
in
that.
that
We were
part.
doubled up right there.
Yeah.
Acoustic and electric.
But
Yeah.
then you go off into,
Yeah, my
like,
verse part has got
you start going into slides and pull offs.
Well, yeah,
and
it's-
like you're basically
it's
kind
a
of like,
legato. It's a legato line with some tapping in it.
and you're jumping around a legato. So in case anybody's like, because we're going deep inside baseball real quick, and I want to keep this like
I have
palatable.
No idea what you're saying.
So legato just
Baseball
means
is a
smooth.
sport in America.
Legato means smooth.
Yeah, so I'm not
versus
picking
staccato.
individual notes.
Staccato is very
I'm using the energy within my
Legato
fingertips
is la la la
to make
la la
those
la.
notes
Like literally, staccato is staccato.
Education.
Staccato.
Legato is
Lego.
legato.
It's also
Like, very
Spanish for
smooth.
the cat.
So, anyways, the point is,
Dickhead.
so you're going into a legato execution of like a glorified arpeggio, hammers.
Yeah,
pull-offs,
I
sliding
was
between
basically
these
just like,
scales.
what key am I in? Let's hit all those notes.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And
But you
you're-
didn't
Yeah.
become an asshole about it. That's what I think is in
Kept it
this.
to an eighth
And
note
then you're
line.
playing.
Yeah.
This is what I would call classic Zach Johnny Rook riff in this verse here.
Lots
Like,
of stuff on the
syncopation.
act, lots of syncopation,
Lots
lots
of
of
syncopation.
lots of stuff on the upbeat.
completely chorded and stress on being able to
Yeah.
fill the sound with one guitar player because
Mm-hmm.
you wrote these songs. Maybe not this song, but you wrote these songs in
Lots
this
of
style.
Lots
before
of
you had two
accents on the
guitar players.
of the and of 3 and 4.
Yeah,
That
it's never changed.
All right, I'm gonna back this up so they can hear it coming out of the. Oh,
Right there.
Not far enough.
Right there. And this was actually about my breakup with my
the
girlfriend.
years
at
that you
point.
spend with your heart in the wrong place.
Yep.
Is about a breakup.
Well, it was because my girlfriend broke up with
Yeah,
me
yeah.
at that
After
point.
all those years.
Yep.
With your heart in the wrong place. Of course.
Yeah, because actually James and I sat down and while we were pre-proing this in Kansas City.
Yeah.
James and I wrote down and sat down and wrote these lyrics together.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I was
session.
like, would you just write this about something personal for me? And
Gotta be
this is
hippies.
fucked up.
Okay.
I'm going through
All right.
this shit right now.
This spot. When you guys do this, I'll show you.
When we
Oh, where,
the
where it
syncopation.
cuts down.
Right here. And then you do it again, but you do it better.
Oh, the
That
clap.
clap should have been there.
That
God damn
clap
it.
should have been there.
But no,
Yeah.
that producer
Okay.
wouldn't allow the clap to happen. Fuck
That-
you.
No, I think it takes away.
Fuck you. The clap should have been there, Coheed.
That shit is brilliant. Like that.
That was some of
second
my
verse.
favorite stuff about
And this is the
Johnny
thing.
Rock stuff.
This is the thing. This is
Ease,
one of the
Ease
things.
did that really well. The
Mhm.
song Ease did that really well.
So this is one of the things I'm obsessed with. So people, because again, I have a lot of conversations with friends of mine who aren't musicians, family members who I'll play them my music, or sometimes something will come up and they'll be like, "Hey, what do you think of this song?" I'll be like, "That's just trash," and they'll be like, "Why?" And I'll be like, "I'll tell you why, because this is so predictable, and here's why." Like I
And
can
they go,
literally
"You're
listen to
cute."
I can
Yeah,
listen
right.
to I can listen to 30 seconds of this song and tell you how the rest of it'll go.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like literally, it fucking sucks. And then you get, and this is again something James Hetfield did, something some of the great premier songwriters did. Like, I don't give a fuck if you can shred, bro. That don't mean nothing.
Billy
it
Joel
really
got
doesn't.
soul.
It's these subtle, articulate nuances where guys go, "Hey, you know what? In the second verse, let's do a little something different. You know what? In
Right.
that third bar of that third verse, let's just add a little. Let's take out a beat. Let's
So-
add in a beat. Let's
Mhm.
pause there between those two bars. And when you have a great vocalist, and we're starting to see this with Jeremy. Now, the music I wrote, the structures I wrote in a lot of this music are kind of vanilla, right? They're straightforward. Because I wasn't
Yeah.
writing with a band. I'm writing this whole thing hoping somebody's going to figure it out.
But it's the little nuances that you put in that throw the listener off.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
You don't have to
And
worry
so
about
is what,
that.
What we're listening to is years and years of a band. Go for it. Refining the
LP,
sound.
go hold yourself and think of me.
And then is what I think is interesting, Dalton, is in this part, they're doing all these interesting syncopated things. So he's going bop, bop, bop,
Right.
bop. That's the rhythm section. But Zach, along with the vocals, they're going ba, ba, ba,
Yeah, they're right on that.
da,
Bap.
da, 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 da,
bap.
da. And then you are going "Meow, meow." Like, I think I fucked that
So
last note
I was
up,
using
but-
an Ebo for that.
Shut up.
That's an Ebo part.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, dude, I'm thinking. You know what? When you said, when you said Ebo, you know what I thought of?
Tim Tebow.
No, I thought of like one of those weird old horn instruments.
No.
That's why when I was like, "Fuck off."
off.
No,
You
you're
ain't
talking
got-
about the
You
Ebo
ain't
thing
got
with
no
the.
hurdy-gurdy.
It like puts the reverse magnetic charge on your strings so you can mess around
Yeah,
and like
that
basically create
Ebo.
harmonics
Yeah,
while you.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My bad, dude.
You're good.
So here's what I'm talking about as we play this back. So they're coming
This
out of
part-
the chorus.
Down, down, down.
I'm gonna turn it back up. Okay, so
Back to the verse.
that's you. Okay,
Yeah.
you're doing the same thing, but I'm saying when they go into that, when they go into this right here. Like, okay, here's the point. God, I love it. Okay, here's the point. The subtlety, the subtlety of learning to fuck off for a minute.
Yeah.
Like you're doing
Right.
this super busy part, and then the rest of the band gets dramatic for a moment, and you have the ability as a big dick guitar player to fuck off and go "Wow, wow," and just do a single note held for 4 fucking beats for 4 consecutive bars, and then you fucking built it as a group and brought it back into the chorus.
Well, here's
Dude,
the
this
beauty
shit's
of Johnny
fucking
Rook.
Dope, man.
Yeah.
It's
This is to me-
fucking dope, bro. It's hard to do. That chemistry is fucking hard to find.
Well, actually,
and then having that chemistry with the skill level needed to execute.
I
This
want to
is the
give
magic of music.
I want to give that credit where the credit is due, though. I think the thing about
For me
it,
to-
everything
for
that
me,
is
to me for pointing it out.
well, yeah,
Of course,
the
that.
reason that comes about where it comes about is that we have a vocalist. James has always been the guy that he
Smoking
is
way
a
too much.
percussive vocalist.
Yeah.
He fucking finds like that part would not be the same without James's "Hey, not now."
Yeah.
All the things, because you listen to Jay's bass drum, that all the things you'd like to say, hey, not now.
Yeah.
Everything follows this fucking groove, and
he's
then
able
you
to get
have
in the
that
pocket
background
so
with Dalton,
deep.
which is why Dalton's parts were so tasteful that he kind of held this like, yeah, we're just kind of fucking doing
Kinda
this.
here now,
Well,
yeah.
everything was like fucking hit, because that's what Johnny Rook has always been about, is those hits,
very
because
rhythmic.
I can, because I have a vocalist that fucking goes, I hear what you're doing, and I got you, bud, and I'm gonna fucking be percussive over the top of it. But the thing that we needed was that secondary guitar that just went, okay, y'all do that. I'm just gonna carry this atmosphere, and I'm gonna fucking be over here.
I got mood for days.
I got flowers and love and peace, and it worked, and that was the beauty of these two songs. To me, it embodies exactly where we were at as a band at this time. The other songs that we had already recorded, the producer just didn't get what the fuck we were doing before.
I'd already thrown some powdered sugar on that funnel cake.
Here's what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get the entire Nameless Ghost record in my iTunes so I can take a quarter ounce of mushrooms and listen to it front to fucking back.
Hang on a second. Let me
Do you
make
understand?
Yeah, I'm making a note of it right now.
Getting the album experience.
On a quarter ounce of mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm making a note of mushrooms and Nameless Ghost.
For real.
Name your mushroom ghost.
Name your. Oh Jesus! I got a lot of fucking notes. Oh shit! I see what you're holding up.
Boys.
You're holding your dick up off a camera.
Boys.
Jared.
Get me the album.
Mushrooms.
And some mushrooms. Get me some mushrooms.
It's in my notes now.
And some DMT.
Anyway, so
all right, let me hit this song again. Because
we're getting to the bridge where we throw our thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
We did those things?
And then your guys' use of halftime was always brilliant.
Never mind the use of tambourine.
Halftime. You're not on beat.
I am to me. Let me live my truth.
I can't figure out how to offset the...
So again, the reason for the halftiming is that I'm so fucking scatterbrained that I can't stay in the same spot for very long.
Right.
But it works because no one else can either.
And I want to go.
Can the listener.
Hey, and the beauty is that James still carries you with his melody.
Right.
And it's always important for the musicians to go, hey, you do your thing.
All right, melody or not, though.
Look at us.
Melody or not, though, again, the way the rhythm section and you as a guitar player and you as a lead guitar player, the way you build this up over that fucking the not the marching band drum roll, but
crescendo as it builds.
The military drum roll.
That roll. Yeah, that snare roll.
And the way it's building up.
See, now I'm talking drummer talk.
Okay, here we go. All right, so you fall out, right? You're building that dynamic again.
Come down.
Okay, gets quiet. You build up. These are like cliche things to us, right? But I just appreciate it. And a lot of people who don't write music, this is what they want to understand. Like, why do you think this is great? Here's why we think it's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got a little bit of bob, but again, it's that snare and it's that kick drum. And then here it comes. Here it comes. Okay, so here's what you did. It's just, again, whether you knew you were doing it or you did it on purpose, irrelevant. The point is you built it up with this fast pace. Oh my God, here we go. We're going to get shot out of a cannon. And you did get shot out of a cannon. But here's what didn't happen. You didn't get slammed into a cliff wall. You went soaring over a cliff and fucking James opened up the voice. Don't stop now.
Yeah.
Well, and then you get excited. Right?
And then here's the thing.
Drops
instead, when you end this,
drops.
the same thing. When you end this, instead of coming crashing and burning like a plane, it's like that beautiful, perfect arc of a fucking like a dirt biker, like a motocrosser, when he hits that huge fucking jump and then lands perfectly on that downswing.
Smoothly.
And that's when you go back into the double time after this.
Okay, well
it's well written, man.
Here's the thing. When I write a song, number one,
it must be good.
I have to be able to headbang to it. The chorus has to be headbangable. That's just for me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I
just want to fucking throw down. I want to fucking throw down on the chorus. That's just me. But number two, I want to write a song like I want to have sex. I don't want to fucking pump, and I'm done. I want to go like, yeah, are you liking this? Oh, I'm going to back off for a little bit.
Oh, how's that
is
feel?
that an
Do you
aphrodisiac
want
for
more?
you? Anticipation is the ultimate aphrodisiac. And so
Curious
you fucking
moss.
slow down, you build up, you fucking and at the end
That's
of it, you're
interesting.
just like, that fucking feels great.
I too.
That's exactly how I think about writing music. As well.
That's the way I want
like
to.
I see it.
I
want
to listen to a song like that.
But I write it as if like, can you have sex to this?
Yeah, you
like,
want
no
the
matter
song.
how cool
And
it
actually,
is.
Shoreline and the Safety is the epitome of that, right? Because
that's
it's just
wedding
a
night sex.
fucking build,
That's
build.
wedding
And
night sex.
you
That's
just fucking, the end of it
all
is
day.
you're
Goes
just like,
all day.
yeah, I'm championing this.
We're all in the right
fucking
place.
dog.
We're all in the right place.
This
Yeah,
went
like,
off the rails quite
Between
quickly.
the legs.
But it's on the right track. This is what I'm saying. Is like,
Yeah.
that's why
There.
everything that you will listen to on Johnny Rook always has to be a roller coaster ride for me, because what I
It's
hear,
always going to be dynamic.
there's
always has been.
well, there's
Always
very
has been.
few songs that you can listen to of Johnny Rook that just are fucking. Everything kind of does this, because like I like the anticipation, and I like the fucking like, oh, you think we're gonna do this? No, then just chill out. Just fucking hang on a second.
okay. That's
Because hardcore music, there's always a build up to the breakdown.
Always.
The breakdown doesn't just fucking appear out of nowhere.
There's always a build up and a drop.
And sometimes it does, but the drop comes down and it's like, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna fucking do it. And then it goes, ooh, and it
Right.
does this. And I fucking love that, because it gets people excited.
Yep.
And so when I write this, or when I write a lot of the music, I write it with that hardcore kid mentality in mind, that I go, man, I just want to fucking get people excited. And then we're gonna drop into it,
too.
and then we're gonna go, oh, but now we're chill. We cool. We cool. We just got that excitement out of the way. But now let's just fucking all get together. and
Dude,
do this.
not only do I write music the same way, I describe it the same way.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Like I'm like seeing myself sitting behind the drum set trying to describe to the tyrants how we're writing the song, and I'm like, no, because you're doing this thing and you're doing this thing, and everybody's like this, and then if we build it up right, and then we hit it right here, everybody like, oh,
There is a certain
shit.
art.
Yeah.
There is a big time art to leaving people wanting more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
for
if
sure.
you can't write a song that leaves people wanting more,
or even a part.
or a part, like, because there's so many songs that I'm like, God damn it, I wish that they just would have done that part another measure. Like,
Right.
repeat that. But that's why I love it, because I go, I just want to listen to that again. I want to hear it.
All right, so we're gonna fade this in, then we'll wrap up this song, jump
All right.
into the other one, and then we'll play your new one on the way out.
All right.
I don't wanna be the hard luck that's holding you down. Don't stop now. We've made it this far. Don't stop now.
Like even the execution of that second phrase there, where he hits it on the backbeat.
Mhm.
So the first time is "Don't stop now."
Yep.
So the second time around is "Don't stop now."
Yep.
Like just those subtleties, those subtle
So,
executional
Can I
differences.
ask you
It's
to
the
play-
same idea executed differently
Well, you wanna-
each time.
you might not know
This
this.
is what
I
makes
wanna,
great
I want to
songwriters.
know if you caught what we did
In the bridge?
coming out of the bridge in the very last chorus.
Let me find out.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody
All right, let me
realizes
check it.
what
Let me
we
check it out. Let me see if I catch it. It's coming out of this.
did. Yep, it's the
Okay,
when we come into
shut the fuck
chorus.
up. If you're gonna test me, shut up.
I don't wanna be the hard luck that's
Oh, it's coming out of the next part.
This chorus.
don't stop now.
This is pre-chorus.
This far. Don't stop now.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
How
Wait for it right here.
must you carry
This.
yourselves? How long must you carry yourselves?
You switch to distortion.
No.
Nope.
You can wait
So,
It's a
go ahead
little
and pause it.
a little rhythmic device.
What ended up happening, and this is actually the fun about being a musician, and actually this is where the theory came into it, because both Kevin and Dalton came up with this idea. I would have never fucking thought to do it. So the chorus goes, do 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 do. When we bring it into that last chorus, the very first one goes do 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 do. We instead of
it's
going
backwards.
do do do,
Got
we
you.
end up going. Actually, let's switch where those hits are, and then we only do that one time.
Yeah.
You would fucking never know that it happened.
I can hear it now that you're pointing it out.
Yeah, like back it up like 15.
This one.
Oh, right here.
Ba-da-do.
Carry yourselves.
Now it's gonna flip. Ready?
Yeah.
I got
Still
it.
going to those same two
Really,
chords.
really weird.
time
But
it again.
a
Yep,
clever.
and then we have
it was
time
a
it.
clever
But then you
little-
have time it again.
Those are that to me
that. Yeah.
is the beauty of songwriting, is that those are the
Yes.
little pieces of
Yes.
shit that
That-
nobody notices.
Yep.
And actually, I had a musician friend to me was like, I don't fucking understand what's going on at the end of this song. And it's his favorite Johnny Rook song ever. And I was like,
Funny you should ask.
let me explain something to you. And when I pointed it out to him, he's like,
Light bulb.
oh my God, that's fucking brilliant.
You
and I was
can
like,
do that?
and I was like, yeah, well,
'Cause
that's
it's just so simple, but
Yeah,
people
yeah,
don't
it's,
think
it's
about
a
it.
simple twist.
And on the record,
simplest
it
twist.
sounds like maybe it was a fuck up. You guys did something wrong. But this was just something that all of a sudden Dalton and Kevin were
No,
like,
we can twist that just this
what
little
if?
bit.
And then we did it and we were like, yeah,
And
let's
then-
piss some people.
But it's what,
Yeah.
makes, but it's what makes it even better is that you only did it once.
Right.
One time.
Right.
And
right.
then-
One time.
And then
And
the
that's
thing is,
that's
it's
our
like-
favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Johnny Rook's favorite thing to do.
Right.
Pull it out of thin air and never do it again.
Yeah. Show them
I
how big
love
the
that.
dick
There's
is
so many-
and then hide it.
There's so many
I love
songs.
that
I
shit.
play one chord,
I love it.
one strum,
Right.
and it ends the song. And then we're like, where the fuck did that chord come from?
Why that one?
Oh,
Yep.
because I wanted a dissonance.
Yep.
Well, fuck you and your you fucking
I wanted to add a
G-sharp
little mustard
flat
yellow to
13.
Yeah.
this. Right.
Like, I
at
just
the-
wanted to piss you off.
Yeah.
Is really the ultimate, the end goal for me.
I wanted
love
to
making
be
people
the
mad.
avocado green
Yeah.
in your modern kitchen.
Yeah, I fucking love this song.
This song makes me pretty wet.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
This one, this,
don't
this
talk
one took
over it
me a
then.
while for me to come up with my part for it too, because I remember we had gone into a studio and I was trying like some straight up just like squant, 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 squant kind of stuff. You were like, and I was like, you're right.
Yep. We
it
matched
ended
up a
up with
lot
that
on what we were
doo-doo-doo-doo.
doing. Yeah, I think it's the end part that really fucking defined what
Yeah.
we were doing together
Yeah.
as guitarists. Because this song is so difficult because like there's a lot of syncopation going on, but for the most part, this song is like you gotta let James's vocals breathe.
Yeah.
Like it's such a
Yeah.
weird thing. And so when we were writing the song together, and I was like, this is what I got, and Dalton was doing something, and we were kind of both playing different things.
Right.
And then it just clashed with James's vocals, and it was like, this doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense.
this
This
isn't gonna
kills
work.
what he's doing. And then all of a sudden, we just started doing the exact same thing. Ultimately,
Yeah.
you
and
just kind of accented on a higher register
right.
than what I was doing.
Yeah, I found a better spot on the fretboard where the notes would make more sense, and like I'm using like an open voicing
But
on
then this-
just like the G and the B strings, and just
His
like
guitar just kind of, keep that fucking ambiance going, doing, and then it was at the end of this the chorus parts where it's, again,
Yeah.
just that one fucking note, and Dalton's doing what he's doing, but it was the end of the song that it was just like all of a sudden it was now separate,
yeah,
because we're all gonna do 8 million different things, and it just goes
right.
hold that
Right.
orange in the air,
Yeah,
fucking squeeze.
yeah. You get
know?
all the parts of the choir doing
Yep.
all their individual things, and it
Yep.
ends up building this
Which
cathedral of
James
sound.
was also, and still to this day, is fucking brilliant at
yeah,
going, you know what, I want to do all this thing
Yeah.
at the same time and just fucking allow me to do it. And we all go, okay. But, yeah, this,
like even that little dynamic thing right there. Yeah, just that quick little build. And I think that might have been the producer's idea too. He was really into that sort
No,
of
that was
thing.
Jay.
Was it Jay?
That was Jay's thing.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense. That's your guys' markers all day.
So in this guitar part too, I'm doing it in unison with you, but I had originally written it like an eighth note off. Like you started with like the potato, and I started like a half a potato later.
I think when you and I were working on these songs together, I was super into that first Circus Survive record.
Right, Jaturna.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
still a fucking banger.
So good.
So
and when we were working on the song, there was a couple of times like with How Long, and there's a couple of points at this where it was like, up, off. I'd play boop, and he'd be like boop. Like kind of call and repeat, and I'd be like, what the fuck was that? And he'd be like, I don't know, I'm just kind of fucking just doing something on the offbeat of what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, it fucking worked. That was great. And we just kind of do one of
those
these
little bits I was doing there were like, they were originally written like a full eighth note behind where you were doing. Like you'd start on a downbeat, I'd start on an upstroke right after you. And I don't know why we didn't do that on the record.
And then the end of the song was just like, just fucking do whatever you want to because it's so big.
Yeah.
Right.
And James has so many fucking vocal parts, and then when we do it live, we're all replicating exactly what James was doing on the, and it's just like, holy shit, I got goosebumps.
Well, and I remember going back a couple years after we had done this and thinking, especially for the version we did of Light in the Attic, that there's that part where it cuts out and it's just James holding a note.
Yeah.
But I really think James should have done like a full-blown like Christina Aguilera like style run, like
Run.
like with the light ho.
But it's not James.
It's not James. It like he's super tasteful and likes to hold back on those things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I want to drown in panties, and if he does that, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Pitches love vibrato, man. You know, like it's just
Bitches love vibrato.
they would have been all over that shit.
Anyway, so that's how Nameless Ghost came about, and I will say those two songs I am still very over the top proud of. It's the rest of it that we had already done before. I was just like, we didn't make this better. We just made it different.
I don't know, my guitar part on.
Oh, the end of your guitar part on the end of Light in the Attic is still fucking.
Yeah, that was tasty.
But it was that we
super proud of
changed that whole fucking.
Yeah, there was that song had been written for years. It already had an
we
established
changed it.
vibe,
And we changed it.
And we
And
changed
it was
it
just
again
like-
and again and again
Yeah.
and again. It's like, how many times are you going to try and rewrite something? You know,
It defined insanity. It's basically what it ended up.
Fuck.
Are you looking for the new song, Disneyland?
Oh, we already did that. Old live.
I
I
video.
didn't actually play it.
No.
I pulled it up, but I didn't actually play it because you weren't
That's-
in the band. But
This is how sad
we
this
played
is.
those
though.
two. We're gonna end it on what they're doing now.
Disneyland didn't actually get recorded until 2020, and our final show was the 2013. And we've got a live video of it
Of
on
that
2013. And the funny thing is that on our page, somebody was like, "Oh man, I feel like this is like early 2000s." And I was like, "Yeah, motherfucker,
They're
it
not
was."
too far out.
You're not wrong.
You're not incorrect.
Yeah, and there it is. Yeah, this it's funny because this was actually my last choice to do a music video for.
Really?
I got outvoted. Everybody was like, "Let's do Disneyland," and I was like, "I don't want to do."
Disneyland.
I actually didn't want to record this song because it was fucking almost 10 years old.
Right.
Because I didn't write this in 2013.
It's hard.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to. No, let's fucking do some new shit. And they're like, yeah, but that song never got recorded. I really like that song. And I was like, God damn it. And then we recorded it. And of course, I got put in my place. I was like, shit. That
You
turned out-
asshole for writing a decent song.
Well, I was like, shit, that song turned out pretty fucking cool. And then they were like, I was like, hey, I want to do a professional music video. Let's figure out what song we want to do. And they were like, oh yeah, Disneyland. It's like, God damn it.
Why?
Well, this is not my choice. But again, growing up and having to fucking compromise, and
Yeah.
you know, like I was like, okay,
All right.
okay, if you guys want to do it, I want to do it too. And then we fucking went in and we did the video, and it was so
It's
much
cool.
easier. Spencer did such a great job on it, and it was so much easier. I shouldn't say that because we showed up, and I thought, yeah, we're just gonna record a music video. This motherfucker showed up with this song at 2 times the BPM
Right.
of what
right.
it is, and then half the BPM of what it was.
To get all those
'cause he
different
wants to
frame
do the-
rates.
yeah.
Yep, because
The
we had
speed-
all
the
the
sped
speed
up
up and the
and
slow
slow
down.
down.
And he's like, okay, play to this double speed. I could fucking barely play to it regular speed.
Right.
Of
I
course.
can't headbang to this song regular speed for a full fucking
hope you're
4.5
ready for that.
minutes.
Right.
I hope you're ready for that with the riffs you've been doing for our show.
Oh my god, dude. And so I'm just fucking going crazy,
Right,
going
right.
crazy. And then everybody's making fun of me like, oh, you can't get through a whole song. I was like, fuck you.
And fucking
You
do
see
this
what I'm
shit,
doing?
man.
Yeah, like, fuck you.
It's easy to play that shit when you're doing just a riff jab, but when you're doing full chords and your whole fucking hand is working for
And
the whole
for me, this
fucking
song
game.
is a lot of this.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
and it's not
noodling.
like playing guitar on stage for you isn't
Right.
a
And
full body workout.
not necessarily that I needed to emulate what I'm doing, but I had to headbang to it.
Right.
So that it
You
looked,
gotta
when
sell
they
it.
slowed it down,
Yeah.
it had to fucking be in time. And so instead of being like this, it was like this. And I was fucking spring loaded, and I'm going crazy. And I'm almost fucking 40 years old, dude. I
Right.
can't do this shit
Right.
at
You
almost
get
40 years
dizzy,
old.
Start seeing stars. Your fucking sciatica
Well, and at
acts
that
up.
time, I'm smoking like a motherfucker.
All right. We're gonna play this. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna plug your shit. Where can people get guitar lessons? How do they hit you up? You're doing guitar lessons.
I'm at Guitar Center, Maple Grove, Minnesota right now.
And your email?
Dalton Rook. Funnily enough,
Are you still
I'm
there?
still on.
No
I'm
shit.
still on Dalton Rook
Nice.
at gmail.com. That
Nice.
stuck from 2006.
You're welcome.
Plug everything you want to plug.
That's Zach Rook at Gmail.
No, you know, hey, first and foremost, thanks, man.
No
It's
problem,
always a
dude.
good
Thank you
time.
for doing
Absolutely.
this, dude.
It's always
You
a
were
good
my
time.
first guest, dude. I'm honored you came back. I
You
was
know what?
afraid you were never coming
No,
back.
fuck that.
It's been a lot of fun.
We always
It's
have
a
a good
fucking
time.
blast, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you're a big supporter of Cool Story Creative, and you know, in time that will get a
Yeah, dude, I
movement.
want to help. I want to
That'll
help,
get a
dude.
movement eventually, and if somebody's interested in wanting to talk designer stuff, that'd be cool.
Well, like I
Otherwise,
said, get a website and let's get you some
Yeah.
fucking legit processing up, whether it's Square or I get you hooked up with my
Yeah.
old company. Because then we already talked about this. I got one legit sponsor I can't announce yet, but I want to have more than one. And I'll give you a fucking free sponsorship because you're my boy.
well, and that's
And
awesome.
we'll pump it out every episode. People will hear about it. So over time, eventually, people will be like, "Fine, I'll check out this stupid cool story."
I'll get some goddamn coasters. My girlfriend.
Why don't you
Well,
laser
especially-
me something?
Well, especially because here's something that I didn't really respect or appreciate until just like a few weeks ago. It dawned on me, and something I always knew is we're still not launched on iTunes or Spotify yet.
Yeah.
I'm still building my website,
Mhm.
and no matter how big this podcast does or does not get, we'll never do the numbers on YouTube that we will do on the audio platforms.
right.
And that's where those ads are actually going to be playing. Like, I'm not going to be playing them before YouTube because otherwise I demonetize myself, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I guess outside of that, what I, you know, for plugging anything, Cool Story Creative is something that I want to get going. But ultimately, like, my first and foremost love is always going to be Johnny Rook.
Yeah, and
You
we'll
know,
do
my
a discount
music
code.
is-
So call him, say, go to his Facebook page and message him, and the subject matter, put in the word singer, and that's your discount code for 10% off.
Oh,
Wow.
that is that. Okay, I see what you're doing. That is good podcast.
There you go.
names. And
There you
actually, if you want to hit me up,
The problem is he makes the prices up on the spot, so he'll be putting an extra 10% off, so you're still paying regular price.
right,
Aha.
10% of free.
That's a lie.
If
Wait.
you want to get together and have a beer, if
No.
you're in the Minnesota area and you want to get together, I am not the guy that will refuse a fucking hangout.
Especially if
Because-
you buy him a Coors.
Well, and we've always said it.
Get that guy
If
a
you don't
banquet.
have money, you should always have music. So
Ain't that the
fucking
truth?
let's get together. And I've got plenty of fucking music I can give it to you.
So Cool Store Creative on Facebook. I did put the link in the
Yep.
description.
Cool.
And then obviously Johnny Rook, which
Johnny
we're playing
Rook
now.
music.
Any
Yep.
other bands you want to plug?
Ooh, yeah.
Wow.
Who do you like right now?
Who am I?
Or even have any of your own bands? Like, are you still doing the Cold Kingdom shit, or is that
No,
defunct?
right now I'm only doing Johnny Rook.
Okay.
And
And then you had that thing you were doing with Aaron again. I forget the name of that, but you played
False
me some-
Floor.
False Floor.
Yep.
I knew
We
that.
haven't done any of
But
that
that's
for a
on-
while.
on hold.
But
Okay.
what I will say is that there are right now it's a fucking weird atmosphere, and there's plenty of musicians out there that need your help. And the fact of the matter is that with COVID and everything else, everything being so unsure and up in the air, There's plenty of fucking musicians and local music that still are trying to survive and trying to find a way to come out of this fucking pandemic. Find them.
I mean, if you didn't give all your money away on YouTube, you'd probably be doing a little bit better, but we can have another discussion about that.
You Tarantino son of a bitch. Just go,
I love you guys.
just go support
I
some
love you guys.
fucking
Okay,
local
so
music.
here's how we're going to end this one. We're going to end this one completely different than we've ever done before.
Take your pants off.
We're going
All right.
to mute the mics.
Yeah.
We're going to play this entire music video on the way out.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm just going to share the TV now. There, they can't even see you.
You almost put a natty ice in your butthole.
Oh, fuck. I don't think I got it up fast enough.
How could I do that?
I never get it up
Hold
fast
on.
enough.
Here it comes. Here it comes. I'm watching it on the replay.
Here I come with the replay with my ass.
Oh yeah,
Let's
this
see if I
hanging
switch the
out.
camera
I
fast
felt-
enough.
I felt a string of my
Here it
terrible
comes.
under.
Oh.
Here it comes.
Here it comes on the replay. My pants.
Oh, you went to go switch. No,
Oh, he got it out!
That's
such a
Oh, you fucked up.
Oh.
what a nice
I like the camera switch
piece
that you
of
went to, though.
ace.
Yeah, I didn't get it quick enough. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. We plugged everything. Guys, thank you so much for watching and supporting. Please go to my Patreon and subscribe. There is exclusive Patreon content up there now. We're working on putting more stuff up there. If you can't do that, I understand it's still COVID. Fucking money's tight. But there's a $3 level if you guys just want to support and you don't care about content. Helps us maintain gear, upgrade gear, all that kind of stuff.
Do the thing.
Smoke.
Eventually,
spears.
we're gonna fucking need to hire staff and expand and all kinds of stuff. So that's what you're helping out before we monetize. So go to patreon.com, Jared Singer Live. Everything's Jared Singer Live. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that shit. Like this video, subscribe, share, all that cheesy patronizing bullshit. I apologize for even having to ask. But word of mouth is the best way to promote this shit. So that's it for us. I'm going to mute the mics. We're going to play this video on its entirety on the way out, and then we're going to cue the actual outro just so you guys know when it's over. All right. Thank you guys very much. Love you guys so much. Dude, you got to come back again.
Deal.
Do this again.
Let me know.
You know what we should do is we should have you and you guys should do a fucking
Duet.
I'm talking about having the Emergent Boys here doing like
Oh,
an
yeah.
acoustic show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
trying to find another board and some extra mics. Maybe you guys can come down and do a little Johnny Rook fucking live
Sure.
stream thing. It'll
Yeah.
be cool. It'll be dope because I got the kit right here. I got a nice bass rig.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I got a 5150.
Oh,
so,
I saw it.
So all you
I
need
poked
is
my
your
head in there, and I might steal it.
all you need is your setup. So all right, here we go, guys. What the fuck is this song called?
Disneyland pencil
Dis-
erasers.
True story.
Man, that's a fucking.
Because this is
terrible
a song about all the bullshit.
That's a fucking terrible song name. All right, here we go, guys.
You don't know the story about that band.
This is so cutthroat, textbook, just throw it back to me. My body's fine, still loose in my mind. So hold it in, hold you down. What if you find out? Curses real, don't you believe me now? We're playing a game, won't you start it again? Let's contemplate what the consequences should have been. Hard times, we're all smiles. But the world is so much clearer when everything you touch, it turns to gold. Now, what if you find out? If this is so textbook cutthroat, just give it back to me. I've been reading the room, I've been taking my time. I